I remember this. It was he wrote a letter on the board, like 1, 2 times, and there's a letter. I said, listen, this ain't English. I'm out of here.
Well, that's algebra, brother. But are you saying it like it's a foreign thing?
Yeah, brother, leave him,
That's
leave
algebra,
him.
brother.
What,
Don't get it twisted. I failed the thing as well. I got my C. But he said, you wrote a letter. I said, brother,
I said,
no, I'm
this ain't
waiting for
English.
the man.
I'm in the wrong class. So I must have got out and clocked us on the maths floor.
Brother, Loons is looking at the thing like it's hieroglyphics. He's trying to decipher code.
I still don't know what A add 2 take away minus Y equals.
I can
Oh,
figure that
no.
out. I can figure that out if you told me what C is. Wait, what did he say?
There was no C.
Hey, I cannot believe
What?
what I've just heard.
What?
That algebra come on and he thought it was a different lesson.
I thought it was English.
Hey, can I ask that? No, hey, why did you get hit at school?
Yeah, what
Hit?
Yeah, in Zambia.
Oh.
In Zambia.
I think it was just misbehaving, man. Just
Deep
like,
voice, man. You sound like a man.
I was one of those people that like I thought I was smarter than the teachers.
You was a bad you.
Yeah, I thought I was smarter than teachers.
Yeah.
Like
Bad
I'm the type of person that like the teacher told me like, if you think you're so smart, come up and teach the class, and I go and I
you
give
went,
a full lesson plan, and the teacher just like,
That
"No, I'm
doesn't
not having
surprise
it."
me.
But full lesson, where you get the lesson?
Brother, the book's right there. You just read from the book.
Because you know what's mad? You didn't get changed. You've been bare chest underneath
The whole
this
time when no one noticed, bro.
What do you mean notice? Why would we know? We can't see, brother.
I noticed. I was like, why is his jacket zipped all the way up? I was thinking that.
And you
why?
didn't say, and you
he had
didn't say
nothing
nothing.
underneath from a jacket up.
You didn't say
But I
nothing.
did think, why is he zipped up? And I was gonna comment that you got the old school Pradas.
Yeah.
The old school run. There's a run a man down.
what's going on?
That's
Hey.
a run a man down in them.
Wait, come on, lean forward, close your legs. So I've got to
I
look.
can't close my legs, bro. I got a pole in between.
Have you seen the whole outfit though?
Hey, that double entendre. Man said I can't close my legs.
I got a literal
I've got
pole
a pole
in between the legs,
Hey, yo, that was cold.
He's good. That was good.
Oh, you thought
I thought you was doing gunshots to his pole.
Can someone swap? This is all mad.
Nah. The way I've set out the team today is for a reason.
Go on.
Okay.
Why am I here?
Understand? I'm gonna introduce the panel. I'm gonna let everyone.
Oh,
know.
we're going back.
Yeah,
We're going back.
Okay.
We
Back
have to,
to
bro.
basics.
Got
Yeah.
Right.
I hear
We have to.
power and the glory. You know what I'm saying? This is us over here, like the power and the glory. He's the power. I'm the glory.
I introduce myself. You introducing me.
I'm gonna introduce you. 'Cause I don't trust you.
Alright, cool.
I know what you're gonna say. Your shirt off. Yeah. So obviously we've got the youngest in charge, Mr. Caleb. Round of applause to Caleb.
Is he the youngest?
Brother.
Are you the youngest?
Yeah, man.
Voice has been here before. He used to haunt people. His voice has been here.
For generations.
Grown into his voice.
I've got Caleb
To
there
haunt people.
because it's far away from me.
Okay.
It's next to Poet, so he has to behave.
Come on.
And the way you're moving, I think you don't deserve certain cameras to see you right now. You're gonna play up front one day.
Okay.
But
My
I like
time-
the
my
way
time
we're
will
never
come.
moving. He's always in that chair. That's Caleb's chair. Please always be
Hey,
there.
can I be honest with you? I absolutely hated the teacher that made us sit like, because that happened a few times.
Oh,
like,
spoil your seating
yeah, man,
plan.
yeah, man.
Oh.
rather than
Well,
sit,
me
you
and
want to
know
sit with
we're
your
gonna
brethren,
sit
and they're
together.
like, yeah. You sit there.
You too?
Nah, but I liked mixing it up. I was that you. I dealt with everyone.
Yeah, you chat to
Yeah,
everyone.
you do,
I
but you
dealt
know
with
that you
everyone.
walk into class, you two's just had a good last lesson. You know what? Let's go murder maths together. They don't know we've said we're gonna have a good maths lesson, and then they've gone and said, you know, oh, you two put your sitting together.
Hey, I'm just
You're like,
picturing him
uh-oh.
in maths, man. That's mad.
I want to introduce Paul now. Obviously, the club captain.
The CEO,
Paul, though.
the person you love to hate.
Prop circle.
PEO, fam.
I
Nah,
love
but
you
the
all,
crowd,
man.
you're starting to cater to the crowd now. I see the change in energy.
We have to cater to the crowd. I've always wanted to cater to the crowd. They believed I'm something I'm not, but continue to believe that I believe it is incredible for you to think I'm something I'm not. Also, I did see a show with you.
What show was that?
So Spax, when are you going back? When Poet
Wait, the choice is yours, man.
Poet, the choice is yours.
A certain somebody said that they'll come back if I sit on their lap.
Jesus. No, you know what it is? Let's negotiate something else.
No,
I said, I
no,
know-
but Lippy, watch it.
God.
I'm willing to do it.
Do you know why he's willing to do it? Because I said so. No, do you know why? Because I said if we do it on camera, like put it this way, just let me land. Let me say, just let me, and you have to let me finish this one. If I was sitting on Specs' lap right now, you wouldn't know.
No.
He's that small.
Specs is
it's
sitting on my lap right now.
It's taller than man. So he could be sitting on Specs' lap. Right? I Specs, you good back there, bro.
I expect.
Oh, sorry.
Why was he down there?
No, that's not how you sit on a man.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
sorry. You're right. 1 second. Can you educate me how you sit on a man's lap? You said to me that's not how you sit on a man's. Yo,
Nah, listen. When he's in these clothes, you wanna ask him this? When he's in this costume,
Alright, the way Poet looked back at it, yeah.
look back at it.
Oh, look back at it. Look back at it.
Poet went.
You arch back, bro.
I know what, I thought I had the right teammate, but I remember. Nah, this guy, man, I forgot. Like when he's doing up hench Steve-O muscular,
Muscular.
That's just the math
muscular.
I like seeing numbers. Muscular. Seeing
Aye.
numbers in maths.
Get rid of her.
Get out of here.
Come on.
So obviously we got the experience, Mr. Steves. He's played the game. He's been
Mr.
here.
Steves.
This is, you know what it is? You're my inspiration for the 9 row.
Thank you.
I want you to know that, man.
Big up
Round of
yourself.
applause.
Yeah, man. He's played it so well, so many weeks.
You're
man,
Kevin
honestly.
Davis.
You and Dan,
Kevin Davis
you
up
and
top.
Dan, nah.
Kevin
I think-
Davis?
Nah.
Kevin Davis
You're
up
you're a
top.
lot more classy up there.
Davis is a legend.
Romario.
Dan is, Romario. And obviously, last but not least, my bro. I had to be up front for this. It's the Fruit Punch Pappy.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Young Rottweiler. My dog,
Hey, don't forget the main one that
What's
Steve-O
the main
hates.
one?
What they
What's
used
the
to
main
call me
one?
back in the day in
What's
school.
the main
What's
one?
that one?
The Black Row. You remember they used to call me like Row? You remember Steve-O hates that he used to call me the Black
Row,
Row?
bro.
You get me?
The black.
Yeah, come on. Creative director.
Row, I was like Row in school.
Not even Raul, you know, Raul.
Do you know what it is? Do you know why it's going? Do you know why it's going mad right now, boy?
Yeah, go on.
It's because it's international break.
Yeah.
Nothing to speak about.
Lee Carsley.
There's no Arsenal clips to hate on this week.
Yeah,
A
true.
ref couldn't do us wrong this week, so we're all just onto each other.
Gravenberch
innit?
can't be just twisting up the midfield and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Ryan
Yeah, I
Gravenberch.
thought I missed this guy.
Jesus.
Until we started talking
Ryan
about football.
Krappenbutch.
He's balling out of control.
Balling out. He's watching the wrong things, my guy.
Bro, I'm
watching the wrong
watching
things,
United,
bro.
It's hard.
The way he put Kobe Manu in the blender, bro. Ninja.
Brother, leave Manu
Quick.
alone, man. Manu's alone in that midfield. We're not even talking about that right now.
Oh, no,
But listen.
Manners.
Obviously, it's been
Baby
a long
boy.
week. Right, football. You get me? I shouted Poet, asked for tickets, told me there's no game even on. I said, bruh, this is...
Want to go to the Arsenal?
Yeah, I wanted to... we're in motion.
But you're so lit. I don't care who we're playing.
No, I don't
just need the
care,
next
brother. It
game.
could have been League Cup. I'm
Anything.
asking, what about the youth? Surely the youth, them.
The women played. Women Chelsea and Arsenal.
Overhead kick,
Yeah.
one of the women.
Oh, yeah, I see, Bunny. Is Bunny the Man City Jamaican woman striker?
Oh, yeah.
She
Bummy.
scored against the Arsenal goalie, ran into the post trying to save her header,
Did
innit?
you see it? You don't sound like you saw
I
it.
saw it. She's done a header.
Steve-O is trying to get a clothesline right now, you know? He's nasty with it.
Nah, but obviously, I want to ask my experienced player. Do you think, you as well, obviously, you played with Joe Cole, Loons. I remember
Joe
your fight.
Cole.
Yeah, is it in district, man? Come on, man.
Black Raoul was true.
Come on, man. Biowack and Femwa. Jay Boffred.
No, you never played a J.
Come on, man. They know me, man. But I was in the team also because I was Black Ralph for touch and finish, yeah. But I was also on the team because I used to tell other defenders, touch me.
Who did you say was in that team? I can make the call. I can make the call right now.
You know what? Phone Biowack and Femwa and say Andre Osborne. He would say he was in Richmond House, he was in Gloucester House. Gloucester never won the Inter-House
Now
tournament.
you said you played with Jay Boofroyd.
Jay Boffred, Holloway boys, absolutely. Ask him.
Can you phone that right now, please?
Wait. Let's not even do that. Video call him. Video.
Why is Siri moving like that?
He's on golf trip.
Oh, no.
That was big. I can't believe we haven't even spoke about football yet.
Obviously, you've played the game. We all have, but you've been to where we couldn't get to, unfortunately. But do you think that players are playing too much football at the moment?
Oh. Mad thing. Who would have thought Lippy would get up top and then get serious
I've
on
got
us? But
You get
Um,
one of them strikers, Heskey.
do I
Work.
think? Yeah. Yeah. But Players back in the day, I remember Lampard playing, and I'm saying back in the day, but we're talking 20 years ago. So I remember Lampard doing a season where I think he played 63 games because I was in Champions League, League Cup. They got to the final of everything.
And World Cup, I remember that season.
And back then, he played all the games. Players now, they've got bigger squads, they've got focused training and all the rest of it. So I think they play a lot of games now, they played a lot of games then, but it's probably easier now because you got the tools around, you know, the recovery. You can go into oxygen tanks and all of this. You didn't have that.
The only reason that I hear it, but it's like regardless of the era, you played to 100%,
yeah.
no matter what.
It was harder. It was harder to play on those pitches, like back in the day.
Not Frank Lampard time though.
No, maybe not. Maybe not Lampard.
I think it's bad now, though. If you take into consideration, I think our league probably had the most games anyway because we got two cup competitions. You got the Community Shield and you've got the league. Then you throw in no Christmas break, and then in present day, and that would only be for the top sides that would play that many competitions and go through, which was a limited amount. Now you could be a player, no disrespect, at a lower side and still have to play that many games, which means there's too much people, and it's like, and we got no Christmas break, like. I just think there's too much.
Don't push for Christmas break because that's one of the.
No, we've got it now.
I know, but that's don't push because those games that run up of games. Like, a man like me that don't get much presents for Christmas, that's my present.
Nah,
Yeah, but then Loons, you mix that in with the amount of international tournaments they're introducing now, UEFA Nations League for the new. To watch it as a fan, great. But my God, I don't even get to miss football.
But you see one thing, like, can I just land on that bit? You see, like with the too much football thing. That's why you never get to see, like you've got your favourite Brazilian player, you never get to see them that long because they play too much football.
Intensity, yeah.
They play too much football. Like by the time they
That's
get to
what I was
Europe,
gonna say.
they played 100, 150 games in Brazil. So we're doing the same to our players. Saka, for example.
Yeah.
They're running him into the ground.
Yeah, but 100 games. But come on, let's be honest. 100 games at no disrespect again.
At 18,
no,
it's
but
a lot.
100 games at League 2 and 100 games in the Premier League is a different 100 games. The intensity in the Premier League in terms of how like switched on you have to be
Of
up
course,
here,
of course.
and then your physical attributes. You take a look at Wayne Rooney. If he didn't play from he was 16 years old, he might retire at 35. But he was playing intense football from 16. The only player that I've seen play that much football for this long is James Milner. James Milner is the only person, or Gareth Barry. But outside of that, bro, I think it's a bit too much
like for
football.
example, look, Neymar. We knew Neymar from 15.
Mohawk.
All that, yeah, bro. He's basically he retired when he moved to PSG.
Yeah, I agree.
He
More or
retired. He won everything, and Brazilians do that. They
100%.
They've got like a 4-year span because they get burned out at a young age. All these Chelsea's paying 30 mil for Octavian and da-da-da-da. They're 17 with 100 games under their belt. This is too much football, bro. It's too much football.
Let me ask the man this question, yeah? We're all 30 plus, other than the guy ain't got a
Just,
shirt on,
only
yeah?
just.
When's the last time you played 2 matches in a week?
Double header?
Yeah.
Oh, in a week.
To put it this way,
I'll be
this season just gone, I done Saturdays and Sundays. I've been doing it for the last 3 years. You see, last season,
Catching up.
different.
You felt it?
Different. Sundays, I am. Because you know what it is? It's kind of, what's that thing called DOMS? Delayed onset muscle soreness.
Wow.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
All right, yeah.
Real baller out here, man.
Come on.
It didn't used to affect me that much, innit? I used to convince myself, nah, man.
You got good muscle memory.
It's psychological.
Yeah, it's
I
muscle
can
memory
fight
though.
through it. But colder months last year,
Yeah, the dome starts kicking in.
different, bruv.
Can I just say this to you?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that if you play with football with white guys, yeah? See certain times they just come out with their cycling shorts, bro. These men they got all the tricks of the trade.
Gotta learn from them,
is
man.
step out. These white men got cycling shorts, keeping everything tight up and everybody. You understand? They just play on for longer than just stop.
Muscle
Bro, you
roller,
start to see white men
everything.
saying, you know what? I ain't gonna catch you. That's your man, Steve. You see, start talking.
Like, man like Mo Salah, he's my age. He would have been my school year.
It's your age.
What is he doing? How? He is moving. He's been playing at this intensity since he got to Liverpool.
Yeah, it's mad.
He's 32.
Yeah, it's mad.
Gonna be 33, and it don't look like he's gonna stop. Even that up to Cristiano Ronaldo.
But you lot
turn
are
up in
forgetting,
Saudi is a
hey,
bit- yeah.
the recovery that he is getting compared to what you get after your Saturday game.
No, but
is just
the
miles
running
different.
he's doing, the people that's kicking him.
Yeah, it's different
It's,
level,
no,
man.
do you know what it is? Someone said it the other day. Like these man, they got to go to
We've
bed
been
at like
sucked
8:30.
in, Lips. We have been sucked in Yeah.
Man said he's man go to bed at 8.
Bro, they
Because-
have to, man.
Because a 90-minute game once a week, sometimes twice a week, if you compare that to other sports, tennis, basketball,
Basketball's
81
intense.
games
Basketball's
in a
intense.
season.
Basketball's intense, not tennis.
Tennis is, I mean, it's lateral movement, but it's an intense, bro. No, boy, you could be playing for like 3 hours for like a thing.
It's
And
intense,
you got
man,
a
on your
game,
body.
another one 2 days later.
Okay, so if you're a Champions League winning footballer, or not winning,
Go on.
Champions League competing football, Arsenal, Odegaard. Yes, so you got Norway, Arsenal,
Nah.
Champions League.
Football is one of the least, like,
No,
I'd
it's
say,
don't get it twisted.
No,
it's
it's
still a
intense.
lot, but it's a lot.
I'm with
more.
Steve-O though. I hear him.
I can't explain.
No, but can I say one thing? Well, how long are the off periods in these situations though? Because my only concern is the fact that after playing 9-10 months of football, if you do have a bit of an off period where you can relax for a little bit,
It's like 2
you're
weeks.
getting. I don't think that's long enough.
It's not.
Do
That's
you know what it
it.
reminds me of?
It used to be a
I
month.
watched you watched the Vince McMahon documentary, yeah? It reminds me of the time when at the start of wrestling when it was very intense and it became more entertainment, these guys are just products, get them out
Yeah.
here. And I feel like
Vince was
football,
making them work
so if you
365
look
days,
at football
yeah.
today, football to me, these guys are not people no more. They are products. At 18, 19 years old, you need to have a YouTube, a Instagram, all of these types of things to put you out to build you as a product. So therefore, the more appearances is what builds your ability to be a stronger product. It's like they're not even caring about the health of these guys now.
Everyone's not gonna be a Cole Palmer. Like, gonna have a goal with a viral celebration. Everyone's not gonna have that because it just builds himself. That builds it. See that 2-3 times, you're like, nah, this is Cole.
You know what it is.
You know what I'm saying, innit?
Man, we're seeing players obviously come out and speak about. I see Rodri spoke about it. Varane the other season come out and said, yeah,
Gundogan.
they're playing. They're all.
Courtois.
You get me?
Varane's retired.
Bro,
Big
from
players.
listen. From a keeper
cutting down.
is saying we're playing too much game. A keeper.
But you know, Steve, can I ask you, because you play, you're the only one here that played the game professionally. Taking a look from when you played up until now, the only thing I've noticed, and maybe I'm wrong, is how frequently certain players are getting injured and the length of time their injuries were. Back in the day, correct me if I'm wrong, man will get a couple of knocks. They're back in about a month and a half, whereas Courtois at the start of last season, pretty much out for the season. Rodri, that we just seen, out for the season, probably the reason why we're going to win the
don't
Premier League.
forget as well, you've got players back then that played through injury
You're not playing for
because, well, not ACL, but some did meniscus, some played through it.
Come carne.
And you done that because in the dressing room you look like a pum-pum. That's what they'll call you, innit? Now, it's different, bro.
Didn't you see Raheem Sterling's last interview?
What did he say?
When he said about, Suarez is just something, when he was at Liverpool, his ankle swelled up to the size of his thigh. He had to wear Gerrard's boots 2 sizes too big. Everyone would have said no, he took the injection, went out and scored a hat-trick. Players ain't built like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Players ain't built like that no more. But you don't want players to be built like
I was
that.
just gonna say, we have the information now that how clubs treat you, how people treat you. Like before, you used to run through brick walls for your club. Now,
No, they'd sign you based off that. Like you could get scouted off that. Like, yeah, that kid took a mad tackle. Go. But now it's like even the players' body types, they're all like super lean, slim. Like you don't get them big bulldozer guys.
Not anymore.
Is there any
Get me?
Is there any onus on managers though? I know there's like big game players and like and for big moments. Is there any onus on the manager to like rotate more? Like in a season, because there's certain men that are just getting run to the ground. Like even
I don't-
Arteta,
nah.
for example,
They're not
he
running
loves to
mainly
start in
into the
11.
ground.
And I know you man are like going for a league, so you gotta like play your best
As much
team.
as I hear it,
but to a
like,
certain
let's-
extent,
I look after my Sunday league team, right?
Cool.
I've got certain
Are you
players.
never?
Say again?
Yeah.
Yeah, player manager thing. Ruben.
Cold.
Come on. Sort of. But all jokes aside, it's like I got players that have to play in it.
Yeah.
They have to play.
Why?
So, it's just because of what they do. So it might be the threat that they cause, the way they might put in the tackle that makes us play a certain way. You understand? And that at the top flight, I can only imagine. Like Arteta, imagining going into a game without Saka, without Saliba,
You
without
don't
Gabriel.
do them all at once. That's the key. I learned that from Football Manager. You know, like when the guy's gauge is low, I say, okay, cool, man, I'm looking to hold the draw till half time, then I'm bringing
The
up
only reason I understand what
This is
Arsenal
what try-
do,
you know what I'm
we're
saying? You
not
gotta-
at a position. We'll move on in a second, but we're not at the position. Remember I said it when we was watching the Leicester game the other day,
Yeah.
and we saw that everyone was starting. We were like, why ain't Waneri starting? And then look, it was 2-2 at a point when we were 2-0 up. So it's like, so I just think with us and certain other teams, I think United are there as well, but Ten Hag,
No, but he even did that whole like centre back change in the last game, like where he took off and people were saying that's mad. But look at the last season, we had about like 9 injuries to our centre back. We had 9 different
You gotta understand.
centre back partnerships.
We don't even want. I don't want to get in because I'll be here all day talking about your gaffer and blah blah. But I even tweeted this, yeah. In my whole time of watching football, watching great teams, great managers, watching teams be good and then drop off. I have never ever seen a manager sub off his 2 centre backs in a game.
Yeah, but brother, I told you,
at a draw, he's looking to lose.
Let me just interrupt.
You don't change that.
One sec, Greg Felix, can we pretend we're on a prison visit?
No,
and we can just put
no,
something here?
we're not.
I'm ignoring it,
You
man.
know why? Because you see me, I'm not saying I like when Wham man have their shirt off. You
He's
see when the
not
man's
wham.
got a bit of muscle and he's
He's
sitting there.
puppy fat,
it's like,
man.
It's cool. I understand
But
why
I take your thing on.
Why
Let's
is
see,
your
bro.
shirt off?
Let's
bro?
see, cause it's hot, bro. I got a puffer and it's hot.
Then get a shirt, bro. Get it.
I
We're
gave him a
in the
shirt from
office.
that.
Get him a
Wait,
shirt.
I might, you know what? I might go on strike.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I might go on strike. Hey.
Buy now, filthy@5.com.
Steve, you mentioned strike.
Yes.
Strike. Obviously, the players very powerful. They're very, very powerful now. I see Mbappe bought a football team the other day. We're to all kind of madness.
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
bought.
someone else bought a football
They
team.
were trying to
Someone
say Trent
else
was
did.
trying to
Who
buy a
was
French
it? Yeah,
team,
Trent.
but he wasn't. He wasn't.
Trent,
Remember.
they said Trent was, but Mbappe definitely copped a football team. So players got power now. Got a lot of power, and I think that might be a factor. Like back in the day, you probably couldn't go to your gaffer and be like, "Oh, I got a knock. Can I not play?"
Don't, mate. Yeah, exactly.
But now players got power.
But that's not right, though. By the way,
It's not
how
right. It's
how
not right.
people were treated back in the day, like playing through injuries and
But you know what it is? What if? No, but this is my thing. Why do you need to? This is football. This ain't rugby. This ain't boxing. American football. Like, why do you need? I see an interview. Luis Suarez saying, I should even laugh. He can't play with his youths because he can't walk. Retire, brother. You can't play with your children.
that, Suarez?
Suarez, brother. Yeah, I love the game, but I can't play.
All face, all face.
Tense.
All face, all face.
So let's have it right. Let's have it right, boys. The players might go on strike.
Look, can I say something? It's funny you mentioned Zaha there. Can't play knees, can't play every son or whatever. So I think Zaha.
Suarez.
Oh, Suarez.
I thought it was Louis Saha as well.
No, Luis Suarez.
Saar can play with his sons.
Suarez got a son.
He's playing now, isn't he?
He went to the Brazilian
Miami.
team.
Yeah, he's at Miami now.
No, but this was so he's gone to another team.
Yeah, he's still playing.
He can't play with his youth. So now we can't play with his
I think players had more. They should have gone on strike back in the day more than now. They're more protected now. They're more looked
You
after
can't
now.
go on strike when there's no butter on your bread, though. You get what I'm saying? Like now,
No,
there's
what
butter
do
on
you
the
mean?
bread.
Nah, no. Back then, back
they're
then the
making money
game.
now.
Exactly.
No, back then the game was like you were encouraged to be like a soldier.
Yes.
It's like football might not have been one of them.
They
sports.
lied to
They
you.
acted like it was.
They robbed
Yeah,
you.
they literally made you like a. Was that
But that's
military
only
drill.
here, you know that, innit?
Yeah, 100%.
Only
no,
here.
No, not only.
What do you
here.
mean?
Like England is like when you go other places, like a footballer's an artist. Like in Spain, in Italy. Like in England, it's a soldier. You got Russian brick walls, mate.
It's not that loose. Think about it. There's so much more money in the game now. Man City can spend 60 million on the centre back, get it wrong and do the same thing next year. Even the Championship could be massive. Whereas back in the day, 15 million pounds was big rent. So if you spend 15 million pounds on your striker, you've got to make that work.
So let's just say the players do go on strike, and our game gets taken away from us. What we watching, boys? We're gonna.
What sport we watching? Or what?
Gossip girl.
Vibes, come on.
XO.
My love is very special.
Yeah.
That's Gossip Girl.
Yeah,
It's a
he's-
TV
at the
TV
start,
show, bro.
She says XO, XO, XO. That she says it at the start of Gossip Girl, so he stole that.
So
and made
basically,
Billy song.
Vibes Cartel stole it from. He stole it from Gossip Girl. Yeah. Big up Vibes, man.
So obviously, boys, we are a team here, and Poe, I'm gonna be honest, bro. We are being overplayed. We got Loons has just come back, Gundogan, and he's playing.
Look, I'll be honest. Y'all striking. I'll be here feeling.
Nah,
I'll sit in all the seats.
that's what I wanted to get to, innit?
I'm not overplaying.
I don't think the crowd they're not appreciating this transition period. Like, they're feeling a little bit like Jack. Abure didn't go on stretch. He had to leave. He had to. But all jokes aside, I think we should go on strike. Nah. Bro, we got Lippy playing up front. We're not bare bones, bro.
Topless. We got a topless winger.
Right back. Boys, we just be honest. Some man have gone on strike already. So although the fans are unhappy, we don't run away. We have to make them happy. We can't go on strike. I'm not going on strike.
What?
What's going on? What do you do?
I'm not big enough to fight.
But lose. Speak to the man.
Alright, let's move on.
Brother, you know what? Low-key, it's your fault. It's your fault, though. You gave him the cheeseburger, and you knew that would set him off.
The man said we can mash that up after. Hey, listen, bro. You're lucky I've been to your yard.
Listen, so obviously, during the international break,
Yes.
there has been a Premier League civil war.
Oh, yes.
And war is in the air right now. Yeah. Certain soldier man just walked in. We gotta bring him over here. Come.
Hey, go get your chair. Pull up. Sky. Walks in at the right time.
You know what? Do you know what it is? Do you know why I'm up front today? You know why this is special before we talk about the Premier League Civil War? My first filthy episode, Scorcher was there. So this is a full circle moment.
I think my
5 years
first
of-
filthy episode you might have been there.
Was we had the same debut?
No, your debut was before mine.
No, we always argue, and that is lies.
What was you like?
He's been at the club longer than me.
No,
He's like one
Yes,
of them
you have, bro.
You got late to the level like Dewsbury Hall kind of.
See? Oh.
I saw your freestyle dubbing, man, but no double-barreled name is with me. I'm like Modric from Spurs to Real Madrid. That's the but
Nah, Kyle, I don't wanna
blood
disrespect, man.
clot. Big you up, Kieran.
And Big Him Up is a baller, by the way.
100%.
Yeah.
Bad move to Chelsea. Bad move.
But United is you can't have a breakout season at 28 in the champ.
You can, man.
He's not
Is he
28.
20? Not 28.
Is he 28? He's not
But
28.
let's not stay there. Back to war.
Is he 28?
No, he's 25. Back to war. Sponsor wind up, bro.
Premier League. Civil War. Man City. 115. I've heard there's more charges or something.
No, it's a different charges. The other charges, they beat him.
Because I heard they beat a thing the other day, but that's not even to do with
No,
the
that's a
115.
separate.
But can I
Damn.
throw a curveball out there?
Curve it.
10 years time, 15, 20 years time, Man United done the same thing City's done.
What?
Man United done the same thing City
Who told you?
was accused of doing. And let me just land. Man United have been spending 30, 40, 50 mil when other clubs were spending 7, 6, 10 mil, yeah? Man United have been spending money they never had way before it was illegal to do it. These are facts.
When was this?
Rio Ferdinand's cost 30 mil
Yeah.
in what, 2001? 2001?
Wait, no, but it goes back further than that. Cantona.
Cantona, Leeds
Record
won the
joint.
league. Leeds won the league.
Yeah.
And Man United finished, I don't know, fourth, I don't know. And then they bought the top goal scorer of the league, off Leeds. They bought the player of the year, Roy Keane from Nottingham Forest. Like they got pumped money and they spent it and it had no way of making it.
No, but it is, no,
So
but
it's the same as Man City.
Nah.
It's all the
No,
same,
no,
man.
it's not.
But
Do you know why it's not the same?
New rules have been
Do you know
made.
why it's not the
and
same?
just-
Do you know why it's
I
not
ain't
the
got a
same?
problem with Man City doing it.
What City are doing, allegedly, yeah, is like they're getting like other companies.
Yeah.
Like
Old news
they're
though.
saying the dinner ladies on. They're saying the dinner ladies on 350
They're
bags
making
a year.
no. He's selling.
It's lies, bro.
Let's get it proper. He's selling the company to his bread. Like it's like me
Yeah,
and you,
bro.
I own the club. I was like, look, I'm gonna sell the rights to the name to the stadium to you. I'm gonna sell it to you for 2.5 million, but on paper it's gonna be 25 million.
Yeah.
So
But what's
we
wrong
can
with that,
put-
though?
use that money
Scotch,
to
it's
pump
too
into the
dark.
season.
They're doing.
I don't mind,
They
it's hustle.
got the team in France. Yeah. There was a time where they couldn't make signings. They got that Troyes team in France. They made Troyes buy that Savio.
Savio, brother.
Savio went
Yeah,
on
yeah,
loan
yeah.
to Girona. Out of nowhere, he's cold. He's in City, Savinho now. He's got a new name, cuz. He's going past
They added the
Calafiori.
Eno, bro.
Oi, that touch against Calafiori.
Took
Oh
him out.
my
Sorry, wait.
God.
I know I weren't here, yeah, but like, did you not try to say that Calafiori goal was like good tech, like?
Scotch, don't-
Scotch.
That goal was good. That goal was
Aye,
good.
let me
That
say
goal was
something.
I believe he's
Scotch,
doing this.
He's wrapped it.
He's wrapped it, yeah, but
You
to
don't think that
wrap
was
it
good?
that side's elite.
You don't think? No, but
Wait,
he
wait,
just shot.
like,
This is
I
my
know
team.
you see
All
all
play the
levels of
game.
football.
No, G, I'm not. It was.
When have you seen that? I seen Yaya do bet. I think
No, but he just
In the top
shot.
right.
He just
That's
shot,
crazy.
bro. He just shot.
Yeah.
But he must have known. He must have known he could do
Sometimes
it.
you just shoot.
Innit? He must have known he could do
Hey,
it.
hey, Steve-O, you seen all levels of football. Have you seen that one there?
Yeah, but you know why he hits like
Side
that?
foot into the up far post, top bins.
Because he crossed that. Because he done his cruciate ligament. Yeah, they have to train him.
You know what I think? Because if that was a pass, that's a question. Every minute, bro. Sometimes it's just, football's just about kicking the ball to where you want it to go, bro. You don't care how it gets there. You understand?
I care.
Nah, man. If
I'm
a
elegant.
goal's a goal,
I'm elegant.
bro.
I'm elegant,
You shoot.
man.
Look at that goal, though. Look at the
Oh,
goal.
you remember my favourite guy, Romario?
Yeah, it's my
He
guy.
was known
Toe
for
poke.
Toe poke. But toe poke's elite though. You see toe poke to finish a move.
But in school, that was bad though. in school, if you done that,
man's toe poking over the bar. You see when you're toe poking it to roll it in, keep it on the floor to roll it in. You look like you're gonna wrap it.
All right,
in,
listen.
Toe poke it in
Boys,
bottom
we're
corner.
trying to
It's elite.
escape from the matter at hand.
Sorry.
Yeah? Because City somehow got certain man backing them. Right?
This is what I don't understand.
They got Chelsea with them. They got Newcastle.
Liverpool?
They got your ops, Everton.
Oh, Everton's got big butter. Everton's got a big butter.
Seriously.
So it's all the.
They
Nah,
can't
that's
spend
the,
it, though.
That's the money teams. Chelsea,
Can't
Newcastle,
spend it.
Everton. Those are the money teams. Those are the teams that have been bought by the foreign billionaire them or whatever.
No, but see Chelsea. That the Chelsea thing's not legit though.
Why not?
Bro, look, listen.
Todd
The
Bowles-
bread is gonna run out. I can't wait to see what happens when the bread runs out.
Hey,
'cause the
Todd
bread's
Bowley's
gonna
money's
run
not
out.
his. Todd Bowley's money's not his. He's just a front for someone. But the people he's a front for got butter. Like they got butter, bro.
So whose side are you on? Because if they're basically, there's some teams that are saying these are the charges that they've got, but we're backing them anyway.
No, let's have it right. You're asking what? There is an opposition,
Yeah.
and it's being led by two people that are arch enemies in the grand scheme of things. No, that's Arsenal and Man United. Don't touch him. He didn't have a shirt on before. You know what? He's
Oh,
got,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got on
I've
one
got to
now.
do
He's got on
my
one now.
hands,
He's got on one now.
But you got one now, yeah.
Yeah,
for real,
come on, man.
That's
You know why
present
Man
day.
United's doing it though, innit? Because they're whack. But I understand why Arsenal's doing it. You hear me? You're not getting robbed. But if it changed the rules, what difference is it going to be from you not finishing 8th? You know, would still finish 8th. You get me? If the top two changed, you're still 8th. You get what I'm saying? If first and second changes, you're still 8th. So
Get him out.
Nah, I'm glad he's back.
Get him out, get
Hey,
him
Steve, what do you reckon? If you obviously, like I said,
What's that? You know what it is? Let's ask Steve-O. We'll ask Scorch as well, because they support mid-table clubs that don't really win things. So they're just here. So which side are you,
Twisting
man?
the knife.
Do I want City to get off the charges?
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what I
man.
mean? The other guys. No, because let's have it right. England, the core fan bases are United, Arsenal, Liverpool, arguably.
Tottenham.
In England. you think there's man.
That's why you lot are not arguing with no one.
but do you-
Arsenal fans are not arguing
don't
with
get
no
twisted.
one.
The Tottenham fan base is strong, but do you think there's man in Birmingham that support Spurs?
Oh no.
No,
there you go.
listen.
No, but it's the truth though. People all over the country support Arsenal, United, Liverpool,
Yeah, but
Chelsea.
no,
maybe
but
now.
I think started to like from like I started to meet. Cause at first it was like a Haringey Borough at Enfield thing.
It's a London thing.
But,
It's a London
I
thing.
met you lot know Adam Bear.
Yeah, of course.
He's from West.
Yeah, there's all mistakes.
Oh,
There's
so
yeah.
man said it can expand it to West.
I thought you were gonna
Man
say
need
like,
to hear West Yorkshire. We need to hear West Yorkshire.
There's Scout Schooners, there's Gooners from
Yeah, there's
Manchester.
no Scout Spurs fans.
Listen,
That's true.
100%.
Hey, do you know what? There's no man in Liverpool that supports Spurs. I can say there's none, not one.
There's Arsenal fans up there.
Of course.
But you know why they're Arsenal fans? Because they can't go to Everton, because that's the local rival. And Liverpool was so down in the dumps that Arsenal were a Man City.
No, it's Ian Wright. It's Ian Wright. It's Ian Wright.
Ian Wright.
Have it right.
Ian Wright, there's Henry. Look
John
at-
Barnes. It's my dad, isn't it? That's why I'm Liverpool.
That makes so much sense.
But Ian Wright's the reason why we're in here. You slyly don't like it, but you kind of like.
Yeah, you have to rate.
You kind
You
of
have to
like.
rate.
He's got a show and all that. He's got gold tooth.
Yeah,
no, he's
Cold, bro.
The
Ballhead.
the bogle.
It's
Everything,
mad,
yeah.
bro.
Too
That
much.
bogle was crazy,
I see
innit?
that at the christenings, man. I see that. You dance, make your little cousins dance. Just saying, innit? Just saying.
remember that.
Dancing.
Yeah, Real Fox didn't really have that effect.
You
Les
might
Ferdinand
think,
didn't.
Harry Kane might have turned some heads. Some young minds might have enjoyed that mediocrity at a point.
We didn't even find out what Steve-O thinks, though. Sorry, Steve-O.
What about what though? 'Cause
In terms of this whole situation with Man City, if
Alright,
the
yeah.
charges are right, should they get, reprimanded, or we should just leave it, man? Let it carry on, man.
Mate, I am a fan of football. So I just want football to be. What's it? What are you doing? Are you finishing my sentences?
Because I know what you're going
Because
to
he
say.
knows where you're going.
Fam, you
and
don't have to be the Migos, fam. You don't have to ad-lib
no.
nothing. Go on.
Man said the Migos. That's
So whatever we need to. So for instance, I love that Newcastle can spend. I love you know what I mean? I love Everton have got money now, so I don't give a hell about that I'm charging.
New generation of football.
Because I know throughout the whole of football, the whole of sport, the whole of politics, the whole of everything,
It's all nonsense, really.
they're all
Yeah,
got charges.
I hear you.
Does that happen in other sports though?
What do you mean?
Like, was LA Lakers meaty one time, and then like Arnold Schwarzenegger bought it bare?
LA Lakers were meaty when Jordan was at the Bulls.
Yeah, but surely it's not.
They were meaty.
Like they still had. I'm sure they had Abdul Jabbar and certain legends.
No, but you got in NBA is maybe a bad maybe a bad thing because you see what you can do. You can say you
Draft.
can you can. I can give you my player, but I want the next draft. I want
Bro,
I
their
want the top two picks.
their
and
whole
then,
thing is their whole thing ain't legit. Because a man will be the worst team. You finished last year. You're looking at your season and saying, "Right, this is a bit mid, you know."
But then your first
man just stopped playing properly. Then you get first round pick. So now you're buying Messi.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Now you're
that's
buying
cold.
Yamal. Now you got Yamal.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
But that's why I don't rate basketball because one player can change a whole basketball team. And they get the best rookie.
But you don't rate
and
it
they're
for
up
that.
there. How one man changes it?
It's only 5
Not even
players.
the gap
whoa,
for him.
whoa. It's only 5 players for
But
the team.
one man.
Yeah.
No, but one man can change it. We just don't see it, bro. We just don't see it. One man can change
What's
it.
it? What's it? Vanessa Bling said one man, innit?
Yeah, for real. To her point, yeah, I hear you. Exactly.
Massive Vanessa.
And Scorcher only mentioned one player at Arsenal that changed everything, Ian Wright. So sometimes it just
Nah,
takes one
I think
brother.
basketball. If you had three players on a football team, you change the whole team.
So in regards to this war, yeah, what do you think? How much sides is there? It's 2 sides. The kind of the.
The haves and the have-nots.
All right, where's Liverpool? You have or
Have-nots. We're a have-not team. We've always been a have-not team.
Tottenham?
They have.
We got the. It's crazy.
I think you might be with City.
We got the bread.
I think you're with City on a low,
It's
you
poor,
know.
bro.
On a low.
But it depends. Like if it.
Because that stadium came out of
Are
nowhere.
you still paying off the stadium?
The Americans, innit?
Yeah, that's mad.
They pay for the stadium and then spend 60 million.
Brother, they
striker.
cloned that stadium from.
Nah, but it's different. It's not like Emirates times. Different times. You can rebuild a stadium, get the dough back. You got all the sponsorship, got Nike and everything on the side.
Yeah, but you know, like, I'll be honest, Arsenal hustle bad, man. Because you see what, like, you go past the Tottenham Stadium, it's got an NFL badge. So obviously they made an NFL chip in.
Yeah.
So, like, it's
Nah, but
hustle,
that
innit?
didn't really exist back then. So what we done, we had the partnership with Brazil. Remember, all Brazil played all their friends.
yeah, I
but that's
remember that.
needy. That's
They're
like,
broke. They're broke. They're broke. You're doing the wrong business deals.
dead.
You're broke. You know what Arsenal thought? Ronaldinho's going to be in the stadium. We're going to
no,
sell it out.
brother.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Ronaldinho played one game. Then it was Alano and them, man.
I
For
went.
the rest
I
of
went.
the years, like.
Me and Vuj were there doing up content and bare things. The game was come on.
Hey, you know what though? Speaking about what you lot saying now about the City stuff, yeah. See me, yeah. Do you know why I want to see them get in trouble? I want to see it because you see if you're a real they're a super team now, innit?
Yeah.
You see if you can bounce back.
Bro,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
bro. You
yeah.
see the proper super clubs here.
Like Juve,
They're
when
better
Juve
than
done it.
everyone, and then when that don't work, they cheat. And then when they get caught, they say, "Alright, cool, right, you caught us."
And then they're still
then they
good.
come
yeah,
back,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Juventus.
Like,
Juventus.
Ban, Chelsea transfer
United
ban,
probably done it.
Atletico ban, Real Madrid transfer ban,
All the big teams.
Barca
all the big
ting,
teams.
AC Milan finance, all
The
these.
ones to hang about.
bro.
We're not talking about just transfer ban. We're talking about they.
No, I'm just saying, like, as a super club, you go through things and bounce back.
You like Real Madrid's fall off was 12 years no Champions League.
What do you mean?
They went
No, but what-
no
what-
Champions
whoa,
League.
what's it?
Bring their first Champions League back.
But we're talking
after
about
a long time, no?
Whoa.
Yeah, but Juventus' drop-off is still the worst because they got relegated right down to...
Yeah, they went mad.
And their bounce back was ridiculous.
So that's
In that-
different to the Madrid thing.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, dealing with some.
Oh no,
difficulties,
your
you know what I mean?
examples made sense. Juventus when they got all the way back
but I
down.
can give you the Madrid because they went from Beckham, Zidane to Gravison, Arbeloa.
But that's just
No, wait, whoa.
No, but they were meant to be
Sorry.
good. It weren't a sad thing. It just didn't work.
Don't diss my guy, though.
Who, Gravison.
Arbeloa.
Don't diss my guy.
He
Arbeloa
played
is
for
your guy.
Liverpool, bro. Arbeloa was dope at Liverpool.
Cold.
It's all right.
No, guys, I know we weren't doing tricks
They
like
went,
that. Let's respect
they went,
the team.
they went and took a lump on that Marcelo. I think they paid that 1.6 million. On him. They went from Galacticos and they dressed down.
I'm not saying you
Like
don't have a point,
Barca
but I
doing
think
it now.
matching Steve-O and Scorcher's point is not more or less the performance of the team. It's the circumstances that you're placed in, and then
They were
because of
placed in that
cheating.
circumstance.
We're talking about one is a bad, one is just.
But they were placed in that circumstance. They were placed in that circumstance because they had done some illegal activities to get the Galacticos, so they had to get rid of all of them, and they couldn't sign who was the best players then, as they can do every
Now.
year after.
And then they
had
signed
a-
Bear Dutch. They said Robin, Van Nistelrooy.
Drentford, Royston, Drentford.
Yeah, I
Do you
remember.
remember that time? They won nothing.
No, but it's because Barca. You know what it is? We move on.
So I'm bringing chaos to the show. I was saying.
But obviously, it's the end of this painful week. We got a cracker coming up. Liverpool vs Chelsea. Yes. I love a hate watch where it kind of don't matter what the result is. We can laugh at someone.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know them ones.
You know, just the other day though, like, was it not last season, the season before, literally just the other day, yeah. Do you not remember? Chelsea-Liverpool was some mid-table horrible clash. Like it was like, I swear they had like a.
What's that? Bro, when? As a Spurs man, for you to say that must have been 1960.
Just that, bro. 2 seasons ago, you lot were. It was like 10th and. It was a 10th and 9th.
Liverpool.
Wait. 2 seasons ago, Liverpool were doing a madness school.
Do you know what? It was the 0-0 and Mudryk came off the bench. You were both doing badly.
No, but it's not a mid-table. Liverpool have been the best team.
We've been the second best team.
Hold on, the
for
lowest
time.
Liverpool have finished
Fifth.
since Klopp. Yeah, since Klopp came 8th that season, has been 5th. And no, to be fair, he is talking about that season.
Bro, that game
He's
you lot
talking
played,
about-
it was like 10th
he's talking
versus
about
11th
the
or something
season,
crazy.
not last season, the season before last.
Yeah.
He came 5th.
That's not mid-table though, is it?
We weren't fighting. We weren't hanging around mid-table.
But let's stick with today, man, because today, last 6, they're undefeated.
Undefeated both
Start
6.
before you left, bro.
Listen, undefeated both 6. New gaffers.
Yes.
Yeah. That says, can Liverpool win the league? I think Liverpool. I want to ask, can Chelsea?
No,
Can Chelsea
No.
win the league?
Levi Colwill can't win the league.
But gee, they've
Done.
got about 7 men in his position.
No, it's true.
Levi Colwill can't win.
I don't
Prem
think he's average.
today.
I don't think he's average. I think he'd be good for you
I
lot.
think, Kanate Van Dijk.
I watched him live. I watched him live
Chill
against
out.
Arsenal in the League Cup. And I know man do this thing where it's like, if you see the man live, like I know him
Like, I
more
know
than
him
you.
differently,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he's a good player.
I saw him live as well. Carabao Cup final.
Bro, you see Levi Colwill, yeah? You know what he's got
What you
everyone
got against
thanking?
Levi?
He slaps it.
The
He'll
left,
wrap
yeah,
it
yeah,
into
yeah,
like
Anyone.
anyone.
Physicist,
Yeah.
he's a
And they
proper
can't really hack it. But the point is though, but because of that, it's kind of got man, and there's a lot of aggression, but it's not really. I'm not seeing it. Me.
Alright, if you're a manager, you want your defender to make sure the pass gets where it's going. So if he wraps it into, you're gonna have to tell your midfielder sort your touch.
Pattern it up, yeah.
Yeah, because I want him to wrap it into my midfielder so it gets there.
Yeah, but the thing is,
You gotta know who you're
yeah,
playing
but no,
with, though.
Because obviously, if you watch football, and I don't want to divulge into this too much, but when you're in defence, you ain't got to wrap it because more time everyone's sat back anyway because you're a top side and they're afraid to go forward. So you wrapping it, you've probably got enough time to go and get a patty and come back. So there's no need for that. But I agree, Chelsea can't win the league. Purely, I think that they've got a lot of questions that I don't think even the manager knows the answer to.
Forget Levi Colwood, Nicholas Jackson can't win the league, bro.
I think Chelsea will have a lot to do with who wins the league, though.
Do you
I
reckon?
think, I think Chelsea will be
Yeah,
a difficult
I can hear
game
that.
at a point. I can't lie, because they've got players. They've got certain players. Cole Palmer, obviously.
I tried
It's
to
a
tell
madness.
everyone.
You see,
How long ago?
but you're one of them, man. You're one of them, man.
You
know
just
them-
pick a man out of the football manager. Yeah. Rooney Barger. Rooney Barger.
Barger,
He's like
gee.
Rooney Barger, innit?
Exactly.
Rooney Barger's next. Yeah, he is, but
And
we all know
we
it.
all heard about Cole Palmer at a similar time.
Yeah.
We've seen this youth with all these green stats on Football Manager. Like, who is he?
Yeah.
He's playing in the fringe matches of City. You can see who he is straight away. Community Shield, bang.
Baller.
Banging it, yeah.
European Super Cup, bang.
Baller.
First league season, 22 league. He's incredible.
Yeah.
You understand? But obviously he's definitely good. But I think Chelsea got a couple sleeping giants. You lot don't like this one. I like.
You lot got the next one, Cole Palmer, bro. You lot got the next one, Ethan Nwaneri.
Ranieri is a bad boy.
Wait, who?
He's a
Wait,
bad
who?
boy.
Wait, who?
No, I'm telling you the
who are
Chelsea players I
sleeper-
like.
Who are the gone? Yeah.
I like Nico Jackson, boys. I know
Oh,
that
wow.
sounds nuts. I like
Changing the
him.
narrative.
The 6 Jackson.
You know what it is? He's what everyone thought Darwin Núñez was.
Yes.
Yeah, just
Yes.
finish up his finishing.
Yes.
And he'll be better. Darwin Núñez needs a bit more than finish up finishing.
Yeah.
Nicholas
He
Jackson,
needs therapy.
finishing,
Jackson's, yeah.
fixed up, and he is top 10.
Because
Bro,
the matches
really?
where he
Yeah, man.
The match, it was against you lot.
Steve-O, you know what it is? It's got, you know what it is sometimes? It's how man frame it. You understand it when I put it like this. You know what he is? If you're centre half, he's a handful.
But I've never seen a striker get that many chances.
You see the games where he's got his shooting boots on. It's
Bro.
murder.
No,
he's
any game
he's a
he's in
ball
is
car-
hard
he's
work,
a ball
bro.
carrier. He's like, you see, because Chelsea got him the season we got Gabby Jesus, yeah? Or actually, was it a season after?
Season off.
Season after.
Season after. So yes. So
When the
I've-
season we got Núñez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to see Gabby Jesus with Arsenal. Then I saw my man. After about 5 games, I was like, I prefer my man to Gabby Jesus. Oh, what are you talking about? I was like, he's got what a striker needs, bro. The resilience, he keeps going. Have you ever seen? You see when they put the camera on him? He's not upset, you know. Emotionless. No matter what's going on.
He's actually cold.
No, he's always angry. What are you talking about? He's always flicking someone's ear. or...
but it's in the game. It's in the game. Gabby Jesus, Lacazette, these men are emotional. Aubameyang now, he would miss a sitter.
I don't care.
Just laugh it off, red hat trick at the end of the game. You understand?
Oh, in that sense, yeah.
You need a man that can brush it off, innit?
Loons, can I ask you a question though? Because this is the one problem I think that you lot are gonna encounter. I was on Twitter last week and I smiled. Not that you should smile over people's injuries, but I realised that Liverpool are having probably the most difficult period they've had now for the next 6-7 weeks than they've had all season, which is not that long. And there's no Alisson. He's injured. So even against Chelsea on Sunday, I go Nicholas Jackson is probably going to have, you know, against Alisson will deal with it. But who's the second keeper?
Kelleher.
Keller.
No, I seen him playing the other guy, some other guy that's not Kelleher.
Milos, but Keller's back.
So I'll ask you a question. In the most difficult period where you don't have information about how
Jaros.
I was about to say, man said Milan Barros in one player.
you don't have the info about how your side responds to top sides. Now you've got 7 weeks of back-to-back top side games with one of your most crucial players not there. How do you respond? If you don't accumulate enough points throughout that period, do you still feel like you're title contenders?
All right, cool. Let me land. All right. Do you remember African Nations?
Yes.
Yep.
Remember the run that Mo Salah was on before African Nations?
Yeah.
Remember what everyone said after when African Nations started? Liverpool not going to win a game. We won every game without Mo Salah, bro.
What does this have to do with Alisson?
But look, understand. We got the best number 2 in the league. These are facts.
Kelleher is the best number 2 in the league.
I don't think he's better than Neto.
in the
We got Neto. I don't know if he's better than Neto.
Who the hell's Neto?
What do you mean now he's with Messi? That's my
Bournemouth,
brother. Come on, man.
Bournemouth.
Neto, the guy that grabs the ball out of the net. Don't worry about it.
Neto's been on filthy. We rate
Shout out
Neto.
Neto.
He's the best keeper in the
Come on
league.
now, brother.
Keller. We got offered 60 M for Keller in the summer.
No, from who?
Bro,
Worry
you know
about all
about
that.
One of the
Loons'
year get
files,
offered those
man.
60 M's for
Loons is
Kelleher.
back. Loons is back. He's got his own newspaper sources. Now listen, let's reel it in a bit again, because we ain't spoken about the gaffers them. And I want to focus on one of them. Arne Slot is a classy name, first of all. I don't think he has the face for the name.
La,
you don't really
la,
look,
la,
like
la.
Arne. You look like something stronger than that.
Jeffrey.
Petter.
Oh,
One of them,
Petter,
You know, like
yeah.
the foreign Peter or something.
Oh yeah,
Shows the side.
no E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know like that. But let's speak about it for a second. Is he who
What's up, Elisha?
Ten Hag should have been?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is that what we're saying?
Wait, can I just like? Are we all on the same page that Eric Ten Hag is the worst ever?
I think
No,
he's the best.
no.
He's the best.
No, but he's the no for
take
us.
off the take off
Okay,
the
how are you?
For us. Let's just say we was Caleb.
Purple hot because you know we at war. Look at us.
So what, Caleb? Talk to me, bro. I always do this because I forget. How old are you, Caleb?
25.
This is the worst you've seen your club, probably.
No.
No, maybe not position-wise, but
What's confusing? It's not the worst I've
Wait,
seen.
Think-
wait,
outside
who's
of the-
who,
no, no,
who's worse than this guy?
Okay,
Where
why
have
not?
you seen Man United finish lower than 8th or low in your lifetime?
But the thing is, everybody
pretty
just
good.
wants to just like
That's
leave
good.
out context when it comes to everything. I don't think he's.
Man,
sick.
they
I don't
look
think he's
tiny.
that Great.
I didn't know the child
But
looked so tiny.
The injuries that we've gotten, the situation. No. Okay. And also, this is the maddest situation I've ever seen a manager go through. Bro, man had to go through the Ronaldo situation, had to go through the Sancho situation, had to go through. He had to deal with a lot of stuff. This club restructuring. There's a lot of things that a man's
Every
dealing with.
manager's had
No,
to deal
no,
with
not
this.
every managers have to deal with
No,
this.
Paul, one second. Pause. Name one manager that's not had to deal with difficult personalities in the team.
No, it's the
Bro,
difference
no, I want you
between
to
difficult conversation and Piers Morgan interview and what they're saying, and then people coming
Alright,
out.
how about Paul Pogba? 1 second. How about Paul Pogba getting killed by Graham Souness
Oh, this
every
dude's so
other
slow.
week on Sky Sports whilst Jose Mourinho
the
is
hell
in
was
the
that?
change room? Jesse Lingard and Rashford are taking planes to America doing up tunes.
They're doing dabbing.
Let's look at the facts, yeah.
Let's
Ten Hag, like most United managers that get given the keys, spent a lot of money.
How's
Let's
streaming going?
look
It's
at
going
the
pretty
items
good.
he's bought.
Let's
I
pop in.
remember when I used to send
Do
my
I like
brother to the
FIFA?
shop,
Yeah, I like FIFA.
and these
It's alright.
men are coming
£10.
back
You give him
with-
£10. These men are coming back with dry roasted
Yeah.
peanuts.
Literally.
They're expensive,
Yeah.
brand.
The KP ones. Yeah, no, it's
The
good.
KP one.
KP ones.
£7.39.
Pork scratchings. Pork scratchings.
Man, even yam pork.
Ah.
Man, even yam pork. Brother just says, I saw this and I thought it was sorry, pork.
But
No,
you
that's what I'm saying.
that's
But he's still going to get it. He thinks it's a new thing.
Yeah.
So pork scratchings, that's Malasia. Pork
A la
scratchings.
madre.
Yeah. Then we got the honey roasted peanut.
wait.
That's Anthony.
What's a nana? Please.
Oh my days.
Nana is that.
Wait, what's the other super malt? Mighty
You
Malt.
know that.
Mighty Mo's cold. Mighty Mo's cold.
Mighty
Mighty Mo's cold.
Nana is that. You know that sweet. If you buy it for your kid's not going to.
Licorice.
It's that it's got a little bottle, yeah, and it's like it says
Liquid.
like goo. It says goo, and you sprinkle the
What are you talking about,
sherbet
bro?
on it. It's something like what you're talking about. This is sherbet,
Bro,
If you give
got-
this to your
Poet, you gotta build the sweet.
you gotta build the sweet.
Bro, you
Build
gotta
the
build
sweet.
it. No, bro, I almost said to my car, what you want? I see him in the side. Yo, I said, bro, he built it. You put the sherbet on the
gel,
thing,
yeah, and the
then you
gel,
get a little gel
thing.
thing, then you like
And you
twist
make
it,
your sweets,
and then you yum it.
bro. It's big drip.
That's what Ten Hag is billing sweets.
Hit it
That's
out.
what he's doing.
You know, you hear like you got normally managers. There's normal problems like the players aren't fit enough, injuries, not my players, the system adapting, all this stuff.
3 years.
He's been there time. He's had bread. He's bought players he's already worked with.
What do you need to see?
So then he's kept the players that he wanted that were already
Fact.
here. So I'm looking at it. The goalie's his goalie. The left back, whoever he picks, anyone,
What, Denis,
his player. The
Martinez?
right back's his. The two centre halves are his. The centre mid, the DM or centre mid's his. The
He's
other
worked with
one's his.
Ericsson as well, you know.
Ericsson's
his
doing
boy.
well, man.
Yeah.
Ericsson's doing well.
The right winger's his.
His,
The left winger's his by choice. The strikers, everything is his, bro.
You know what? One your manager, man. Built like a beluga whale.
The difference between
Beluga.
Onslaught and Klopp is, I knew with Klopp it's gonna be with Slot. I don't know. If we concede, I don't know what's gonna happen. Do you understand? So against Forest, when we concede, I was like, oh my god, like I'm expecting the Klopp reaction. If
Yeah, no, I
Klopp's
see
there,
that. I said, right, you lot might be in trouble. Because Klopp don't, that
Klopp don't play that. You get me on this? Oh, Slots, be easy. Da-da-da. See, Klopp, it's
Loons, do you think you guys are playing well? Do you think you guys are playing well?
Ah.
Like, really well?
Bro, Ryan Gravenberch is the best number 6 in the Premier League this season.
One second, I need to hear him out. What don't you know?
We balled you.
Why are they not
3-0.
playing well?
Did you think you played well that game?
They could have beat you 7.
You see what?
I think we were terrible. I thought we were.
No, man, bro, you see what? You're a new Man United fan.
What do you mean? I've been supporting them for all my life.
He's 25.
I know, but you can tell. You know why? Because anyone that plays for Manchester United, that game against Liverpool, they turn up or they attempt. But we were just there. This is your yard, bro.
Yeah.
This is your yard.
Do you know what makes it worse, yeah? With this new manager that's come in, he seems to get them more up for a Man United Liverpool game in his first game than Ten Hag has done in 5 attempts.
But the last season we didn't lose to Liverpool once.
Twice.
Let's go.
In the FA Cup, and that's what I'm saying. You're gassing over that, bro. And then you went to Coventry, 2-3-0 up, and then got drawn back to penalties. That's the team you are. But you see what they'll do? We won the FA Cup.
Loons, forget that. We're here not talking losers. We're not Liverpool, Chelsea, bro.
Yeah.
Raw. That was a subtweet though.
What have you won? What have you won? What have you won?
Alex Ferguson. I heard Gary Neville say we never used to see Fergie all week until Friday when he picks the team. I believe now he's overrated.
What?
How can you?
Who?
If you're in playing
What?
if you're, let me land.
With your hard nipples, man. Get out of here, man.
Let me land. I said what I've said.
Is Alex Ferguson a football man?
No.
Because his son was terrible.
Let me land. So Alex Ferguson, no.
I was late.
Don't know a good
So he's not a football man.
doesn't know a good footballer. He had
I was
scouts.
Caicedo.
He had all this. Broski.
So does
I
he.
heard Gary
Mosek.
Neville. Bro,
Was
yeah,
Ecuador,
You have
no?
to manage. You know a manager.
Yes, he
Right,
does.
let me
Pensé
go, let me
Colombia.
go.
Vamos, Colombia. Ecuador.
Yo. You manage a club,
Yes.
right? That's like a football
Managers
manager. You
don't like
manage
them
a club. So you bring in the scouts.
Yes.
You bring in the Kit Carsons. You bring in this guy. You bring. That's what he used to do. And he done that amazingly for 20 years.
But you know what he used to do? He used to go, Blackburn scouted a player that no one's seen.
Fuck.
I'll take their top scout. Spurs have done something good.
Hang about.
Arsenal done something good. I'll take your top
Hang
scout.
about.
You can't get your top scout.
No, but you know what that's
Player.
like saying? You know what that's like saying?
I'll take your top player.
That's like saying.
It's a
that's
gamble
like
still.
saying, say some old man runs a
Overrated.
nightclub, yeah,
Overrated.
and he doesn't know nothing about the music or anything, but it's the best nightclub in the city, and
Oh.
he's handpicking all the people that you still have to rate that.
Of course I rate
it's different.
I rate his handpicking.
Because you know what it is? It's like Mourinho's like that. There's a lot of the top bosses. Remember we had a Wobie here. He said Ancelotti's son was the one, and a couple other people the ones
On
that
the training
did
pitch.
So I think that's even.
But Ancelotti still manages the team. He still has to
Ancelotti.
he makes the tough
Same as
decisions.
Alex Ferguson.
It falls back. Yeah.
Alex Ferguson.
It falls back on
Well,
him.
you know what you're realizing, yeah? As a manager, do you know like probably the biggest job you've got, and it's different to everyone. You have to delegate. You have to know who is right for what position, because if they get it wrong, you get it wrong. So if Alex Ferguson's able to get the right scouts, because they got loads of good players for a long period of time, and the right youth team coaches, and the right coaches, and so on and so forth, and it wasn't once. You can think about the amount of people that are beside Alex Ferguson over the course of years. From Steve McLaren to all sorts,
Yeah,
Brian Kidd.
Carlos Queiroz. You got Carlos Queiroz
I'm telling you,
to
this
help
ain't monopoly,
Ronaldo.
my bro. This ain't by chance. This is being able to manage something.
Ingato.
His last decision was his worst decision.
I was just about to say,
His
he
last
made all these
decision
cold decisions,
was his worst
and he
decision.
managed to get the
Trust
last
David
one wrong
Moyes.
though.
Trust David Moyes.
On the other end of the
Just
spectrum,
David Moyes. What the
you
hell?
got Arsene Wenger. He tried to do everything.
Goated though.
You got man knitting the kits and flipping.
But
managing
goated
it.
though.
No, but it's
Goated.
that his legacy is mash up because of that.
No, it ain't.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
Bro,
Yes, it
people,
is. It is.
As a non-Arsenal fan,
You see why I hate you, man? You see when
wants to
Wenger was
agree,
there,
man.
Wenger was an idiot for everyone. Ain't won the Champions League, ain't done this. Now we stopped. It's fine.
You can go in my Twitter and see, I say Arsenal fans are the most ungrateful. You see, Arsene Wenger, he changed football. You see, when
What did that mean when we had Socrates? so cause he bought Colo Torre and them, man, I have to rate them.
Lippy, it's the 400 bags he spent on Patrick. Lippy, it's the 400 bags he spent on Patrick Vieira. It's the 2.5 million he spent on Dennis
It was
Bergkamp.
3.5.
It's a 10
He
point.
didn't spend that on Bergkamp. Nah, Bruce Rioch got Bergkamp. He got Vieira.
Vieira and Anelka, sorry, Anelka.
Hey, by the way, sorry, I
Anelka.
just want to say, yeah,
That's hustle.
see Wenger, yeah, he's been finessing with the Bergkamp for a minute though.
Yeah,
Everyone
people
thinks
think,
it's
yeah.
like Bergkamp.
Nah, it was Bruce Rioch.
I know,
Yeah,
but, like,
And
everyone's like-
Bruce Rioch left. Bruce Rioch didn't even get to play him.
He did. Played for a year, but Bruce Rioch was an idiot. But Wenger got the best out. What are you talking about? Wenger got the best out of Bergkamp. We don't have to go around for too long. But in the 97-98 season, no one don't even know Bergkamp was scoring 20+ goals because it doesn't really exist in his career like
He didn't
that.
score any
But
against
he did
Spurs. Scored one against
Ah,
Spurs.
good.
with Bergkamp.
Yeah, that's why I
Better.
don't rate it. That's because he's overrated.
What do you mean? He scored 97-97 season against
Yeah, I know, but he scored 1 goal or 2 goals in 11 years against Spurs.
I don't believe that's a
Player.
fact, mate.
What you say? You don't rate him? You don't rate him, Lee?
No, I don't rate
Fact.
him. He's
What am I
overrated.
saying?
Ingesa.
How long you been back on the show, bro?
And you're
Today.
saying mad stuff. That's what I'm saying. He's come back one day, he just mashed up the
With
whole
the loose shirt and
chemistry.
just
Yeah.
yeah, man.
The
You know
loose
what I'm
shirt.
saying, boys?
Brother, loose shirt,
Boys.
hard nipples.
Obviously, the Prem Civil War has been ongoing. The real war starts again weekend.
What did that say?
Liverpool,
How many
Chelsea.
goals
Who
did
we
that say?
playing? I don't care how many goals did Firmino
2
score
goals.
with his fake teeth.
You said 1. You said
Fake
1.
teeth.
You said 1 though. I said 2.
No, you said one.
I said 2. I said 2. I said 2. You lot.
Oh, sh-
take back. I
I'm
said
on
2.
the, I'm on the fence.
I said 2.
Adele
One, I hear it.
Felix.
A guy
doing
is
good.
a striker, has been at a club 11 years, main rival, and he scored 2 in 11
Adele
years.
Felix.
I
Guess
remember
Adele.
Setting up 2 goals
A
against
yellow.
He's a Xerxes, man. He's a
Ça,
9.5.
comment ça dit ça?
Don't ever Xerxes off.
He's a Xerxes, bro. He's a
Yeah.
9.5.
Xerxes. Hey, listen, boys. Run it up. Listen, make sure you like, subscribe, watch previous
Comment.
episodes. Poet is doing the things that we want.
Comment.
Respect him. Stop with the negativity. We're back now. I feel like we're back, boys, isn't it?
I'm back like Ross Barkley, also.
My guy.
On the musical team. Shout out my boy SP's like, hey, listen, you're moving like Barkley. No, the
Moving.
Champions League. The newer
Man,
joint,
they're
not
moving.
That what it was. Not
Are your shirts baggy still, but big you up?
Do you want me to? Again?
Do it for Poet.
100%. I get the evolution. Big ups the evolution.
Welcome back to the kickoff, and me and the boys have just come from Saudi Arabia, from taking over the Boxing game, to get back on the kickoff, talk some football, because England have a new manager, Thomas Tuchel, and I'm perfectly happy about this for a
no
few
types
reasons.
of
3
money.
birds, 1 stone. I've got to be honest. England get a good new manager. Delighted with that. Man United miss out on the most obvious choice possible, and Newcastle therefore get to keep Eddie Howe. This is great, right? But I want to open it up to the lads and see if there's any different opinions. Is anyone unhappy about this, or are you particularly happy, lads? What's going on?
No one should be unhappy about this. I cannot believe the bits and pieces of negative media I've seen online around disappointment. Like, people honestly don't get it, do they? People do not get it. It's a loser's mentality to not want Thomas Tuchel. Who else
It's
is
the
there?
German thing, though, Joey, isn't it? Is that what you're hearing as well?
Who
Yeah.
cares? Who cares? Well,
The people complaining that he's German are the same people that wanted Pep Guardiola to be manager. So make that make sense. Like, if
Exactly.
it has to be an England manager, why are we all twerking for Pep Guardiola?
there's
It's a
very
different type of
simple
rivalry, though.
question. Yeah, it is, but is it really, like, do we really care? Like, there's a very simple question you need to ask yourself here, and that question is, do you want to stick with an English manager? Do you potentially want to pull Eddie Howe out of Newcastle, who, by the way, Eddie Howe's a great manager. I really, really admire Eddie Howe. I love Eddie Howe. He's been in 1 cup final, okay? Do you want to pull Eddie Howe, who's been in 1 cup final, out of Newcastle? Do you want to go for Gary O'Neill, who's somewhat overperformed with a mid-table team? You know, do you want to go with Frank Lampard, for example? Or do you want to go with a man who has been in 14 cup finals, won more than he's lost, scored more than he's conceded, and is absolutely proven in competitions?
Yeah!
Oh, I can't believe it.
Can I just say,
By the way,
Sir Jim
what I will-
Ratcliffe.
what I will
I
just
love
say-
Sir Jim Ratcliffe. You snooze, you lose, Jim. Thank you.
And just to add on to that, the final bit I'll say here as well is, like, There's obviously bad memories, I suppose we could call it, when we look at maybe the last international manager that we had that wasn't an English manager, when we go with Fabio Capello. But to compare Fabio Capello with Thomas Tuchel is like comparing night and day. Fabio Capello had success as a manager. Yeah, he was a proven manager. I'm not even going to say it's a stretch to say I don't even think Fabio Capello had worked with an English player. Like, was he at Madrid when Beckham was there? Maybe.
He was a dinosaur.
He was a problem. Him and Beckham had problems.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, there you go. But Thomas Tuchel has experience working with English players just as far back as a couple of months ago. Thomas
He took an
Tuchel
English club to the Champions League final and won it with them. Like the fact that we had Gareth Southgate, right, who had the most pathetic CV known to man before we appointed him, and we gave him 3 tournaments. Didn't we? Was it 3 or 4? Fuck me. Like, personally, I think that this is a great choice, and I've got to give the FA credit because Thomas Tuchel is a bit prickly, a bit, he's not just going to take shit lying down. He's known to be not a yes man. And not only did they go for the guy who wasn't a yes man, who had a proven track record, 2 things that have pissed me off like to no end with this lot, but they did it really quick. They have actually made mugs out of Man United because, like, and I know I like to wind people up, but this is genuinely how I see this. It's not just for a bit of banter. Man United had a moment where the whole country was going, they're going to sack Ten Hag, they're going to sack him, they're going to sack him, they're going to go and get Tommy Tuchel. It's going to happen any day now. And they didn't do it. And that was the moment the FA clearly swooped in, got their man, and did it silently and quickly. I've got to give them credit on that.
You know, I think what's happened here is they were aware that Man United are probably waiting for the next international break to make their decision, and I don't think they would have believed that the FA would have moved so quickly, and I think they probably didn't think the FA would have tried to bring in a German to take over. The whole full pan before, was bringing we're talking about the grassroots and the English manager, English game, and all that work that they're talking about St. George's and how they're trying to develop the game and having one of their own, only for, I don't know, was Carsley their number 1 choice in the beginning and he just removed himself because so much has happened. Tuchel must have been a wide choice. Like we weren't thinking this way, but it's here now. Man United are considering him. Let's get him in now because he's not going to be available in the next international break, and we've been caught with our trousers down. But then for England, it's good. But did you hear Harry Redknapp's rant? Harry Redknapp's come out and thinks that and I thought that it's interesting though. There is a little level of he's saying that the English managers are not getting the jobs. There's never going to be a chance. He said Howe will only be considered purely because he got promoted with Bournemouth. But he's like, there's no chance of English managers. Are you not on that wave? Do you believe in that? Like,
why aren't they getting the jobs, KG? Why aren't they getting the jobs?
Well, we always go abroad. We always go and look for somebody else instead of them. Like, is the new manager that's at West Ham, how much better is he than a couple England managers that you could name? Or has he just got a fancy name that everyone just cares about and gets excited about?
I just don't feel like, I don't understand how that argument stacks up when we had a manager in Gareth Southgate in charge of England, and we showed so much patience. We allowed for so many mistakes, repeated mistakes in multiple tournaments, and did not fire him when it was so obvious, in my opinion at least, that another manager would have had a much better chance at it, who's actually had a proven track record. I feel like we've been insanely patient with Gareth Southgate, and I think this is a road we've never really tried before. Like, God rest his soul, Sven-Goran Eriksson and a few other managers like Capello around that time who weren't English. But let's be real, none of them were the creme de la creme. None of those managers had the track record. You could argue Capello had a good track record, but Tommy Tuchel, in my opinion, a far more in his prime, at the top of the game manager right now. I feel like this is a road that England have never been down, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Also, when you talk about Harry Redknapp's rant on that, listen, Harry Redknapp is probably the best Englishman to not be given the national team manager job. When Roy Hodgson got given that job, I thought it was a disgrace. I thought Harry Redknapp should have 100% been given that job. So maybe a little bit of that sort of seeps into his opinion, but I have to go back to they're not getting the jobs. Why aren't they getting the jobs? Well, I would say quite often they're not getting the jobs because they're not good enough. Because let's look at it. Did Steven Gerrard do enough at Aston Villa to warrant him moving up the ladder and getting another job? Probably not. No. Did Frank Lampard do enough at Chelsea to warrant him moving up the ladder and getting another job? I would argue that maybe he did. And then he got another job. And did he do enough in that to keep his job? No. Let's look at other examples. Gary Neville, he's brilliant over at Valencia, wasn't he? He had a good time. That's why he's
what you're not going to do is skate over Lampard's dross time, bro, and almost getting you guys relegated. Did he do enough? My ass, bro. I was sitting there thinking, you got to talk about that Lampard part properly, bro. You got colour in the Lions, bro. What are you talking about? He was.
What are you talking about?
He was worse than Gerrard before you get to Gary Neville in Valencia. Yeah, let's get to it, bro.
I'll talk about the Lampard part. I'll talk about the Lampard part. Do you know what happened when Lampard got given the tic-tac? A man called Thomas Tuchel came in, and he came into a side that he doesn't know one single player in. He hasn't worked with one single player in, and within about 4 or 5 months of coming into that side, he gets them to a Champions League final. By the way,
Lampard is.
Nah. Listen. When he got through that semi-final, by the way, right?
Yes.
That was the 7th semi-final, right? That was one of 7 semi-finals, I should say, that he managed at Chelsea Football Club. How many of those 7 semi-finals did he progress through?
How many?
I'm going to give you the answer. 7. 100% record in semi-finals. He gets into the final. He comes up against a side that every single person would agree are better than Chelsea. He managed to make it through that side. Now, one of the criticisms that we have had about England is they very, very rarely beat a team that's better than them. And I think we'd all agree on that, you know.
Or even as good as, yeah.
Even as good as or better than. Look at Tommy Tuchel's record against teams that were perceived at the time as being better than him. He gets through those ties. This man is brilliant in tournaments. When you look at him in tournaments, right, just look at his time at multiple clubs, and I understand he's never managed a national team, but 3 finals in 2 years at Borussia Dortmund, 6 finals in 2 years at PSG, 5 finals in less than 2 years at Chelsea Football Club. Every English person should be buzzing right now because we have appointed an absolute winner.
Get in. Yeah,
I can't believe I can't believe we've done this.
Before we go to Man United, because I think that is a really interesting component of this whole story. What I am interested to know, I want to go to Josh on this one. In terms of Tuchel, obviously a club manager, he does have a slight reputation for falling out with players sometimes. But, you know, when you look at the fact that he won a Champions League with Mason Mount and Havertz up front, fuck me. You know, it's not bad. How do you think he will make the transition as an international football coach? Obviously, you've got less time with your players. You haven't got the same amount of a pool to pull from. But you do have a wide array of players that you've worked with before. Hudson-Odoi, for example. Like, do you think he'll pull players in we may not expect? And how do you think his man management will go as an international coach, bro?
I think there are pros and cons to Thomas Tuchel and the way he's going to take over, but I do feel overall that the pros outweigh those cons. I think looking at his management and sort of coming back to your point on the way he deals with players, he's a super intelligent coach. What he does is he identifies the strengths and weaknesses of particular players, and what he does is he builds a squad and a formation around those strengths and weaknesses. I think on the other side of that, though, if you're talking about individual players, I think he will fall out with players in this England squad. Now, the name that sort of springs to mind immediately that I don't think he's going to get on with is a player like Jack Grealish, a player that's sort of like a maverick, that sort of Gascoigne-esque player. Like, I don't see how that fits into what is relatively like quite a rigid, and I almost use the term militaristic sort of like way he runs football clubs. Like, you know, he's in the details. Like, there's a famous story about when he went to Mainz and how he was sort of like saying, you know, the players can't eat this type of pasta. Like, he was in that level of detail, you know, with those players. And he took Mainz to 2 successive Europa League qualification places. You know, a team that should be nowhere near there, a team that had sort of a 10th of the budget of Bayern Munich. So, you know, he's obviously really good at that. What I love about him is that a lot of people have obviously said Pep Guardiola is the guy to go to for this role, right? And Pep Guardiola loves Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel reveres Pep as being one of the best coaches of all time, if not the best. And so there is a connection there. And remember, when Pep Guardiola faced Thomas Tuchel, he had that famous memeable quote, which was, "It's Chelsea." You know, there was that funny thing, and when you unpack what that means, that was about Thomas Tuchel's system and how he plays football and how he has, you know, wing backs high and wide, makes the pitch as wide as possible, but also stretches it. I mean, Pep Guardiola was struggling to break this team down. One of the best coaches of all time, if not the best. And so you have to say, yeah,
and it wasn't a good Chelsea side as well, which is even more mind-blowing. Like, that Chelsea side, to me, you know, player for player, doesn't stack up arguably against what they've got now. He really squeezed every last drop out of this. So are we all in agreement that this is a positive move for England and that we're more excited now than maybe we've ever been?
How can it not be a positive move when immediately you have doubled, if not trebled, your chances of winning the next international tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I mean, Joey believed in England when we had Gareth Southgate, so his belief system must be off the charts right now.
Mate,
he must be losing his mind. But I think it's a great appointment. It's an appointment I didn't want for selfish reasons. But then on the England side of things, you know, we will play good football, and you just imagine talk about him being in control. This is the best situation for him to be in control of. He has got he can select who he wants.
Jamie.
He can do whatever he wants. The FA are not going to tell him who to select. And if you're talking about him falling out with players, not enough time in the tournament to really like get into a big fallout, I imagine. So you know, like in a normal all the time when you're on the training ground consistently, I think it's different. But this is like a highlights moment when all the players are showing up, happy to be there, happy to be selected. He should have it his own way.
But are we trying to make out that Gareth Southgate never fell out of any players?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest.
But Gareth was there he was there for years, though. Gareth almost overstayed his welcome, and we didn't win. I think if Gareth was winning, who's going to fall out of a winning manager? It's not going to go that way. But then,
that fullback, for example. The Arsenal fullback, didn't he? He fell out with Gareth. But I think KG's point that, you know, you're there in their lives periodically. You're not in their faces every single day. Dude. It is probably an easier job management-wise than when you're having to be with them day in, day out, right? You get them for a period of time, a few weeks at a time, and it's, come on, this is your international chance. And I think now more than ever, players are grateful for a call-up because the competition is so stiff to get into this England squad now. When you look at players like Rashford and Grealish not making it in the summer, they deserve it, in my opinion. What they've done in their careers, they've been top players for a while, you know, and I think that says a lot, where now it's more cutthroat than ever. Onto the Man United angle of it. I made a point maybe a few weeks back, I can't remember how long it was, but that Ineos are doing this thing where they're trying to be measured, considered, not knee-jerk, but really what they're doing is they're coming across of, we don't know what to do, right? They're trying to give off the impression of any decision we make will be under serious consideration, and I see Man United fans parroting this nonsense, in my opinion. You know, indecision is a decision. And in this moment, in my opinion, they've blown what would have been the most easiest way to revitalise Manchester United in terms of a fan base, because the level that, as we've just sat and explained, what Thomas Tuchel has achieved, he's a winner. And what Man United haven't had for quite some time, like Ollie wasn't a winner. Ten Hag doesn't, you know, let's be real. Yes, he had some success in Holland, but even Steve McLaren won a Dutch league. Like, he wasn't a known extreme winner in the way Thomas Tuchel is. If Thomas Tuchel had been appointed by Manchester United, there's a lot of fans and the playing staff would have been like, oh, we mean business now. They've blown this, in my opinion. What do you reckon, lads?
I would have been shitting myself. I'm going to pass this to KG, but can I just say, if Thomas genuinely, like, I said this to you last night, Brian, I love Jim Ratcliffe and I love Eric Ten Hag. As an opposition fan, I think they are brilliant. I would sign them down to 10-year contracts if it was up to me. But being deadly serious now, I'm just going to be completely honest. If KG, if you boys had have appointed Thomas Tuchel, I'd have been shitting myself.
I know.
Do you look back, KG, at that moment when, you know, very recently, those several terrible results for Ten Hag and the writing seemed on the wall, and they had the big meeting and Man United fan base are holding their breath, what's going to happen, and nothing happens. And then within a week, Tuchel takes over England. Do you think you're going to look back at this as a club, you know, end of the season, you know, we might see England go off on a run, we might see major progress happening with a lot of these players who are lacking real instruction from Southgate, in my opinion, and look back and go, why did we not act when it was so obvious?
Ineos have made some mistakes. They've come in and they brought in structure and was really happy for the structure, but the first mistake they did was listen to us numpties as fans when we won the FA Cup, and you lot said it, and I wasn't listening at the time, but it truly papered over the chasms. You know, we won the FA Cup, and I thought I was like, watch, right now, you're going to see us rise like a phoenix. Like, we're going to do something amazing. And guess what? It's been crash. Yeah, but then they reinvested. I hate this guy. They reinvested with Ten Hag, gave him more money, which was insane. And they want to see their investment come good. And they're holding on to that investment. They said, look, we're probably gonna give him till Christmas to see if he can make the Ugarte, Euro, Xerxes. We bought in De Ligt. We've given him all this, so they're not going to sack him. And a little part of me, it's twofold. A little part of me is happy that they're not being swayed by the mob, because we will get mad about a lot of things as time goes on, and we can't see it from, as Man United fans, we want to win right now, but they have to have a longer term image for this club. Like, if we started a show, we're not just going to cancel it if you know, it's not, the views don't start ticking off straight away. So they're looking at it from a bigger picture, but then we've lost somebody who was a viable option. You see, when Pep was available, Man City didn't care what the manager just won. They said, listen, who was there before? Who was there? He won them the league or something. Was it Pellegrini or something?
Pellegrini.
They said, Pellegrini, get out. Literally, it was like, mate, it's time to go. He's available. And Man United have done this before, because when we had LVG and Jose was available, and that was supposed to be our answer to Pep, and we should have sometimes made that vicious decision. We got rid of LVG as he was walking up the stairs to collect the FA Cup. So you like, it's mental. Like, you
have to be ruthless in management.
You have to be ruthless, and they're ruthless in the boardroom in terms of sacking 250 people, saying to Fergie, listen, we're changing your pay packet here. But then you need to see a little more of that ruthlessness with Ten Hag in the moment. Like, do it. We should have just done it then. We had an opportunity. We spoke to Tuchel. He was our #1 candidate, only for him to end up at England. It's shambolic what's happened. And when Joey lists off who this man is, it makes me sick to my stomach to realize we fumbled the bag. And I don't know, the next guy that we're talking about is Thomas Frank, Potter. Are those guys? Can these guys lace Tuchel's? Can they get close to who Tuchel is as a coach? And I don't know if they can.
No way they can't. Because look, I remember around the time when Potter came in to Chelsea, there was a certain Chelsea player who was no longer at Chelsea, who's now at Arsenal behind the scenes, who was voicing, I cannot believe we've let go of such a unbelievable coach and brought in Potter. Now, it's not that Potter's the worst ever, but he was like the levels, mate. You know what I mean?
And he would know, because he's worked under Pep Guardiola and he's worked under title-winning and cup-winning managers.
Exactly, Raheem Sterling. He knows the game, right? He knows who the fuck is world class from not. Because to be fair to him, he's worked with the best of the best. So I feel like you know, Man United. Here's what happened in my opinion. They were gassed up after the FA Cup win. They ignored, you know, the vast majority of data under Ten Hag, which has been trending downwards, right? And then you win an FA Cup, and it's like, he's like, well, I won trophies. What more do you want from me? It's like, well, you're not here to win an FA Cup. You're here to challenge for league titles at the bare minimum. You're here to be in the top 4, bare minimum. So you mentioning this fucking trophy, which to a club like Manchester United is pretty insignificant. If we're like to Newcastle, you'd be a club legend. To Man United, who cares? Like that's where the fuck you are. So remember where you are and remember the amount of money you're spending. And in what they did in giving so much more money to him, after already wasting 400 million, in my opinion, that could have, with that amount of money, 600 million in total, Manchester United should be absolutely transformed from the club Eric Ten Hag took over. In an actual reality, they're worse than when Eric Ten Hag took over. That is not even an opinion. It's just the numbers don't lie. So what they did was they were like, oh, we'll give them all this money. And then when they clearly realized, shit, this isn't going right, they're now in a situation where they're like, we've made the wrong decision. I think everyone at Man United, Ratcliffe, when Ratcliffe was asked, do you back Ten Hag? He wouldn't say yes. Now, in previous interviews, he has said yes. So he's clearly changed his mind and he knows deep down.
He's never really spoken up about this manager.
He's been more positive than that. He's definitely been more positive than he was in that interview. He was very on the fence. He didn't want to commit to anything. The bottom line is in my opinion, I deducted from that interview, you know you fucked it. But the problem is now, is perception. They're worried now. They're like, right, we know we fucked it, but we don't want to look like that. So what we have to do is go, well, we're trusting the process and all this other bullshit, and they're carrying on down a path that they know is leading to failure. And sometimes you just have to go as quick as you can. We fucked it, let's get Tuchel, let's change tack, let's go another direction. And that inability to admit that they did something wrong is exactly why it's going to get worse.
Do you think that the FA have come in, even in this bit, no one was having that meeting, because it was a bit weird that he holds on to his job, right? Do you reckon the FA have already been in there talking to Tuchel and that job was almost signed up? Because I could imagine Tuchel saying, you spoke to me earlier, you didn't want to bring me in, you're back again, but these England are already on the line and I can have it my way. I'm already further down and I'm sticking with this decision. I'm going with these guys. It's a safer Tuchel's in a safe position.
Yeah, no, I think this has happened relatively quickly. Like, let's be honest, all of the rumours that we've been hearing is that it was Lee Carsley's job to lose. He lost that potentially in the Greece game, potentially with the comments that he's made after that and said that he doesn't really want the job and he's looking forward to going back to the under-21s. So I do think that we're talking about, weeks, if not week, that they've been talking to Thomas Tuchel. And if that's the case, then Man United should have been in the driving seat. I'll just say this as well on the Man United point. Thomas Tuchel could be earning 3 times more at Man United and he could have stayed in England. The key thing for him was that he wanted to come back to England, whether that was in club management or international. And really, they've dropped the ball. If you honestly think that Thomas Tuchel would have preferred, if he's looking at the 2 job opportunities, Man United or England, I think with everything that all of the context, the money involved, the club, etc., he would have taken that Man United job. So the fact that he hasn't, he isn't anywhere near that, it means that you haven't spoken to
anyone in their right mind would have taken the Man United job, and that's me saying it as a neutral who doesn't particularly have a love for Man United. If I'm offered both jobs, I'm taking Man United.
Absolutely.
Anyone in their right mind would. And the point on Lee Carsley as well, like Lee Carsley not wanting the job, it's a good job you don't want it, mate, because you were never going to get that job. That's like me walking up in a nightclub to a 10 out of 10, asking for a number, getting rejected and going, thought she's a pig anyway. Didn't want it.
Lesbian. Yeah. Not it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, they got the cleaners.
Genuinely though, it is like that though, isn't it? But like people were actually, I think it was Gary Lineker saying he would have given it to Carsley. I'm like, you know what, mate? It's a good job you've got a couple of other hosts on your podcast because fuck me, you don't know fuck all day something. And this is the thing, I understand what KJ's saying, like, maybe did Man United really fuck it that bad? Man United have been linked with Tuchel for months and months. God. And there has been, to say they've had all the time in the world to pull the trigger on this guy is an understatement.
Do you know what the key thing about why they haven't appointed him was that they were scared of what Thomas Tuchel would do. He's a guy that challenges the board.
Yeah.
He's a guy that, is an antagonist. He wouldn't have just sort of said, yeah, Radcliffe, you can do whatever you want. Yes, sporting directors, I'll deal with them. If they're incompetent, he will call out incompetence. And actually, sometimes he does it publicly. So I honestly just think their ego can't deal with it.
You know
I
when you
think
say
that's
about him being a guy that challenges the board and stuff like this, and I'd agree with you from his time at Chelsea. 100%, man. Like, I remember Romelu Lukaku being bought in for 98 million, whatever it was, and Tuchel gives him a run of games, decides he's not really for him, and then sticks Kai Havertz back up at number 9, and Lukaku's on the bench, and he's getting cup minutes and whatnot. It's brutal. It's brutal, but it was working.
I hope he does it the Harry Kane. I hope he does it the Harry Kane, because I'm fucking
he
sick of
loves
watching
Harry
it.
Kane, by the way. He wanted to sign Harry Kane.
This is the point that I'm trying to make here. Like, can it really go all that wrong from that perspective? Because what is there to really challenge, for example, players aren't being bought in for a large amount of money. It's international football. There are no transfers. If there is a player that you don't really get on with, you just don't select him for the next squad. Like, I don't really see, and maybe you lot can educate me here, what can really go wrong? What is the worst case scenario?
Option, and that's why I think it's a safer option, and that's why I would choose England over Man United. Man United, you have to have something about you to walk into that club. It's toxic already, and it's falling. The club's 14th, and there's some injuries all over the place, and you've got some players that he don't want. I don't think he wants it. I don't think who's going to want to come. Who's going to want to come to Man United and try and lift it? Who?
There's never a better time. There's never a better time to take over a club like Man United. You consistently still spend more money than all of your rivals, so you know you're going to be back. You're taking over a fallen giant, which it couldn't be in a worse situation. So the opportunity to be the hero and the least amount of pressure a manager will ever have had on them as a Manchester United manager, because you're picking them up in a shit show of a situation. You can only succeed in a sense, because Ten Hag has done so badly. And I think part of the problem, part of the reason, and I'll just say one more thing, mate, is I actually think that the guys above the manager have failed Man United already. And I'm not saying that they can't succeed later, because maybe they can. But one thing I do wonder about is, with the reputation of Tuchel, maybe that prickliness and that he won't be controlled and he will demand the best and he will call you out if you fuck up. That might be an issue from Dan Ashworth, because Dan Ashworth and Eddie Howe didn't gel, clearly. I think that's why Dan Ashworth wants one of his guys in there. Ten Hag has shown that he's pretty much a yes man in regards to he'll do what he's told and shut up and not say too much. And also, they've given him all of his players, so he can't really complain anyway. But it is looking more like a Potter or someone
Ten Hag was the old guard. Yeah, the Ten Hag was the old guard. It was almost a decision that was made before we got there. So, when you're talking about his veto and he can say, I don't want this player, I don't think the new manager is going to be able to have a veto in his contract, because his contract will be drawn up saying, well, you don't have that. So, because Ten Hag was there before they arrived, they almost kind of acquiesced into how he wants it to go. And because we begged him, the moment the FA Cup happened and they were looking at other managers, and Tommy T was the main guy, and I don't know however that blew up or it just didn't go right, and we've come back to my guy, we've almost had to say, well, how do you want to do this? And we've given him everything, and we're 14th. Something needs to happen. He either needs to, and I don't believe he can turn it around. Let me just state that as a fact. I don't believe he can turn it around, but I think the board are banking that he can, that he's going to do something in this period from now to Christmas to really get us up the table. If we're out of things by the end of this Chelsea run, I think we got Chelsea, we got Arsenal, got some tough teams. If we're out of it, a decision we made, but it's like, did you just sacrifice a season? Did you just sacrifice a season of...
Yes, they have. That inability to act in the time that they should have has absolutely cost Man United a season of potential progress, and just continue it. The sunken cost fallacy, continuing down the wrong road. But we'll move on from Man United. Well, we'll move on from the Ten Hag thing. I want to stick with Man United for one last thing, because I was surprised to see this. Sir Alex Ferguson removed from his ambassadorial role. This man, to say he's the most important man in the history of the football club, I think is a fair thing. Yeah, I think he's the
an
guy.
understatement.
Yeah, he's literally a god at that club. And even as a competitor, I miss Sir Alex Ferguson in the Premier League. I love seeing him. Right, it reminds me of when Sir Bobby was like, you know, in his after years of management. You just love seeing his face around the club. It's such a shame that they've done that, and I understand the money and whatnot. But what does it mean to you, KJ, as a fan of the club?
Well, you know what? It's tough because you have to look at it from. I'm trying to look at it. Step back and look at the whole thing. It's Sir Alex and Eric Cantona's tweet. It's a real one. He should get paid. There's a level of he should just get paid forever. He's built this place. This is his home and stuff like that. And I think Ineos have not managed the messaging properly. There should have been a press release. This is the greatest manager ever. We should almost, manage him delicately, which we didn't. But then Sir Alex, the flip side of it is, Sir Alex was a ruthless manager. Sir Alex made ruthless decisions that I always remember for the best of the club. Roy Keane, should he been removed there? Should he been left the club like that?
Can I take you up? Can I take you up on something?
Yeah.
The messaging. You're so right. Now that you mentioned that the press release wasn't there, the way they just sort of. But also, when Sir Alex was
Oh,
managing, who was up in the stands? Sir Bobby Charlton. Every single
time.
Sir Alex Ferguson knew that man was there before me, and he helped build this club and put this club where it's supposed to be, and therefore, even though I'm the man now, he deserves his spot in the stands to have a role to play at this club. Do you know why? Because he helped build it. And Sir Alex Ferguson never fucked Sir Bobby Charlton over. So for me, that for a club like Man United to just do away with historical figure like that, yes, I understand money is one thing, but to come out and say stay out of the dressing room and stuff like that.
No, I don't believe that's true.
Players?
I don't believe that's true. I think that's bullshit. I think that's total bull. Who's gonna tell Sir Alex? The stadium, he's got a stand named after him. What security guard? I don't believe. No, I think that's just paper shit. I think that's total bull. Someone's gonna say, Sir Alex, you're not allowed in here. Not allowed in where? Who? What manager's
going
to say?
But he's not the ambassador anymore.
But then no, he's a directorial role, but he's a non-paid. It's just non-paid. He's still a director. Nobody in their life, even a new manager could not say, I don't want to speak to Sir Alex. I don't want him around the place. I don't want to see him anywhere near here. There's other directors that probably can't go in, but Sir Alex can do whatever the fuck he wants at Man United.
They never did that to Sir Bobby Charlton. They never did that to Sir Bobby Charlton. They looked after him because he deserved it.
I don't think I would love to see the security guard that says you can't come in here. I'd love to see the person or the manager that says, sorry, Sir Alex, you're not allowed in this room. It's not going to happen. I think, again, it's obviously been sensationalized without the press release and without... Ineos don't understand, this is one of the greatest managers in world football, and there's a special affinity that we feel towards him, and I can't understand
if they don't understand that, your club's in dangerous hands. Because I tell you what, to not know the level of honour you're supposed to treat that man with at that football club, you don't belong at Old Trafford if that's the case.
You don't. You know, but
that's Fergie before they sacked Ten Hag.
Let's not say he got sacked. I don't want to use the word of sacked because he ain't been sacked. He's a part of the. You
when
never
someone says,
Fergie.
I'm not paying you anymore. Do you know when someone says, I'm not paying you anymore? Means he gets.
Let's not use the word he got sacked. Let's just say they got rid of him before they got rid of Ten Hag.
Fuck me. Fuck me. All right. We'll leave it there, lads. We'll leave it there. It's been a good chat. It's been. I really feel like
you lot just
kick my back in.
You lot just kick my back in. I hate these trees, bro. What's going on, bro? One day, whatever.
You'll remember this, though, aren't you,
wanted
KG?
Thomas Tuchel, and in some part, you got him. You wanted the relationship, but it turned out you just got the odd one night stand here and there.
Do you know what this is a bit like? You've had your eye on a chick, and your best mate gets on you, like, really happy for you.
At least she's
really
in the
happy
circle.
for you.
She's in the circle, for fuck.
Do you know what I mean?
You're still going to hear about it.
We'll wrap it up there. The Premier League is back this weekend. We will be following it up with a few more videos, so don't forget to hit the like button, stay subscribed to the kickoff, and we'll see you on the next one.
So, Mexico 2, The U.S. men's national team 0 in Guadalajara. We were outplayed, outclassed, and outfought by mostly Liga MX players. In a camp that was supposed to test the depth of, or test the quality of some of our depth, a lot of our depth in this camp, including against Panama, yes, showed that they don't have it. Okay? They don't. And a lot of these guys, we've been saying about them for a while, and unfortunately, they were here because there were no other options. I don't think we've ever had this many injuries. We'll talk about that. But even with this many injuries, you can't go put in a performance like that against Mexico, who's our big rival. You know, I don't remember a game like that against Mexico. You know, even Greg, as bad as Greg was, remember the Gold Cup with his C team / B team? At least they managed to find a way to get a win, albeit at home. I know it's a completely different story. But boy, this is, I think, you know, sure, we could argue there was some passivity there. Some players should have, you know, done more, obviously, in terms of like intensity and hunger and passion. But just, I think the quality across the board, you can show, like say Brendan Aronson. The one thing you can never really criticize Aronson for is, like, he runs all day long. He's just so completely ineffective, you know, and that is not totally surprising. We kind of knew that about Aronson, but it got worse, right? And this is CONCACAF. We're not talking about playing the big boys. We're talking about in CONCACAF. If you can't even manage to look good in CONCACAF, why are you even on the team, right? How many miles did Aronson track the wrong way? Oh, no. Not good. Not good, man. Not good. Mexican delusion is at an all-time high for now. Look, let Mexico celebrate. They finally got a win for the first time in 5 years. They had to be at home, and they had to play our B-minus team to do it. But fine, they did it. Congrats to them. They played well. They deserve this win. All right? Let them be happy, because they've had very little to be happy about the last 5 years. So I do not begrudge this to them, particularly Raul Jimenez, who is quite a comeback story for him after that. You know, he's never really been the same player after that head injury, and only now is he really starting to rediscover his form. Sadly, he's 34 years old, so I don't know how much longer he can last, but I'm happy for him in some ways. That was tack. That was really, really rough. I was saying earlier that
I was just going to say about the Mexico fans, I agree with you. Let them celebrate. They won.
They deserve it.
Yeah, they won. Let them celebrate. Of course, the context matters, but it doesn't really matter in terms of celebrating the win. They won.
Yeah. Yeah, let them enjoy that win. Let them enjoy that win. Aronson works. Bruce Arena's my new favorite troll. Aronson works hard. He is a well-oiled machine. Should I do this in a Bruce Arenas accent? Aronson works hard. He's a well-oiled machine, and he's not a dual net. I don't like dual nets. I don't know why I sound like Trump, but
well, he also doesn't like the Eurostars.
These Eurostars, they come in here with their star. What did he call them? Hot shots. These European hot shots. B team made Mexico's midfield look like 2010 Spain. I know it was bad, Miguel. We need my big bro Greg. We need my big bro Greg back coaching. Jesus Ferreira, we need you, my pirate. Ah, the trolls. CSI 11 Yanks. How did the UK thrive in youth development from 2013 to 2019, and the US failed this bad? Oh, I'll tell you why, Sean. Because the England finally learned from the rest of Europe. For a long time, England was producing, you know, very much the same type of player, long ball merchants. And, you know, sure, there was obviously some technical players there. That's going to happen with their culture. But they completely overhauled their youth development programs in 2010. And that really showed in the generation that you're starting to see now. The U.S. is still relying on MLS to develop players, and that's got a very, that's a very low ceiling on that. Berhalter is back. At least I can beat Mexico. I'm still the best ever. Well, let's remember his first 2 Mexico games he lost. So let's not get delusional about Greg Berhalter. Okay, he lost his first 2 Mexico games at home, and he lost to Panama twice. Steven Spada says, give us BJ. BJ's got, guys, I don't I'll be honest. Look, Poch has to carry some responsibility for that result. Okay, and particularly we're going to criticize some things about his love for certain players. But I just think the quality across the board was missing today. I think that was very, very clear. I'm going to read out a list here, Tack, of the players that were missing, okay, from this team. And I don't want to use this as an excuse, because it's not. But I do think there are a lot of depth guys that showed that they can be a decent role player when there are difference makers on the field. When I say difference makers, I mean Christian Pulisic, Folarin Balogun, Gio Reyna, guys who can take over a game and win you a game on their own if we need to, right? They've all done that. And then there are guys who are good players, but, you know, not huge difference makers. Okay? Or Dest. I would say Dest is a difference maker. I would say both Johnny and Tyler can be difference makers in their own right. And then there are guys that are, or McKennie is a difference maker. Then there are guys that are role players that can complement a team that has a lot of difference makers on it. But when you ask them to be the role players or the difference makers, it's not going to happen, right? But let me read this list. I'm not saying these guys are all starters. I'm just saying these are the guys that are out injured. Zach Steffen, Serginho Dest, Martin Fossey, Chris Richards, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Mark McKenzie, Tyler Adams, Johnny Cardoso, Weston McKennie, Luca De La Torre, Christian Pulisic, Gio Reyna, Folarin Balogun, Ricardo Pepi, Tim Weah, Kevin Paredes, and Griffin Yao. So some of those guys are obviously also role players, but a lot of those are key. Our three best players were missing, right? Balogun, Pulisic, Gio. You could argue McKennie and Dest are up there if you want to say our five best. But yeah, we had a lot of players missing. Is that an excuse for losing to Mexico? And not just losing to Mexico, but the performance. It was the way we lost that was so disheartening. I'll read a couple more of these. Ethan, Aronson was absolutely dreadful again today. What's new? Ream and Miles are not good enough. Ream needs to retire, guys. Unfortunate that we lost so many starters to injury. Yeah, I agree. But now we're getting a look at the depth and going, nope. Aronson should never see another minute in a USMNT jersey. I've had the clap twice. That was worse.
Just one thing, I don't think Ream should retire. I think he just play in MLS. He shouldn't be called into the national team. That's it.
I supported calling Ream into this camp because of the injuries. Like, he's still in the top 5 center backs, probably, right? And that's what's unfortunate. Yeah, but I agree with you, Brady. But unfortunately, and we'll talk about this, Poch really seems to love Aronson.
It does seem that way. I agree with you. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until we see a roster, maybe not fully fit, because Gio won't be there in November.
No,
but
and neither will
most
Balogun.
players, and then I'll judge it, right? Let's say a roster with Pulisic, Weah, maybe back. Tillman was also not good, so I don't know if that would solve it. Maybe we bring Paxton Aronson. He's playing fine for Utrecht. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, Tillman's playing really well in the Eredivisie. I don't know if that necessarily. I guess I think Paxton's probably a role player at this point too, not a different.
Honestly, you know what I'm considering? If Gio's out right there and Tillman's playing like this, put McKennie as the 10. And he can be like a shadow striker. He scores goals. He's not going to play make. That's
let him press.
Actually,
he can play make.
He can pass. He can pass. Yeah.
He's not a creative Gio type player, but in terms, especially in transition, some of his passes are very nice.
Yeah, that is true. He can pass, but he gives you goals. He's a goal scoring threat. He'll score. McKennie might be the option there.
Yeah, with Gio out, and Tillman still has not. And this is the thing, right? We're waiting for Tillman to show that he can either be a strong backup or a good option if Gio's not fit, which who knows at this point, right? He has not done that, guys. Last camp, he didn't do it. This camp, he didn't do it. He didn't do it under Greg. He had a reasonably good performance against Canada. That's the only time where I've seen... That is the only time that I've seen Tillman be kind of good for the national team. Other than that, it hasn't been good. Ghost Card, I'm glad this game is over. Hey, it's just a friendly, not the real thing. I can't wait for a healthy squad under Poch. Next game, we'll see it for real. And I think that is a measured way to look at this. A lot of these guys are not great players, and a lot of them cannot be difference makers on their own. They can be good complements to a team of difference makers. That's how I look at a lot of these players. Right? Even Joe Scally, he's a complement, not a difference maker. He's a complement on that back line.
Yeah, I wanted to say that too. it's a friendly, so the loss doesn't hurt as much as if we lost in like a Nations League or something. When you add the context that it was the first camp from Pochettino, all the players were missing, which we already listed. We can't overreact to this and panic. But again, when we go on especially when we do the player ratings, specifically talk about each players, we found out a lot, and hopefully Pochettino did too, of players that are like, this guy can at best be a depth piece, at best. And some of them, we found out that they can't even be that. And we're going to talk about on a case-by-case basis. But we can't overreact and say the sky's falling here. In the first Pochettino camp, give it time. Let's see when he has a fully fit. Like, remember, during the Copa America, we had a fully fit roster. The only player that was half fit but was still there was Tyler Adams. I guess that's but that was, so if Pochettino had that roster, he would drop this thing like today. I would still try not to overreact because it's the first camp, but it would be far more concerning. It would be more concerning. It's like, wait,
a lot more concerning.
But right now, I wouldn't overreact to this. Like, just one thing before we continue, Pete. Out of the starting 11 that we saw today, if we had everyone fit, who would start?
For sure, A-Rob.
Maybe
Turner. It seems like Turner is his number one because he doesn't seem to rate Schulte. He gave Schulte 0 minutes this camp. Unless he liked Steffen, but there's no way to know because he was.
So that's it.
So 2 starters started today, and you could argue Turner is a starter just by default because there's nobody else. Like he hasn't really earned it.
So just 2. That's it.
Yeah, and some of them we were down to the third choice, right? You know, the third choice player.
Yeah, not even the immediate backup. You're right.
Right, like Aiden Morris is probably our third or at best 4th choice 6. You could argue Tanner Tessman is better than Aiden Morris, right? So Johnny Adams, Tessman, and then Morris. I mean, I might argue Maloney's better than Morris. Like the 8s, you have McKennie, De La Torre, Musa, who can all play the 8th, and then Busio. I don't know. Like I like Busio, but you know today he was not as good.
He was less worse than many.
Yes, that is true. Less worse than many.
But again, that's the overall point. It's like we can't overreact to that. If we start to look really bad under Pochettino with, sure, missing like 2 or 3 starters, perfectly normal for a national team. Perfectly normal.
Yeah.
We were missing 9, and we were missing the first backup of many of them. So
yes. Here's where it gets interesting. We might face Jamaica next month.
Did you see that? You looked at it?
No, because based on how it's going, it could come down to FIFA rankings about who we could end up playing. It could be Jamaica. We'll have to see.
I'll check while
you look it up while I read these super chats. Does Poch call any of these guys back? 90% of these players need to be left at home. I feel like he is wondering if he should have taken the job. So hard to watch. Look, it was a difficult game to watch. I agree with you. I think 90% of these players not being called back is an overreaction. Again, you have to understand role players. Role players cannot be game changers or difference makers on the field. They complement game changers. They complement that. And when you have too many role players on the field, you get what you had today. And I think that's really what happened.
So, Pete, I have the update for you. As it stands, the ranking of the CONCACAF Nations League, which I don't think that'll change, okay? So it's Mexico first, U.S. second, Panama third, Canada fourth, as it stands.
Yeah.
So that means Mexico will probably play Honduras. Mm-hmm. The second place will play Suriname, so we would play Suriname. Third place would play Jamaica, and fourth place would play Panama. So Canada versus, Costa Rica. So Canada will play Costa Rica, Panama will play Jamaica, U.S. will play Suriname, and Mexico will play Honduras. That can still change, I guess, but I don't think the rank. Do these friendlies affect the ranking?
Yeah, they're all FIFA friendlies. That's the thing, and we just lost, so that might affect our ranking.
Did Canada win today?
Yes, they did. So we could still end up. Let's see what happens, but I do not relish facing Jamaica without Gio and Balogun. That could be interesting.
And no Richards, possibly.
No Richards, definitely no Dest. Yeah. Hopefully McKennie and Pulisic. We need Pulisic and McKennie bubble wrapped until then.
Yeah, they haven't updated the rankings. So if we drop to third place, yes, we'll play Jamaica. So it looks like right now we're between Jamaica or Suriname.
Yeah, please, Suriname. No, I'm obviously we should expect to beat Jamaica regardless. Thank you, Mac. Let's see, Jason, B team. This B team, when was the last time USA played with A team? Maybe Triple G never had his B team. This B team. When was the last time USA played with A team? Maybe Triple G never had his A team. Yeah, Triple G had his A team many times.
The Copa America, we're missing.
Copa America, he had his pretty much full A team except for Dest.
Yeah. And he had the immediate backup, which was Scally.
He also had the A team for the World Cup. He just brought a lot of shit space.
Yeah, who was injured for the World Cup? Richards, that's it.
Yeah, I think Richards was the only real injury. And then he tried to pretend Gio was injured. We all found out that wasn't true.
Yeah,
he chose not to bring Greg.
He chose not to bring Tillman. He chose not to bring Pepe. He chose not to bring Johnny. That was his decision.
That was his decision. He's had his A team available many times. And by the way, for anybody saying Greg beat Mexico, please remember that he lost his first 2 Mexico games 8 and 9 months into his tenure, not his first camp.
At home.
And he was at home. Can you act like Pundit Greg and say why Poch failed? Well, the problem is the zoo trips. You know, like Poch, I said, when he came in, I called him, I gave him friendly advice. I said, Poch, if you need motivational speaker ideas, take them to the zoo. Dest loves the tigers, you know, and that's the thing. You'll see the monkeys and you'll be like, all right, guys, let's ooga booga like monkeys today. Today we're going to be monkeys and we're going to steal their bananas. All right, that's what we're going to do.
And the African dogs. Remember the African dogs that he had?
Yes, the African dogs, the dogs. Ethan, I also don't understand our desire to play out of the back. We clearly don't have the quality to do so. Really frustrating. Thank you, Ethan. Great super chat. Yes, 100%. To watch Miles Robinson clear it into a Mexico defender, and Scally too, and even Reem, even A-Rod, like that, and Turner, this back line is not set up to play out of the back under a heavy press. But we kept trying to do it. And then the times that we tried to go long, we weren't finding anybody, so we just give it up, but we weren't pressing also. Like, if you go long, then you've got to step up and press while the ball is traveling so that you're ready to win the second ball. Otherwise, you're just going long, but you're giving it away. But 100%, Ethan, that lineup should never have been playing out of the back.
Well, and playing out of the back is, there's 2 components to it. One is tactics, right? You have to be, you need the players to, he needs to be cohesive, right? And you need to overload the defensive end and not be outnumbered. But it also requires having the players to do so. They need to be ball-playing defenders. Usually you need a goalkeeper that has, it doesn't have to be like Ederson, but they need to have at least some technical ability that they can play. Matt Turner, like in top 5 leagues, he might actually be the least technical goalkeeper with his feet. Like he's legitimately abysmal with it. Robinson can't play out of the back. Tim Ream used to, but he's old and
He's ancient.
And A-Rob can't, by the way, even though he's a good Premier League player, he can't. Scally is very limited on the ball.
Yes.
So, yeah, we can't play out of the back, but we still try to.
Yeah. Berhalter's back. Last name is Beerhalter, not Berhalter. I am number 1. Sargent shouldn't be called up, like ever again. He did not play well in this camp, but that's an overreaction. Although I will say, Vasquez looked bright in his 20 minutes.
He looked better than Sargent, yeah.
One of the few players that I thought actually looked bright. So, interesting coming up there. Embarrassing result. Never in the match. Yep, we were never in that game. Maybe in the first 5 minutes, that was it. Hotch brought the wrong Aronson. I'll be honest, Miguel, I don't think Paxton would have changed anything. I like Paxton, I think he's a promising player, but I don't think he's a difference maker, if that makes sense. All right, Casey Keller was critical. We're going to address this, okay, because I know this is going to happen on Twitter. A lot of people are going to be like, maybe Casey had a point, especially Alexi Lalas. Casey Keller was critical of Poch sending home players like Pulisic, saying he hopes USA loses this game. What were your thoughts on his comments? So we kind of covered it in Tack's pregame stream, but it was nonsense because those players were injured, right? The only player who was not injured who was sent home was Pulisic. And it's load management with Pulisic. Look, would I have made Pulisic play this game and maybe rested him against Panama? Yes. But you know, we don't know what injury, like he was coming off an injury with Milan when he caught into camp, and Poch said at the beginning he's a little bit worried about Pulisic's fitness. What we cannot do is go into November without a fit Pulisic, because that's where the game really matters to get the nation. If we end up playing Jamaica, we better hope Pulisic is fit, because we're going to need it. So yeah, I think Keller's comments were misinformed at the very least, and pro Berhalter at the very best. Because
again, guys, all the guys that were missing were because they were injured. And anyone that questions Pulisic, it was probably a decision made by the player, the coaching staff, and medical staff. There's a very important game in November that is a knockout game, and you need a fully fit Christian Pulisic. That is the decision. This loss right here won't matter next camp. If we lose in November, it will matter, because then we won't have the semifinals and the final, which is a great preparation camp and a trophy to fight for. I don't agree with anything Keller said. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I don't think
a lot of it was sour grapes, guys.
I don't think the 2-0 loss taught like the U.S. men's national team a lesson. It might have taught Pochettino the quality of the players, right? It might have learned more about the players, but didn't really teach us a lesson. Like, we didn't need this. The lesson was during the summer when we lost when we got grouped in the cup. That was the lesson.
If you think losing to Mexico away is bad, how about losing to Panama at home? Okay, at least Pochettino didn't do that.
With the best players we have.
With the A team. We need Graham Zusi. Him and Beasler were rock solid. Ooh, I think this is Colin Reese's brother.
Graham Zusi is playing in the TST tournament every year now.
Yes. The fact that it says not Bobby Wood makes me think this is Colin Reese's brother. Berhalter out. Sorry, force of habit. A lack of depth in the players.
Say one thing to Matt Murphy's like, you guys were bitching about the player. We were complaining about the players' quality, not because the other guys weren't there. The quality of the ones there, that they're just not good enough. Like, I don't get your point, Matt. It's like the quality of the players there wasn't good. The players that are injured, you can't put an injured player to play.
Yeah. What do you want us to do? Like, make Dest come back? He probably would. You know, without, like, still not healed from his ACL. Probably wear his barber outfit. The lack of depth in the player pool is concerning. Yes. Yes, it definitely is. I think it's not so much, I mean, to be more specific, I get what you're trying to say. It's the lack of high quality depth. We have decent depth, but when you put all the depth together, it doesn't work. Only players to use again: A-Rod, Turner, McKenzie, and Busio. I would also like to see more of Tessman and Vasquez. Yeah, I think Tessman and Vasquez looked bright when they came on. Trump impression saying we didn't send our bests. No. Someone's going to clip that. And before you know it, we have a, what was it called? A nasty agenda against Pepe. Jonathan Randall, do you think Sargent might drop out of a fully healthy roster given his performances this camp? It's hard to say because we don't know Poch, and we don't know what Poch is seeing, and we don't know how harsh Poch is looking at this camp. I have to say this: if Sargent never gets called up again and Aronson does, then that's hypocrisy. Because the worst player in this camp was Brendan Aronson. And this is sort of coming on the heels of a long, extended period of time of Aronson not being good. I guess we'll see, Jonathan. With Pepe there and with Balogun, no, he'll probably still be there because Balogun's not going to be fit for November. So it's probably going to be Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe should be there. I mean, obviously it was just 20 minutes, but like Brendan Vasquez looked better than Sargent. It depends on how much. We don't know much about Poch, as you said, but
yeah,
he could just say, "Yeah, Sargent, I gave you enough minutes. You didn't show up. I'm going to bring Vasquez." I don't know.
Right.
So and I don't know if we can really blame him for it. It might be a bit of an overreaction, a quick one, but
this was Sargent's chance, right? Sargent's chance to come in and show that he had something, and he didn't. And I know today he didn't get a ton of service, but you know what? Neither did Vasquez. And Vasquez did more than Sargent did.
Yeah, but even not getting service, like even when they got the ball to like Sargent, his touch was off. He couldn't combine with it, even when it got to him.
Yes, no, I agree. I agree. Sargent was not good. USA missed a key chance to extend their streak versus Mexico by sending home key players. Look, I'm so tired of talking about this. Alvaro, maybe you don't know this, but the players that were sent home were all injured. The only one that wasn't injured is Pulisic. I would love for those guys to play there, but you can't play injured players. In rivalries like this, winning must be the top priority, and this decision raises concerns about the team's mentality. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Just go through a few things. Pepe got hit in the face, and they apparently put him on a concussion protocol, and you can't mess with that. Stefan and Marlon Fossey were injured even before the Panama game. That's why they weren't there, so they were out. McKennie is being even reevaluated for a minor hamstring injury with Juventus, and he's not available for them over the weekend. So is Juventus also not playing him? McKennie. Like, I don't get it. The only one you can kind of make a case is Pulisic, but at the same time, what if they played him and Pulisic pulls a hamstring? They evaluated it, and they thought that was the best course of action. But I just don't get it. Like, I don't... Guys, they were injured.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Guys, and then if you play them and it gets worse, then you're in real trouble. Like, look, you can criticize anything about the players today, but pretending there were better players available. I mean, you could argue maybe Leonard Maloney deserved a shout, sure. Or you could argue that Aronson played too many minutes, which he did. But the players that were missing were injured. Better be last game for Tim Ream and Miles Robinson. Yeah, I don't think either of them should get called up anymore. Although, again, options-wise, we don't have many. Because if Richards is still injured, let's say CCV is back, Ream's probably still going to be there, even if he doesn't start. Right now, Ream is still in our top 4 center backs, true or false?
Yeah, I mean, despite the stinkers, yeah. No young guys stand up. Piles, Walker. I don't know who else we would call up, unless he's able to recruit Chase within the next month.
Yeah, but even Henri Chase, like, I like him, but it's very early days also. Like, I hope we can recruit him, and I hope, you know, he's something. But it's very early days to say. He's played a handful, like 3 games for his club as a professional. I hope we try to recruit him. We do need depth at center back. It's not like he's the answer right now, necessarily. Time to try Maloney and Tessman as fullbacks. Yeah, right? Not fullbacks. I think you mean center backs. Center backs, right? Yeah. TAC has the Tessman to center back agenda going strong. He's on that train, and I agree with him on that.
Try it at least. Just try it.
Yeah, the friendlies would have been the time to try it, especially with all the center backs being injured. Zendea's prime soon. My L Tree friends happy right now. I'm happy for them. You know, as bad as it is to be a U.S. soccer fan sometimes, it's worse right now to be a Mexico fan. But at least this win today gave them some happiness, and I'm actually very happy for them. I think they deserve some happiness. Aaron Vasquez, thank you for the super chat. No Coast Raps, new membership. Thank you for joining. If we are down to Vasquez and Tessman, then our pool sucks. We're going to talk about the player pool. I think we're going to do a longer evaluation of the players than we normally do, Tack. We'll start a bit earlier. Steven, thank you very much. Sebastian Cruz, FOTMob has Aronson as the highest rated U.S. player. Stop. This is why you do not use FOTMob ratings to evaluate player performance. You have to watch the game.
Yeah.
Do you rate Peacock? Not really. I mean, and the Sergeant Vasquez Peacock level, maybe, but I don't think Peacock would have done much. The Peacock's not very mobile. That's the problem with Peacock. He's at best good for a header, right? All right, Reina on this Klein. Up. EC lineup, we could have won the game. Oh, you're saying if Reina was there, we could have won the game? I mean, maybe, but even
This
Reina
game,
on his own.
I don't think one player alone would have made a difference. But yeah, if you say, hey, we would have had Reina, Pulisic, and then maybe McKennie, yeah, that would be a game changer. But one
yeah, or
alone,
even like Reina and Balogun, you'd have a better chance.
like what was Reina gonna do? Get the ball in his own, go past everyone?
Will say though, Reina getting the ball in the pocket instead of Aronson is a completely different ball.
Yeah, but Sargent wasn't making those runs, and
Yeah,
then
no one was making the run.
Tillman was asleep, and if Reina was in the middle, we would probably have Aronson on the wing, and that wasn't gonna help.
Yeah.
Like him alone would have. But yeah, if you have Pulisic and Reina, that would have made a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Jacopo Belbo, a quality men's national team would have a pool with 40 plus better than Vasquez Tillman. Yeah, but very few national teams in the world have 40 players better than Tillman or Tessman. Look, I don't rate Tessman, but 40 players better than Tessman, Tack? Come on.
You mean in his position or overall?
Overall.
Overall, we can go through a few here, like
Like 10, like the top 10 in the world, for sure. But other than that, no.
Well, even outside of it, I'm pretty sure Denmark was.
They have 40 players better than Testament. I'm not sure.
Like just their 23-man roster right away is already better than them.
Sure, but
23.
40. Look,
I think they.
I mean, I don't think more than 10, 15 actually 40 players better than Testament.
I think
But-
there's a 20 teams that.
That would take too long to figure out. But this is exactly what Matt Murphy's very mad. This is exactly what Keller was saying. Not sure what you're referring to. You just agreed with him again. No, I didn't.
No, I think
didn't
he's
want to.
talking about the part that Keller was saying that the players didn't have passion or fight. Yeah, sure, we agree with them not having it this game, but this wasn't a problem before the game. That's the point.
Yeah, I also think that like sometimes we throw passion and fight around as like, oh, there's not enough passion. There's other reasons why you lose games, and quality is a big part of it. Because you know who has lots of passion? Brendan Aronson. It doesn't change shit. Okay? It doesn't change shit if you have no quality. You can have all the passion in the world, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to pass the ball under pressure. Some of these guys can't even do that. Hodge is disappointing in his first 2 games. The subs are concerning. Morrison, Aronson, Ream, super trash. So let's talk a little bit about Hodge. These are his first 2 games. They're friendlies. He's kind of giving everybody an opportunity. Well, a few guys didn't, like Austin Trusty got almost no minutes. He's looking at everyone. I agree with you. His subs are concerning. Was he doing the subs to win the... I don't think he was making subs to win the game. I think he was making subs to take a look at players in what he considers a friendly, right? So I don't love some of his subs, and I don't love how much playing time some of his starters got. But overall, depends what his goal is. If his goal to win the game, then yeah, it was terrible. If his goal was to take a look at players in different positions, then it's a little bit of a different story. And you need to judge Poch on the competitive games coming up. Right? In November, you have 2 competitive games. We'll be able to learn a lot more about him because he has to win those games.
I just saw a chat asking what happened. This game could have used Conrad de la Fuente. What happened to that guy?
Oh,
I just started laughing.
We're down to Conrad de la Fuente.
He had talent. He had talent. Just had other issues. But
Other issues. Where's he playing now? Switzerland? Lausanne or something? He plays for Lausanne.
there's too many players to track, and he kind of like fell out of like the important list, right? The top list. Yeah, we can't really overreact to like Pochettino this camp. We need to give him time, and we need to also see him with the best players. There will be some judgment in November because it'll be his second camp, and he needs to qualify.
Yeah.
There are no excuses, and it's on the players, it's on him. Like November, sure, we're not going to ultimately want him to put out a master class, but he has to qualify.
Yeah, whoever you
Damn, bro, what the fuck it is?
So, not going to react to this camp, overreact to this camp too much. I think there's more to talk about in regards to the players.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do now, Zach. We're going to go through the players. I have an idea. What if we kind of put them into 3 categories? I mean, we can give them the ratings like we normally do. But category 1 is game changer, right? Category
There's
2,
none. There's none.
There's none today. Category 2 is contributor. So, like, for example, in my opinion, Tim Weah is not a game changer, but a contributor, right? And then you have role players. And then you have GTFO. Like,
Pete, that's 4 categories.
okay, but we're only going to have 3 because the first one, there's nobody here.
Yeah, is A-Rob considered a game changer? Because of our depth, yes. I think.
Yes, because there's nobody else that can be there. And because he's solid and reliable and gets the job done. So yes, he's a game changer in that sense, yes. But let's start with Matt Turner. The goalkeeper position has not changed. I mean, I don't think Turner was terrible today. I've watched that goal several times, and sometimes I think he has some culpability, and sometimes I think he doesn't. At the end of the day, it was in the top 5, or in the top corner. Usually when it's in the top corner on a free kick, it's very hard to save. It looks a little misleading because he got his fingers to it. And generally, if you get your fingers to it, you don't want your fingers pushed back. Could he have done better, maybe? Yes. But I wouldn't put it on him. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I don't think any of the goals were really on him.
No. We'll talk about culpability on the goal. I think 5 for Turner. 4. I'll give him no, because his passing was atrocious as usual. 4. I'll give him a 4.
Yeah, I'll be generous. I'll just give him a 5. I mean, it's just that his passing, if his passing is exposing games at this point, I just blame the coach or just the tactics of the team. We know he can't pass. Like, he can't pass. Just don't have him pass. Like, he can't do it. Like,
Right.
That's not even on him anymore. The dude just can't freaking do it. It's like you getting angry at me for not being able to fly. I can't fly. You can't get angry at me for flying. I can't.
You might be able to fly. You have a better chance of flying than Turner does of passing the ball well under pressure.
Maybe.
But it is interesting that Turner started and played both games. I think that's a pretty clear signal that he's Poch's number one. Like, he could have given Schulte a look, even 45 minutes. And I don't, to be honest, like, I don't have a strong opinion about this. If he's our number one going into November, I guess, fine. Maybe next season he can try to go play at some level. But I don't see anybody pushing Turner out right now. Not clearly, right? You could argue Schulte, but Schulte's made his mistakes too. So, let's go to Joe Scally. For me, Joe Scally is a solid role player on this national team, right? When he comes in, he can do a job defensively, isn't going to be heavily, good on the ball necessarily, but he's going to be fairly reliable and solid, which I think he was. Don't ask him to be a contributor building out of the back. I think he's a role player. That's where I am. Today, I don't think he was awful. He had a few moments where you're like, ew. I think 4.5 for Scally.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 5 also, same as Turner. Because I don't remember him. He didn't have fault on any of the goals. And even in the build-out, he just did his thing. I don't remember any bad moments from Scally. I'll give him average. And I think this is about his season. What we saw today. That's his level.
Yeah, but he also had a really good Copa America, locking down some great wings. So
yeah, I mean, he locked out like Vinicius, which nowadays we know that anyone locks down Vinicius for Brazil.
I know, but like for us, that's pretty good.
We don't have everyone. It's just that when Vinicius plays for Brazil, it seems like everyone locks him
down. But Luis Diaz too. He didn't look bad against Luis Diaz. I know it wasn't Copa America; it was the friendly. But okay. Miles. What more needs to be said about Miles? Okay, there were some giveaways that were mostly poor clearances, right? Cleared the ball right to Mexico defenders. There's just poor clearances. But the goal is on him. The second goal, he's like 50% responsible for. You cannot...
40. 60 on Ream, 40 on Miles.
Yeah, but you're 1v1 and you give him that much space, I don't know. I think it's at least 50-50. And then, this didn't result in a goal, so a lot of people will not remember it. But I looked it up, by the way. Do you know how tall Huerta is?
5'7", 5'8"?
It's 5'6". Do you know how tall Miles is?
6'1", 6'2"?
6'3". Woo! So this guy, you have 9 inches on this guy, out-jumps you on a shot on goal. It wasn't like it was a midfield challenge, which is still bad. But how can a guy who's 5'6" out jump you and almost score? Like, I'm sorry, what?
He also got nutmegged pretty badly.
Yeah, towards the end, right? They ended up being like, oh my God, he was ragdolled in this game.
I'm giving him a 2.
Yes, 2 is fair.
Might be generous.
It might be very generous. And Miles shouldn't be on the national team. Not as a contributor, not as a role player, not as anything. He is he is in the GTFO category, right? And he's 27, Pac. This is his prime. Can't pass the ball, not a good defender. Please leave. Okay? Get him out. You go first on Ream.
I'm giving Ream a 2.
Yeah.
Just like Miles. Equally as bad on the ball, which is quite surprising for Ream. Actually, Ream was poor on the ball both games. The first goal that we conceded, I personally think it's mostly on Ream. I'd say 60% on Ream, 40% on Miles. I'm going to give Ream a 2. And I know a few years ago after Nations League, Ream dropped a stinker. And then we were like, okay, he's done with the national team. He bounced back with Fulham in the Premier League. I don't think that's happening again. He's older. He's back in Major League Soccer. I do think it's time, even if Tim Ream is still the second or third best center back, it's time to move on because it's very unlikely that he'll be in the top 4 by the World Cup. We need to find other guys. We need to test other guys. McKenzie, Carter Vickers, Chris Richards. Yeah, I'm giving him a 2, man. It wasn't good from Ream, and it's time to move on from him.
Yeah, it's time to move on. Here's the problem. Who do we move on to? Let's say everybody's healthy, right? Richards is a lock.
Mackenzie
CCV
probably. I thought Mackenzie
and
was fine.
Mackenzie. So that's 3. But then who's your 4th? Trusty?
Trusty, look, my opinion on Trusty's pretty clear. I don't think he's very good either.
So who's your 4th center back?
You
If
you
everyone
beg
else-
Henri Chase to join you.
Okay, and if you don't get Arnie Chase, probably it's
you-
still Reem. I
you
see.
go
I
after-
actually don't mind having Reem in the locker room as the 4th center back, but
Yeah,
but for now,
that's like the worst case scenario. Sure, you put that. You try Testament maybe, but we can't count on that. We don't know how it'll go. Sure, Reem can be the 4th option until someone pops up, but
right? Or we just try Testament there.
try it.
Testament and Maloney. Yeah, same for me, man. 2 for Reem. It's just really poor to dribble out of the back like that. He did well, right? That was crazy. He actually did well to get the ball back from Raul Jimenez, and then all he had to do was clear it. But he tried to dribble, and then he was tackled, and then the rest is history. A-Rob. I'm gonna give A-Rob a 4.5 because I don't think he was awful. He had a few giveaways. But as the only starter on this team, I thought he should have stood out more than he did, right? Like he's supposed to be a difference maker. He didn't do that. So I'm holding him to a little bit of a higher standard. Admittedly, he only played the first half, but it was not his best. I don't think he was awful, but it was not his best game.
What did you give him? I'm giving him a 4.
4.5.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 4. I thought it was quite poor actually. Multiple times poor touches. Well, I mean, he always has poor touches to be fair, even in his good games.
So should we call him a difference maker? I guess defensively he
Well,
usually is.
Yeah, I guess the reason we call him a difference maker is because if he's out, we put freaking Christopher Lund that didn't even look like a professional player today. So
the difference he makes is just general quality.
the difference he makes is just that the gap between A-Rob and his backup is huge. That's why he's a difference maker. It's not that he is actually a difference maker.
Yeah. Okay. You go first on Aiden Morris.
Aiden Morris's first half was probably as bad as Miles and Reem throughout the game, like a 2.
Yeah.
I thought in the second half, Aiden controlled midfield a bit better, looked less worse, was much more press resistant. Wasn't a good second half, it just wasn't horrendous. It was like a 5 the second half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 plus 5 divided by 2. I'm giving him a 3.5.
I give him a 3. And just the intensity and the speed of the game was completely beyond him. Like he was just completely clueless in that midfield. Not good. Not good for me. He is, I don't want to say get the fuck out. He's somewhere between GTFO and
I'll never scored a free kick.
Like, if there's really nobody else, I guess Morris. But no, he's probably a GTFO for now. Right?
He's probably
still
worse
young.
than Maloney. Probably worse than Maloney.
So these are the guys we had ahead of him. Johnny, Adams, Tessman, Maloney.
Yeah, I don't know about Tessman, man. I'm still not convinced on Tessman.
I still think Tessman is better than Morris. But
Yeah, Maloney's problem is on the ball. Like, he's very poor on the ball. But defensively and intensity, physicality, he brings all that.
I mean, he's handling himself in the Bundesliga no problem. I don't know that Morris could do that right now, to be honest.
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, 3 is fine. Let's talk about Busio. I thought Busio was not great, but he had some decent moments. Overall, he seemed as overwhelmed as Morris, but a little more likely to do something with the ball. I'm giving him a 4.
I'm being a bit more generous, 4.5. He was close to average. Didn't really make things happen, but didn't have many bad giveaways like Morris. Struggled a bit with the speed of play, which is weird because he doesn't really struggle with the speed of play of the Serie A. So I wonder if the overall bad performance of the team dragged him down a little bit. But he looked, I guess, like one of the less worst players today. That'd probably be the way.
Yeah, nobody was good
damn,
today.
what the hell?
It's like the least of the evils, kind
And
of.
he wasn't horrible. He was like a 4.5 for you.
Guys, feel free to put your rating in the chat as well. Tell us what you think we talk about.
And hit the like button in the video, of course.
Oh yeah, smash the like button. Oh, and by the way, where does the game start? Not in
I don't-
Guadalajara.
I don't know.
Leave is the code. I still use Bet Online. Guys, let's Brendan Aronson. If there was a way to give this kid a minus rating, I would. He was so bad. And by the way, he was also bad against Panama, but a lot of people didn't talk about that because he made that one pass to Pulisic, which was really not that great of a pass. I'm giving him a 1.
Yeah, I don't want to think. I can't.
I don't remember anything good he did. One time he stole the ball from Raul Jimenez.
And then he lost it right after, right?
I mean, he got fouled right after that, but he was also running off the field. Like, he was running to the touchline.
But
and he was
then
fouled.
again, like, why would you get a point for stealing the ball? It's just,
Yeah, but 1 is the low. Can we give zeros?
I'm giving him a 1. Yeah, just give
Yeah.
a 1. He gets the 1 point off. I guess we can give zeros, but he hustled, so there's your bonus point for hustling, I guess.
Yeah. And that Aronson is my case for passion is not enough. Like, if you had 11 Aronsons on the field, I think you'd be lost. So I don't know that passion matters if you're that bad. You know what I mean? Like, Christian Roldan has passion. That doesn't mean much. Is he a GTFO category or is he a role player category?
Well, the problem with Aronson is when you look at the wing, there's one thing that I think Aronson's useful. If you're holding a 1-0 lead against a better team, you can put him in the final 10 minutes, like for Weah, not for Pulisic, but like for Weah or whoever's playing your 10, and just have him harass the midfield, run around, push. Like, can kind of be useful. So I'd say he's like player number 26.
role player.
Yeah, very deep role player.
Yes, very deep. Like, if it's a 26-man roster, but not if it's a 23.
Yeah, he can be really annoying marking players. So there's that usefulness to him, but it's just like very deep.
Malik, man, I'm gonna give some real, like, Malik, like Sargent, had his chance, right? Gio is out in this camp, and this was and he was out last camp too. In these 2 camps, Malik looked good against Canada. I'll give him that. The last 3 games, he has not looked good, and not just has he not looked good, he's also looked disinterested, and that's what's frustrating. It's like, dude, he's playing well in the Eredivisie. I wanted him to show something that he could be Gio's backup, because right now, Gio doesn't have, an injury history to get excited about. But nobody is stepping up to take that role. And someone was getting mad at me today when I made a list of all of our starters that were missing, and I put Gio in there. I was like, how can you say Gio's a starter? Because he is, guys. And if there's anything that today showed, nobody can play that 10 role like Christian Pulisic, like Gio Reyna. So yeah, Gio Reyna is still a starter when he's healthy. Sadly, the dude can't stay healthy. But who's pushing when he's out? Who's taking that spot? Who's saying that's my spot? Honestly, for November, I wouldn't mind. We said McKennie, but Busio, I'd love to see Busio at the 10. At least try higher up the field.
I said also McKennie. Like, I know he's not going to be like a legitimate like 10, but he can play that role high up the field. He's goal dangerous. He can combine too. Like that pass that Aronson made to Pulisic, McKennie can do that easily. That pass that Aronson gave to Pulisic.
Yeah.
McKennie gives you goals. I mean, honestly, right now, probably McKennie, even though I don't think McKennie's a 10.
No. Someone says Tillman must be high. He looks so unbothered. Tillman and Des should start a podcast called WDGAF.
Don't give him ideas, dude. That's my do it. He's like, I
it's just come way too
I was watching the post game. They said we should have a, and then he makes.
We have a podcast, and they do it on his field that he created with no music allowed.
I would totally listen to it.
Or they do it in a barbershop. They get their hair cut while they talk.
I miss Des. I miss Des. So
I miss Des a lot too, both for his antics off the field and his on-field ability. So yeah, I'm giving Tillman a 3.5 because I thought he should have done more. He had a few moments in the first half where you see his technical ability, but the effort was missing and the effectiveness was missing. Albeit he was played wide most of the game.
Yeah, I'm giving him a 3. I thought it was quite poor. Look, you talked about it too. Like, he looked disinterested. It's a bit frustrating. And you know, I'm gonna say one thing. Someone that watches PSV a lot, he does look like that for PSV at times. Disinterested.
Yeah.
He does. It's just that they're so dominant and he's getting goals and assists. But very often there are moments in the games that he does look disinterested for PSV. It's not rare, by the way.
Yeah. right wing was Musa anonymous on both sides of the ball.
Did he play?
What?
I'm really frustrated with Musa, man. This
damn,
whole camp.
dude.
I don't care. I mean, good for him that he got his goal. I'm happy for him, but that doesn't change my overall opinion of him in this camp. Continues to make me wonder what's happening with Musa, because there's no progress. He hasn't progressed. Even today as a winger, in the first half, he was defensively very suspect. The amount of times I caught Joe Scally on a
Shit out of here.
and Musa not tracking back really pissed me off. And it's like, dude, at least if you're going to play the wing, defend, if nothing else. Right?
Oh yeah, he was completely useless today. I think it's fair to give him a 2, just like Ream and Martin.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think 2 is all he gets.
Just one thing to add. I'm going to say this once again. He was really bad against Panama, but he scored that tap-in, and then people kind of forgot about it. But he was really bad against Panama.
Yeah. It'll cover up the multitude of sins if you score a tap-in. That's the way it works. But yeah, no. And he was really bad this summer, and he was really bad in the last camp too. Remember the amount of giveaways against, was it Canada? Early against Canada, he gave the ball away like 6 times.
And I mean, the Milan coach pretty much made it clear he doesn't want Musa there anymore.
Yeah.
If Fonseca stays with Milan, Musa's gone during the summer. He might even get a loan during January. That might even happen.
Yeah. Unless he has a McKennie type resurrection.
Not gonna happen. He doesn't.
There's no evidence of that with Musa.
He's not as good as McKennie. It's not close.
No.
It's not close.
No. And then Sargent. I mean, Sargent was poor. I'm giving him a 3.
I'm giving him a 2.
Okay. Subs now. Well, real quick with Musa, he's a role player, right? Like a backup winger if you have nobody else.
Yeah, and then
put it this way: who'd you rather have on the wing, Musa or Aronson?
Why are you doing this thing? Why?
I'm just saying, because if Aronson is a role player, then what?
Okay, let me change the question. Do you want to get punched by my right arm or left arm?
Are you righty?
Yeah, but I can hit a good hook with my left too.
I'll just duck and then I'll hit you with a Greg Berhalter kick.
Okay, I'll switch it. Do you want to get punched with Mike Tyson's right arm or left arm?
No, but for real, if Aronson
I don't know.
is,
I don't know.
No, but if Aronson is a role player, what's Musa?
Same thing. Role player right now.
He's a role player. Like he's not GTFO. He's a role player.
No, definitely not. Like he's not a horrible player. We're just saying he's stagnated and he hasn't really done much. But no, you can't put him as a starter or something. You can't put him at the category of Tyler Adams, of Weston McKennie, Gio Reyna, Christian Pulisic, even Tim Weah. Tim Weah contributes. Tim Weah contributes a lot more.
Yeah, he's not a contributor. No, he's a role player at best. All right, so the subs. There were 2 subs. Ale Zendejas came on at halftime, along with Christopher Lund. Oh my God.
GTFO for both. GTFO for both. Get out. Get out.
Yeah, although, I mean, Zendejas had that one nice pass, and it looked like he was up for it, but it doesn't matter. There's no
And he got into a brawl. Get a point for that.
Well, like that, right? They like that. No, they're both terrible. The problem with Lund is, who do you call ahead of him? It doesn't matter at this point if it's a Wiley.
Call the younger guy and hope he develops.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was.
I mean, Paredes maybe when he's healthy.
That's what I think is probably the best option long term. I think Paredes is probably a left back because I don't know if he's ever going to have the explosiveness to be a very good winger. I think left back or wing back might be fun. But yeah, that was especially that miss, dude. Like that was closer to the corner flag than the goal, and there was nobody marking it. Right? He was free.
No, it was also horrible. Like, we talked about this before because the first time Lund played was Berhalter that brought him in, and like he looked okay. And then me and you were talking about how it's like, I mean, I think it was the friendlies, wasn't it? Uzbekistan or something. We were talking about, and we were talking about like, look, we don't want to judge a player based on one game, and we haven't really watched them for Palermo, but he didn't look anything special. And then he got a few more minutes here and there. We're just like, this guy.
And he smiles a lot. Him and Musa are the smiley brigade.
Yeah, and it's just like, also, I kind of want less players that smile. I want a few assholes in this team now.
Yeah. Well, you know, we try to send assholes home from the World Cup, so we don't exactly foster a good. And what was the other asshole that John Brooks, remember? Stood up to Grega and was never seen again. So
Yeah.
We don't really foster an environment on this team for assholes. We want smiley guys. Tessman, right? Tessman, and who was the other immediate sub? No, Tessman came in later. He made 2 subs.
Tessman was later. Yeah, I'll tell you here.
Was
So
later with Vasquez.
it was so at halftime it was London Zendejas, and then 63rd minute it was Tessman, Vasquez, and Haji all together.
Right. Okay. I'm giving Tessman a 4. He wasn't great, but he showed a few moments that I thought were interesting.
He looked better than Aiden today.
Yeah.
I still want to see him as a center back at some point. I still think the player profile is there, but I'll go with the 4 too. There's not much to add to that. Haji, I don't remember Haji on the field at all.
No, he didn't do. Endeavor, lots of endeavor, but ineffective. Quite ineffective. I think 4 is fair for Haji.
4, nothing bad, nothing good, and then Brendan Vasquez. Actually, I'm giving him a 5.5.
I'll give him a 6. Because in the 20 minutes, he had a shot on goal, which was a good run, right? He created space. He got the through ball, but he allowed space for it. He also had 1 or 2 good moments of hold-up play that I liked. Then the header, he should have done better with.
It was a tricky header, right? He had to like move back. But...
He was trying to skim, yeah. No, but he was the best player today, Brandon Vasquez.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah.
I'm not changing my overall opinion about Brandon Vasquez. I don't think he's anywhere near the top 2 for sure. But could he push Sargent for that 3rd spot?
Yeah, I don't want to overreact to this one game, right?
Yeah, small sample sizes are.
But if Pochettino leaves Sargent out of next camp and brings Vasquez, we know why.
Or because Balogun will be gone, what if he brings Balogun, Pepe, and Vasquez?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think you don't need 3 center forwards for this case, but sure, maybe he does that. Maybe.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Although with our injuries in camp record, we might.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the players that are injured now are still not going to be available for November.
Yeah.
Richards is very questionable. Reyna's pretty much out.
Yeah, Reyna's not there. Balogun's not there.
Balogun is out. There's a few. Dest is out. There's a few that won't be back.
Hopefully, if we can get McKennie, obviously Pulisic, Weah, Pepe, and then Johnny and Adams, I think that would help a lot. Because that's a spine right there, right? And if you can get CCV in, then maybe you pair CCV with McKenzie. That's a rough one. But yeah, I think that would help, at least. Let's talk about Poch. If his goal was to win, which is what he said, I want to win, he didn't do that. And he certainly didn't act like he wanted to. Like, it felt like he was still in experimentation mode. That he wanted even his substitution patterns, right? It was like, let's give Lund 45 minutes instead of A-Rob. Like, that felt more like a we're trying to manage his minutes situation.
That would be something for Casey Keller to complain about.
Right. If he wants to complain, he could complain about that. Now, it's early days, and we don't want to come down too harsh on Pochettino. We had a very tough first camp, considering all the players that were injured. And so he has limited time to see what he has available. So I kind of understand why he's doing it. But against Mexico, you never want to feel like it's just experimentation. You want to feel like, man, we want to get after that. So I'll say for the players he had available, his starting lineup was fine except for Aronson. Okay, I would have switched out Aronson for Haji. So I'll give him a 7 on the starting lineup. But the game management was terrible. I'm giving him a 2 on the game management because he pulled off the players who looked okay and left the ones on that were terrible, right? Like Aronson. So I'm going to give him a 2, a 7, and then he lost the game. I got to give him a 3. Yeah. I'm not blaming Poch for all this, to be clear, but like we lost the game. We were out hustled, out fought, and out classed. Like,
yeah, it's tough to judge because also when it comes to results, right? Let's say we played better and we lose to Mexico 1-0. Because it's a friendly, the performance matters more than the win. Because also beating Mexico playing like crap 1-0 wouldn't do anything for us.
Right.
It's tricky to rate his camp because it's the first one. He was clearly more focused on experimenting. He was definitely prioritizing keeping players healthy. like the A-Rob sub was that. Right? It's like, hey, 45 minutes, he's playing a lot for Fulham. So it's very tricky to rate his camp. And if Pochettino was around for like 12 months, I would probably give this camp like a 2, a 3 or a 2. It was horrible. It wasn't a good camp. Just cutting to it. I'm going to give him a 5. I'm just going to say average because I don't think it was bad or good. As long as he uses the data of what he saw. And hopefully, I mean, his eyes are working properly and he saw what Aronson can't do. He saw which players he can use. I'm just hoping he learned from this camp. So let me put it this way. I'm going to use an analogy, Pete. Let me use an analogy so people can understand. Any Star Wars fans in the chat? If there are any Star Wars fans in the chat, you guys are going to get this. Disney released Star Wars The Force Awakens. And that movie, as a setup movie, was really good. But it had issues too, okay? But it was successful and it got everyone excited for episode 8 and 9. But then, episode 8 and 9 were shit, which means episode 7 was also shit. But if episode 8 and 9 were good, episode 7 would have been good. My point, this is episode 7. It was a good setup. It set it up. Let's see how it goes. If the other camps were shit, this one was crap. It depends on what he learns. That's my point. Did anyone understand it? Did I make any sense?
That is the most convoluted explanation of this camp that I've ever heard, but I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah, the point is it's hard to judge it. It depends on what comes after. If what comes after was good, he learned it. Let's say Aronson doesn't start for him anymore. You're like, that camp was wonderful because he learned. He saw it.
Right.
What comes after is what matters. That's my overall point.
He has to do what Greg never did, which is learn from his mistakes.
Or Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker didn't learn from his mistakes.
Where's Diego Luna tonight? Was not called up, Sean, and I honestly don't think that Diego Luna would have made much of a difference today. Although, probably better than Aronson. Can we agree on that?
Fun fact, Diego Luna is also the name of an actor in Star Wars.
No, he's on the Star Wars hype train. We're never getting tacked back now. I just say having Reyna could have made a difference. Oh, of course it could have made a difference. Because although Sargent didn't play as good, you can only play as good as the chance creators when you're a striker, and our team made no chances. Yes, but Aaron, I mean, yes, would Reyna have helped? Absolutely. It's not just finishing, though. Your hold-up play, your combination play, your off-ball movement all matters, too, and Sargent didn't do that today either, right?
They want Pokemon terms, Pete. I'm going to put a Pokemon term for everyone. Trying to beat Mexico with Aronson's like trying to beat an Onyx with a Pikachu.
I understood none of that.
Pokemon fans know what I'm talking about.
I'm sure. Dest is our most important player. Probably top 5, Jim. Probably top. You'd say Balogun, Reyna, Gio, McKennie, Dest. Top 5 to top 7, I'd say is fair. When he's focused. When he's focused and defending. Do an impression, any impression. I don't have an impression in YouTube. But thank you for your super chat. Golden Generation, my butt, says Tax Brazilian Ghost. But this was not the people we were calling the Golden Generation. Let's be clear about that. All right, guys. Tax is going to do the 7 things we learned. That might not be the most fun 7 things we learned he ever did. I'll have the Patreon breakdown out bright and early. I'm actually going to do it tonight because I'm flying bright and early to Chicago tomorrow. So, yeah, look. Poch's first camp, not the greatest. We didn't play great against Penn. And a lot of people got mad at us for being negative. It's just the truth. We didn't play great. It's way too early to draw meaningful conclusions. Let's see what it looks like in November. Guys, smash the like button before you go. Thanks for hanging. I know it's late for some of you, especially on the East Coast. Tack, thanks for being here this late. We'll talk to you all soon.
We've got a very, very big topic to discuss as a brand new England manager. And who else to talk about it than a Chelsea fan? And you've seen Thomas Tuchel lift major silverware for your club. How does it feel to see Thomas Tuchel as England manager?
What a guy. Yeah, I'm probably a lot more positive than I think a certain other Chelsea fan on this channel, that's for sure. It's going to be amazing, man. I love this guy so much. I think he is everything that England could have done or could have got, really. Like, he's the best possible candidate. If we couldn't get Pep Guardiola, he's probably the next best possible candidate we could have got. And I'm looking forward to seeing how things are going to be from January the 1st. I know he's not taking over in November. It gives him a nice amount of time as well to kind of study the players, see who's about. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Who are the connections? Because we were talking about Raheem Sterling. Obviously, he signed Raheem Sterling from Man City.
Yep.
He was a big advocate for Sterling. Obviously, not really part of the England setup at the moment, but that could change if Arsenal maybe win the league this season. What are the initial connections to Chelsea in terms of players? Obviously, I talked to you off camera about Levi Colwill.
Yeah.
Knows him at least in the setup. Who else will he kind of know from English football?
It's funny because actually, I guess if you look at that Chelsea squad that he had when they won the Champions League, all those players, non-English included, really aren't at Chelsea anymore. And the others aren't necessarily playing too well. You've got Mason Mount at Manchester United, injured all the time or hasn't really featured too often. Reece James at Chelsea, obviously, has been quite injury-prone at the moment. Just getting him fit is the first step before even thinking about England. Ruben Loftus-Cheek saw a little bit of success under Thomas Tuchel. He's doing pretty well actually at AC Milan. We might see him maybe get a call up here or there. And so yeah, the connections that were at Chelsea aren't necessarily at the forefront of people's minds at the moment. Really, like if you look at that England squad now and the most recent call-ups, I know Lee Carsley's obviously picked a few players that were maybe unexpected, and maybe Thomas Tuchel might not, because obviously he wants to see a lot of different guys. Really, from that Chelsea squad right now, Levi Colwill, as you mentioned, Cole Palmer, who Tuchel had nothing to do with at Chelsea, that might be the kind of connections that we have possible for him at England. Like I just don't really see. Like I'd be shocked if you were to sit here right now and tell me that Mason Mount would be at the World Cup in America, I'd be quite shocked. I don't know if that's going to happen. And so I think whilst yes he does have these connections, I think it's a bit of a clean slate. And look, while people may say he does have that Chelsea connection, what he also will be doing is looking at a lot of other Premier League teams he was coming up against. So when Chelsea played Liverpool, the numerous times they did under Tuchel, he'll know a lot about Alexander Arnold, and he'll know a lot about Harry Kane, having managed him at Bayern Munich. So he does go in with some knowledge of the squad, and I think over the next couple of months as well, he'll be attending a lot of games too, I reckon.
Yeah, Harry Kane's the big one. He scored about 45 and 46 for Tuchel. Massive fan of him. I think Harry Kane always talks about how well he got coached by Thomas Tuchel. What do you make of the appointment?
I'm of the belief that it's the best possible appointment that England could have made. I look at Thomas Tuchel and I almost feel like there's like this blemish on his name whenever we talk about him. And I was speaking to this with a few other people, and we were thinking, is it maybe because he had a few sackings on his resume, perhaps? Is it maybe the style of play that people don't always get behind, perhaps? And maybe it's also the fact that it's always attributed with Tuchel that he's not really a long-term sustainable manager. But I also think if you look at every circumstance that he's kind of had at several clubs, whether it was Dortmund, PSG, obviously Chelsea, now Bayern most recently, I feel like there's context to be applied for why each one of those situations kind of ended the way it did, and maybe didn't end the most amicably in each case. But I look at what England need and how far England have kind of come to this point with this group of players and what they kind of need to take the next step. I think it's a winner. I think it's a guy who comes in with bags of experience, bags of charisma, bags of personality. We need to have personality to be able to manage this group. We always talk about international football. Maybe it's not so much the tactical side of things that kind of count, rather than building a platform, building a kind of cohesive group that when it's kind of time to play against the bigger nations can kind of come together and perform. I think Thomas Tuchel has shown numerous times throughout his career, especially in knockout football, that for me, bar maybe you could say Pep Guardiola and Ancelotti, he's as good as it gets in that kind of format.
Of course he is. He's top, there's an argument he's top 5 managers in world football. Maybe he's the 3rd best behind Jurgen Klopp. I know he's not managing at the moment, and Pep Guardiola. The big question is style of football. Now, I'm going to be a little bit of a devil's advocate here in terms of I saw City play Chelsea in the Champions League final. He played a back 5. It was a very utilitarian approach because he came in midway through the season and got you to the Champions League final, and you obviously won it. But my only issue is that the FA had a big remit in the last 10 years from the under-17s, the under-19s, 21s. Obviously, look at Lee Carsley, what he's doing as well, to play an expansive brand of football, to control football matches. Is Thomas Tuchel right for that philosophical approach? It feels to me like it's been disregarded.
I think Thomas Tuchel, I think a lot of people, right, when they think about Thomas Tuchel, they think Chelsea Champions League final. Or Chelsea's like squad. And yes, they played a back 3. At times they would be defensive. But also that's partially what knockout football is. Not a lot of teams that go on to win international tournaments are crazy attacking wise and scoring 7 goals here and there. Like, okay, Spain in the Euros actually played quite a really nice style of football attacking wise, and that was also because Lamine Yamal was on incredible form and still is, and Williams was obviously doing things in the other wing as well. They were really, really impressive. But think back to France's wins recently under
You look at Argentina with Scaloni.
Exactly.
It's a defensive mindset. Yeah.
In France, people do not like Deschamps because he plays a boring side of football and is defensive. He's also won the World Cup, right? Like he's done a pretty good job. He's made it to the World Cup final again against Argentina, where they went on to lose. Unfortunately for them. And so, look, yes, Tuchel might have a defensive style at games when they need to be, but Tuchel can also play an expansive style of football if they want to. People keep talking about Tuchel as play three at the back. I've already seen mock-ups of what the English want to be.
Can you remember a team, bar Chelsea, that Tuchel coached that played three at the back? He didn't play. At PSG, he wasn't playing a three at the back. At Dortmund, he was versatile. At Bayern, he wasn't playing three at the back. I think the thing with Tuchel, right, and one of the best attributes about him is he's a versatile manager.
100%.
I think he acclimatizes to the players and to the squad that he has at hand. Like at PSG and at Dortmund, he was known. In fact, he kind of burst onto the scene as a guy who was playing free-flowing attack football.
Yeah.
Bellingham, Aubameyang, Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria. And he came to Chelsea, a team that we all looked at and said, okay, they got Werner, they got Havertz, they got they're not the most blessed attacking-wise, but look at the defensive prowess they have. They have N'Golo Kante in the midfield.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate in terms of breaking up play and just kind of getting it started. He kind of built a team around that. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's the thing with Tuchel. But because Chelsea was in the Premier League and we all saw it on our TV screens every single week, that's what we attribute.
100%. And what's going to be interesting, genuinely, if you're Tuchel right now, you must look at that squad and go, oh my God. Yeah. Every position is incredible. People might argue goalkeeper could be a little bit of an interesting one for him, or what he'll do with Pickford or Henderson. But he won the league with Mendy, who was much more like a shot stopper rather than like a guy that was playing the ball with his feet.
Does Tuchel win England the Euros against Spain if he was the manager in July? Be honest.
Why not?
Does he though?
I think he very well could have.
Doesn't he sacrifice the ball and De La Fuente still gets Rodri on the balls with Mendy on the ball? These guys. Does it change anything in that regard? Because the only thing I'm going to say, as someone that obviously loves England massively, is an England fan through and through. Again, it's that classic thing with England. We give up possession in midfield. We don't have a deep line playmaker. The kind of Adam Wharton situation. We never kind of use someone like that, for example, in the Euros. I'm not saying that was the answer, of course not. But we don't have that approach. And it still remains to be seen if Thomas Tuchel will give us any more possession in big moments against these big sides.
One thing about Thomas Tuchel, I think, when you talk about that deep-lying midfielder, which, by the way, I think in international football, no matter who you are, you look at the most of the international winning teams, whether it's Italy with Pirlo, whether it's Italy with Verratti and Jorginho later on, you look at Spain with Zubimendi, they all prioritize a guy who can keep onto the ball. That's international football. And when I look at Thomas Tuchel's experience at every single club he's been at, he's always prioritized that kind of player. At Dortmund, it was Julian Weigl. At Chelsea, Jorginho, who was completely out of the fold under Frank Lampard, was reintroduced. At PSG, it was Marco Verratti. Even with Bayern Munich, he's the one that introduced Pavlovic into the team. So for me, I don't look at a guy who's going to come into England and he's going to start a double pivot of Bellingham and Rice. I think he's going to look at an Adam Wharton. He's going to look at a Kobe. He might even continue looking at an what's his name, Angel Gomez. I think he's going to prioritize that kind of midfielder, and that's something, like you say, that England really haven't prioritized for God knows how long. They had Michael Carrick at their disposal and never used him. That's the kind of profile that England have kind of been missing.
That's very, very interesting. What about the PR aspect of it? Because, look, this isn't about... It's not about... But we have to talk about it. We do have to talk about it. It is a topic. I don't even necessarily sit on the side of what I'm going to say now. But there are a massive swathe of England fans that are going to have issues about a German managing the England national side for obvious reasons, with certain chants that get sung at certain games. Obviously, I'm not part of that. Of course, the 1966 World Cup finals, this kind of rivalry. Is it an issue? And the reason it could be on a sporting level is because if England lose qualifying games for the World Cup, if England lose a group game in America in the World Cup itself, the amount of pressure that gets put on someone that isn't an English manager, I think it translates massively. Gareth Southgate was able to magnetise England fans in the World Cup in 2018 because he played for England. The dreams of Euro 96 and so many other examples that Gareth Southgate kind of emulated from it. And now we're in a situation where
I mean, genuinely, I don't know if it's partially because I'm half Algerian. My dad, says Leo's over here as well. My dad wasn't born in England, he's born in Algeria, came over. So maybe it's a little bit different on that side for the way I look at things. However, if England are winning games, it doesn't matter. No one says anything. If England lose a game, and that's the thing that's being brought up, that's mad to me. If England lose a game, say England get knocked out of the World Cup at the quarterfinals in America in a couple of years' time, and they've been knocked out by Denmark, for instance, right? Or it doesn't matter who, France, whatever. The talking point really, like, to the crux of it, shouldn't be about, we're knocked out because he's German. That's why. It should be about what's happened in the game.
To be fair, England have history of that, though. Huh? I mean, I can't lie. No. Like, well, we've looked at the past few tournaments. When it's a loss, it's Sterling, it's Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
So again, to play devil's advocate, it's not too dissimilar to what we've seen in the last few tournaments.
But again, it's wrong. Like
1000%. Yeah, that's
the whole point should be about, like, okay, is it because of the tactical side that we were doing? Did a certain injury, whatever it might have been, like that's the talking point. I just think it's like such a fake narrative and such a boring narrative. If Thomas Tuchel won England the World Cup, no one will be sitting there the day after going, like, refusing to celebrate because, oh god, Tuchel's the one that won it. God, England won the World Cup for the first time.
You're absolutely right. But the issue is there's a massive amount of probability around the fact that England aren't going to win the World Cup. Let's be completely real. As much I want to believe,
even more nations now as well.
Yeah, the German, the Brazilians, they're not doing very well. Brazil, of course, but Argentina, they've got so much more experience of winning things than England. But it's not even about him being German. It's that we've potentially thrown away 8 years of goodwill of an English manager succeeding, because Southgate did succeed on many levels, getting England back to a final for the first time in over 50 years. To throw it away, it's not even about him being German, but to throw it away and kind of throw away the English managerial football pyramid for the sake of short-termism. That'll be a fundamental issue in this debate.
But genuinely, who else? Like, for instance, right? If you take away everyone's nationalities, no one's from a nation, we're all from the earth. That's it. That's your nation. You're Earth, I'm Earth. Thomas Tuchel, Earth. Right? The list is in front of you of available managers. Frank Lampard, Terzic, who's at Dortmund, Thomas Tuchel, Pep Guardiola said, I might come, I also might sign a year extension at Man City. And you go, okay, you know what? The best manager is probably Thomas Tuchel there.
Of course, that's unquestionable. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. It would have been. You would have been putting England giving England a worse chance of going on to win the World Cup by picking any other manager that wasn't Tuchel.
1000%. I look at it in a way more practical way, and I understand football tribalism is completely different. You can't compare it to real life events. But I would just think that if you were applying for a job and you were far more overqualified than every other candidate, you were far more overskilled than every other candidate, you had far more experience than every other candidate, and you applied for the same job as everyone else, and you were turned down, and the only reason was you're German and they're not, you'd think this is it would never happen in real life. I understand that in football you bring in tribalism and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, as harrowing as it might sound, it is a business. It is a results kind of business. Who will give England the best chance to win football games on the biggest stage?
We gave Southgate 8 years, which is a very long amount of time. Very, very long.
Well, I wouldn't argue too long.
It was way too long. So, but what I'm trying to say is there's a philosophical approach with the FA in the last 8 years. We're going to give this England manager who's got this feel-good factor, nowhere near good enough to be managing some of the caliber players that he did. We give him 8 years for this kind of long-term approach to build up. He obviously managed the under-21s, etc. And now to just go to short-termism. All I'm saying is Eddie Howe might not be the right fit, or Graham Potter. We can definitely argue that. They're not world-class managers in the same way Tuchel is, of course not. But they could have been the manager for the Euros after, for the World Cup after.
But there are bigger issues to that. Like, for instance, like, I agree. If it wasn't going to be Eddie Howe, if you're wanting like an English manager, if it wasn't going to be Eddie Howe, I don't really think any other manager deserved to have that kind of...
I would agree.
The experience you mentioned before with Tuchel, like knockout football and showing how great he is at it. Even at Bayern last year, people complaining about him, he still got them to the semi-finals of the
They were seconds away from the final, by the way. Huh?
Literally, literally. And then like people want to go on and complain about like, oh, it's not an English man. There are much bigger issues around English like coaching systems and how to become a manager in England. Like, it costs the average person £15,000 to get your licenses. And that's if you pass with them every single time. You fail one of them, you got them to spend another amount of money to try and do it again.
I even look past that. Like, I completely hear you, by the way. That's a completely bigger subject. But I even look at the ones who do have their licenses. Like, and you know what? The counterpoint here is, right, when you look at Argentina, they won the World Cup with Scaloni, who is hardly a world-established manager, especially before he joined Argentina. You look at De La Fuente, who actually has a similar career path to Lee Carsley and Gareth Southgate. So I do kind of hear it from that regard. But when I look at I guess the quality of the English managers around the game, I don't think any of them can feel too hard done by that. They've decided to go for a bigger name and a much more experienced name at that as well.
100%. And it's also situational, right? Like, for instance, right now in the case of England right now, as is like the talent level, as the nation in terms of like rankings, really, there's only maybe a couple of teams that are higher than England.
I was gonna say, Booby, I actually disagree when you say like when I look at England, I don't think they're gonna win the World Cup, or like I don't think it's realistic. I look around international football right now, and player for player in terms of the actual squad and the dearth of options that England have to call upon. How many national teams can you realistically say definitely have better talent pools than them? I would say France. Bar France,
that's it.
Like you could Portugal on paper, they have a lot of talented players, but they have a lot of similar issues that England have. I think the rest of them, I think you should be looking at England in terms of talent, not in terms of how they perform, experience, but I think talent-wise, they can compete with the best.
History matters to me in football. History and tradition, and not tradition, history and kind of patterns. And
but what is England's history? Losing.
Yeah, exactly. England have the biggest weight of expectation of any establishment in football. It's bigger than Man United's expectation of getting back to winning titles.
I would say
it's
Brazil, maybe. But Brazil got
arguably, of course, there's more. Obviously, you know, that's a way bigger expectation. But in terms of maybe in European football, England's failure is systemic. And all I'm going to say is what happened with Capello in 2010. Why don't we talk about that? Obviously, there are a couple of examples of foreign managers managing England. Obviously, the late Sven-Göran Eriksson and Capello. Obviously, you're hoping it goes more towards Sven, where there were lots of good things with Sven. A couple of penalty misses, obviously, in the quarterfinals of Euros and World Cups. I'm hoping, I'm praying it doesn't end up like Capello, where it was such a sour taste in our mouths.
But if you think about that Capello, oh God, we've heard it a million times from that era of footballers talking about like the rivalry in the camp between Liverpool players and Man United. That's gone right now, and like, what we've got to make sure that Tuchel and the guys, and I think they will.
Well, it's gone because United are rubbish. So there is no rubbish. they're beefing with bloody.
I think Chelsea are rubbish too. It helps.
I think what also, but I do think that like. That's something that Tuchel does need to make sure that keeps going on, like the morale side, like making it good, like everyone enjoying coming to England. But that I think was a huge issue then, like played a massive part of it. And also like we got into, and what I don't think Tuchel will do, which is part of what was the issue then as well. Players weren't in the right positions at times. Like they were kind of slotted in at the wrong moments. Tactically, at times, maybe we weren't being the smartest.
That 2010 team as well, too. Look, we talk about the golden generation. I think 2006 for sure was the height of the golden generation. But you look at that 2010 team. First of all, Rio didn't travel. And you're looking at Matthew Upson, you're looking at Gareth Barry. No disrespect to any of these guys, by the way. Ledley King didn't even, he couldn't even play. You're looking at around the team. You're looking at Aaron Lennon, Emil Heskey was still starting for England. Robert Green, and then David James. Even it wasn't the peak of the golden generation.
You're right.
So yes, it was bad, but Fabio Capello wasn't dealing with peak Gerrard, peak Lampard. I think Rooney was the only one really in the smack dab of his prime at that point.
Yeah, 100%. Let's conclude. Is it the right pick? From you lads, I'm guessing
100%.
You have turned me around a little bit. It's about a 51% majority decision. You've just got me over the edge. Will England win the World Cup? That's the big question. Do you think England will win the World Cup?
I think England are giving themselves the best opportunity to win the World Cup. Yes. Would I go out there? Like I've said it every year. I said England will win the World Cup. It's fun.
No,
it's fun to do it.
Yeah.
But I think this decision gives them the best opportunity.
Hola, everyone. I'm Fernando Palawan. Thanks for joining us here at the Nike Air Zoom Arena, where tonight we've got some exciting action ahead of us. Because you know what? This is Rush.
Or the Champions League.
Yeah, the Champions League, whatever it might be. Yeah, so
Champions
League is a good way to
great shout. There must be at least 8
3,
World Cup players in that.
2,
that starting lineup with Thomas Tuchel is going to be
we're
incredible. What he does with, say, Trent's going to be so interesting.
Strong, but fair tackle nonetheless.
It's going to be all really, really interesting.
It is exciting.
It is very exciting.
I would say this, right? Like I'm looking at this as an outsider looking in. I don't have like a dog in this race here, right? But
great read by the defenders. They did a great job.
To a lot of people,
there's a chance at a breakaway.
I've personally never believed they're going to make it. I just always felt the minute
what a
he meets
save!
a
The
manager
keeper has done really well.
But the minute he meets
It's
a team
a
that has
corner
a
kick.
fully functional
Tough to
midfield over
predict,
his,
but
England will
it's really a
get
good
found out.
scoring
And I've been proven
opportunity.
right every single time. Looking at how
They
Thomas
right
Tuchel
into the
has
box.
shown throughout his career,
And they missed. They have missed from that sort of position. Didn't expect them to do much better, especially at this level.
1 week just focusing about one
Nicely done. They broke him down in the middle of the park.
More interesting, and they are now infinitely more for me a threat when it comes
There's
to
good
like
position
France,
there
Italy,
on the right
Germany,
hallway.
Spain, etc.
Oh, they have.
I think
wow! And
it
in
won't
comes
take
the goalkeeper's best friend.
who are maybe a bit more on the edge to be convinced
kick
by
play
him.
short.
Like, you got to remember when he joined Chelsea. He took over from Frank
Good
Lampard.
bit of
Chelsea
skill
fans were
here
over
to
the
beat
moon
their
about
marker.
him. Loved him, were devastated.
Right out of the danger
Thomas Tuchel
zone.
came in, people thought, who is this guy? And within a couple of months, every Chelsea fan was in awe of him.
He's world class. He's better
And
than
we're
if
getting
you're
things
sat there
back.
at home
It's a
listening
great
and saying,
place
"Arteta's
to get
better,"
possession.
or even Unai Emery.
Decent save in the end.
If you win a Champions League, you get put in a very special category, very rare category of
It's a
current
great
management in the
effort
game.
by the
An
keeper.
unbelievable
Corner kick
assignment
to
and
come.
an appointment. And as far as Lee Carsley's concern. I'm so
They
glad he's
decide to
leaving.
play a
So let's
short
be real.
corner.
We have to
You're
celebrate.
McCarthy.
Yeah, I
Good
hope the
block
ball
from
isn't
the
hitting on the way
defender.
out.
That's a good shot. Good shot and a good save at the end. Oh, but it still could be. Ever been cut in the wrong spot? That's an offside. And decide to waste no time with the free kick.
Hi, and welcome along to the weekend preview. I'm back in the building, right? I missed that.
I already seen you.
It could not break down the defense here.
My show. You crashed my show.
Oh, there's a chance of the breakaway.
Yeah, you were funny though. But
And the whistle
Very
goes.
funny.
The caution for now. It's a yellow. Oh, that was simple. They just
Honestly,
passed it to another teammate.
we've become very musical.
They got someone close to far post. Great save with the ball comes back
You've been
out.
doing renditions of End of the Road. You've been doing
Listen.
Josie,
Play forward now.
Boys to Men. You've been on it.
And that ball's intercepted by the
Turn that
keeper.
down.
Soft.
Thank you.
Well, listen, let me just introduce the panel for you. Of course, we've got Matisse in the building. And I
got the
see
ball
loads
back.
of people saying late again.
It could
And
be.
they're blaming you.
Great effort
Yeah,
by
he's
the
telling me it's the
keeper.
first time
Corner
this
kick
season.
to come.
Is it?
Why is everyone blaming you in the chat?
Because they always blame me. Because I'm like.
Because you're.
Corner kick into the box.
This is
And
actually
there
my
goes
first
trouble.
one. I said, that's my
Abby
bad.
Summers, of course, is in the building. Big up to. I just heard a rumor, right? Now tell me this ain't true.
Hey, tell it, big O. What a stop! I cannot believe they
I've got to
kept
get
it
my
out.
last one hit, yeah.
That's what she does. This is what she does.
It's not like
Defender has it now.
it's not really like a
And they're
Sunday
out of
holiday,
position,
it's
which in the
more
road book
because
is
I
called an
did also say
offside.
it was an oversight on my part.
And
because I
they've got
didn't
the ball
realise
back in
weather
play.
This time of the year.
You didn't realise the weather would be
I'm
bad in
going to
October.
Montenegro, which is near Croatia.
Great
Which I
bit
don't
of
know why. Like,
defensive work.
it's meant to be lovely, so I think we're going to be doing like more activities.
It's crossed in. There's options available. They've just been cut in an offside position.
That was hilarious.
No time wasted here. Free kick taken.
Where's the rattle?
It's a bit early.
You
told me all
swear
and demonetize
You
and you
wonder
start
how
like that.
many other opportunities like that would they have during the match?
All you have to say is, no, I won't.
just
No
want the
flex, I
ball
won't
well.
be doing
No
that.
flex,
I'll be
I
doing
won't be doing
that
that.
was so
I won't be doing
close.
that.
Okay,
I won't be doing that. I'll be
Say,
doing
mate.
sightseeing. How are you? Flex is here, by the way.
No
Big up
time
to
wasted,
Flex
and we're
as
back
well.
underway here.
And let me just say, this episode
The
of the
center
Weekend
of the
Preview
field.
is powered by Omely.
Oh, it was so close, but you can see what they were trying to do.
Connect and debate and shape the football conversation in real time.
Winning the ball back well.
Live show, jump in as a guest or just listen in.
That's a
Omely
very
is the place
dangerous
to be.
position here.
Guess what? DR
Let's
Sports
go!
hosting a live
And
show
that's the
on
go-ahead
here today.
one.
All you got to do
Will
is
we
click the
see
link
a
in the
reply
description
from
or
the
scan
opponents
QR
from
code
now?
on the screen to download the Omely app. And there's a big debate going on today featuring two big stars here of
They're through on goal. Oh, that's it. Ball goes out for a corner, and they can use it as they're still down by one. Corner taken short. Great movement of the ball here, just searching for that opportunity to equalize it.
Honestly, you don't want to miss it.
Great timing to cut out the danger. That's a great ball to split the defense.
Is it a holiday?
No one likes to snitch.
They have to. Look at that! Oh, goal! Oh, that's just thrown the crowd into a frenzy. The atmosphere here is fantastic.
No one knows.
Guys, I'm up really early. I'm on a holiday.
Don't quote
Oh,
me.
and there goes the whistle. A formal warning for now with a yellow card, but they are running the risk of being
Anyway, just
sent
before we
off.
get started into the show, I've got to say,
Great work from the
really
defender.
shocked
Please
when
at
I saw
home,
that
stand
news
up and
yesterday
clap.
about George Bolden.
Back in
Former
possession
Sheffield
again.
United player, also played for MK Dons, also was a Greek international, and was currently playing for Panathinaikos over in Greece.
It could be.
Sadly
Really
passed
good
away,
stop.
Age only 31. They found him at
Oh,
his
there's a
house
chance of the breakaway.
yesterday. Really,
And that ball's whipped in.
sad. I was shocked.
That was a non-nonsense
playing.
clearance.
Obviously, England playing Greece tonight as well, so I know they're going to be.
Oh,
doing
that
something.
corner can be dangerous.
Really
That's
sad
a
news.
great save, and on to the corner kick we go.
Never seen him play loads of times.
He was playing last season.
Corner. Oh, they have it.
Been at Sheffield
Goal! What a great hit and effort to beat the keeper. What a finish.
Go to George Baldock, and I'm sure when the Premier League games come back, they'll be doing a load of things around that. And get those super chats in. Tanis says happy
They're getting
retirement.
themselves
to
in a
GOAT
good position.
Rafa Nadal. Retired today.
Man, end of an era.
End of an era.
Him and Federer
Straightforward, no science about what they just did.
Iniesta, of course,
This could
retired
turn
as
into
well.
something interesting.
These kind of people.
Moving the ball well up on the right wing. Well, that's a surprise corner kick.
Sawa says, can somebody please tell X that Spurs need to get Diego Simeone as their manager. They're ruining him as well. They have Conte. Look, Conte.
He would never.
Hey, Conte's at Napoli now. They're top of the league in Serie
Hey,
A.
Oh, that was a decent stop by the keeper.
Mourinho's
good job by the
Garbage,
ref
he says, at
upstairs,
this
calling
rate,
it
Abbey
offside.
will have more holidays than
And they take the
Spurs will
set
have
piece
wins
right away.
in the Premier League.
It's gotta be it. And they're 1-1 with the keeper.
I don't
Oh, and they scored! Goal! They flipped the script here. A short
Why have you turned up here and said I don't want to talk about football?
player disadvantage. What a
Really
finish!
I assume it was how you felt last week as well. Really,
You got
really
the whole
long
international break to run here.
Yeah, that's
We're
why I'm
getting things
going
back
on holiday. So the
underway.
next time I'll
4-0
see you
is the
on
scoreline.
Tuesday,
Anybody
will be
Not long before we see the player re-enter the pitch.
People will recognize
If
you see
they find
Abbey,
themselves in
remind
an
me of that
offside
result,
position.
yeah? Stephen Ireland's
And they've got the ball back in play.
Hey, HR need to help Abbey with tools to cope with Spurs. Multiple vacations are not helping.
How
That's
can they
true.
put that away?
Just going on holiday every
It
time.
was way better than that from that sort of position.
Let's face it.
Ready to
Oh,
keep
yeah,
things
I want to
moved.
start
That's a great read of the play.
What's
I want to stop the woodwork.
Today's Thursday.
And look at that, we might be seeing a counter.
So what else?
Oh, could be. Goal! And they found the back of the net. Just listen to the crowd. They're going wild.
4 days.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And the ball goes out for a corner.
What if we won't get round?
4 days since Manchester United drew that game. Right?
Quick pass to the nearest
Eric
player.
Ten Hag is still here.
Woo!
Ineos have had their meeting. And Ten Hag looks like he may survive.
He will survive.
That's good though.
He is going to survive. You all got what you wanted.
Now I heard you saying it. I heard KG saying it.
3 happy people around this table.
Can it be the
You know,
keeper
he's
from
going to
here?
be gone in this international break.
He said he'll be
It's
gone.
cut out by the keeper.
KG
Whistle's
said
gone
to
and
me,
it'll be an
I
offside.
heard you say
I said I want him to be gone.
A set piece
They say
taken.
will. I said I
You
want
said
him to be.
KG said to me, I think it was on
Fire
Tuesday. He
shot.
goes,
Awesome bit of goalkeeping now. Can they do something
said?
from the
The meeting's
corner?
gone and past. He's still here. What's
no.
going on?
The news coming out from those
they
meetings.
played from the corner.
Where like some of
Danger
the, a lot of
clear.
big journalists are trying to work out what's going on. Man United are doing the thing saying.
Bro, I'm right there. Pass the me.
This is a normal
Straightforward
scheduled
stop.
board meeting, which it was. But what's happened
The
is
center of
us
the
as
field.
fans and the media.
Hey, the
external
counter could
people
be
have
on
gone,
in this one.
Well, there is that
Good
big meeting
looking
on
move
Tuesday
here.
the 8th. Like, that's surely going to be it. And we're
Winning
the
the ball
ones that
back
have
well.
kind of gone on the like. They're good. Surely they got to. But Ineos are doing the thing of like.
And it's
we
well
always have this
collected by the
meeting scheduled in.
keeper.
Like, we don't ever come out of the board meetings and tell you what we've discussed. But the fact that there is no club statement with the corner flag there in the picture means that
What can they do with
when
this
you see
one?
that, it's something, innit?
So you man could have been
Winning
getting
the
hyped
ball
about
back
that.
like
That
a
could have been
boss.
about financials.
Oh no, it's about all
And
of that.
that
ticket
clears the
prices,
danger.
all that kind of
And
stuff.
Eric Ten Hag was
And
ruthless.
they just didn't even speak about Ten Hag.
No, they did. They
Imagine
would've.
they didn't.
No, because also going into the meeting,
Why not?
the briefings were saying that obviously on the agenda will be first team performances and Ten Hag like it is every. This was a
Nicely
meeting
done.
that was
They
always
broke
there
it
from
down in the middle of the
2
park.
months. This meeting's always there.
They
So what's
fire
happened
it.
is because of the shit form going
And they
into
got
it,
it. Goal!
everyone's sort of gone, well,
Oh,
that
you
means this,
gotta
but
feel
what Ineos are
bad
doing
for
is
the
like,
keeper and done
this is just our meeting.
everything
We would
to
have discussed
stop
it.
it.
The fact
but
he's
they
still there
found
means they've
the
obviously
back
just
of the net
they're going to
at
keep
the
him in
end.
situ and hope stupidly in the next 7 games in 3
And they
three
find
games
themselves
that-
in an offside
How do you
position.
Wrong decision.
Absolutely. Like they're just prolonging. All they're doing is
The
prolonging
game
the
is
inevitable.
over. A
The next batch of games
performance
is
for the winners.
teams like,
4-2 is your
straight away
final
score after 30
scoreline.
seconds in every game. Away to Jose Mourinho, Amrabat, and Fred, which would be lovely. If the Fenerbahce come home.
West Ham.
I was the only one doing
so West Ham
shit.
away,
bro.
then PAOK.
No mamas.
In the Europa
Chelsea.
League, you lot at home, Leicester
Leicester.
a couple times,
I mean,
Carabao
there's
Cup.
games in there that are
But that's what.
definitely
But that's what they're going to
winnable.
look at. But we've done this before.
Ipswich.
We've done this before. Not
No, wait
interested.
if I look at
Apart
your
from Chelsea, that's not a bad. That's
Yeah,
not
but-
a bad
but-
fixture list.
yeah,
the
looking
run
at your
before
games.
this.
So Brentford at home.
Yeah.
West Ham away.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Premier League.
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Then Chelsea,
Chelsea.
Yeah. Ipswich.
Leicester.
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 Ipswich.
Ipswich. I mean,
I'm
those
sorry, you
are
should
a
be
lot
winning
of
all
very
Well,
winnable games in there.
Is there a
what
way
what
back
is that?
for Ten
Listen,
Hag?
listen to me right now.
Could he go on a
They've
run of
left-
form?
they've
Listen
left
to
the
me.
door
Make it to the end of the
open.
season.
They
Now.
can make it
Yeah.
to
Hold
the
on,
end.
wait a minute.
Wait a minute,
So
wait a
let me
minute,
just
wait.
go for it again. So
They've left the door open.
wait. Brentford at home. home.
You might get your fixture in December.
West Ham.
You will.
Chelsea at home. Leicester at home, Ipswich away,
then it's the next international.
at home against Everton, right? Then we play. Arsenal played them on the third.
Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, he might still be there.
Well,
hey!
Is there an international break?
Yeah, international break after the
You
Ipswich
got another
one.
international
Oh,
break.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that
So
means
that's
another
all that's going to
meeting.
happen. Let me
Another
tell you how
meeting.
this is going to play out.
Million.
What's going to happen is this: either one of two things.
Set the scene.
Either they just wait for the next game where we take
What
licks.
the-
Could be Jose
that
telling
your
us about
face?
heritage doing
Is
this.
that your
at
face?
Fenerbahce. Could be that.
What the-
Or Cole Palmer
Colombia.
and doing a madness licks 3
Don't even
Could
have
wait for the
Colombia.
catastrophic big one.
We've already
Or
had a couple of those.
huh?
We had a
Oh,
couple of them.
absolutely. Don't just wait for one more.
Okay.
Or it's that mixed bag vibe. Mixed bag. Might, Brentford, yeah, might nick it, whatever. Might get a shitty little draw against Fenerbahce. Maybe, somehow, them bozos might turn up against you at Old Trafford, just out the blue.
They always do.
You know what I mean? But we nearly won that game against Villa with a Bruno free kick. Just that, that kind of vibe. And then maybe a loss against someone shit, a mixed bag vibe we get to the international break, and then we'll be at the same international break in November going, we're still about par. What is this shit? Why is he still here? So I don't know why they haven't done it. I feel like it's a bit of a self-preservation.
Did you
It's
think he needed to
self-preservation.
go?
Yes. I think he should have gone in this international break. I think the reason why they're not letting him go is because they see it. I don't think this. I think they see it as it's 7 games in the league. We've backed him to the tune of 200+ million. They still see it as glass half full, 6 points off top 4. I see it as 5 points away from relegation. It's very, very close. Let's see how the next 7 games pan out, see where we are. But guess what? So people have been saying to me, Flex, people still who backing him, United fans saying,
I'm
if
watching
you
your
win all
stream
them
from the
games,
UK.
you do really well, and then you
I appreciate it.
Hola, everyone. I'm Fernando Paramon.
From the
Thanks for
United
joining us here at
States.
the Nike Air Zoom Arena, where tonight we've got some exciting action ahead of us. Because you know what? This is rush.
Damn, that means it's like morning time over there. Well, no, it's like afternoon time. I don't know what the hell time it is.
3, 2,
It's like
1.
night
And
here.
we're on
For it to
the
turn
way.
around, I have to see something that I'm not going to see, which is like.
That's a great ball in behind. Great bit of defensive work.
Slow.
Everything, players scoring for. It's not going to happen.
Backtracking to the midway point. Defender has it now.
But it's not going to be sustainable, and we'll be back here.
Puta madre. Is not able to pick out the right. Cut it out to build up well here.
Yeah, I'm shocked because Man United fans, like the way they spoke about this meeting, it sounded like it was going to be the moment, and it just ended up being about finances. So, but
This could
I'm
be a good
excited,
chance.
man.
Good
You know what I mean? Gives him time to bed in those new players from the summer.
Oh, I can't believe
gives him
this. I
time
still haven't had
to figure
my
out
first
what he
sip
wants
of
to
a
do in
cup
terms
of
of style of
coffee,
play.
and they
Slot,
score
Maresca,
the
they've had
first
time.
one.
He needs time. I can't wait.
Oh, and that's
I'm
been
just so
called a
excited
penalty,
for
and I thought there
more
wasn't much in
rages,
that to
more
begin
rants,
with. Now the
more
keeper's going to have
looks
all
into
the work to
camera,
do.
More KG cookings. More
They
just
could level
more
it.
life.
That was well
More
done
life.
by the
Man
keeper.
cussing man for eating biryani.
Yeah, more biryanis brigades.
Biryani
Do you
gate.
know what I mean? Like, I'm just buzzing, man. Like, I predicted 8th, and they might
Nicely
even
done by
do
the
worse.
defender to step right in and block it.
It's crazy.
I mean,
It's going to
also
the
on
far
top of that,
post.
there's news that
And
Maguire
that's a goal kick. Well, we're not seeing the quality we've come to expect.
I don't know if that's
Oh no,
Maguire
look out!
is a-
That's a
Maguire
horrible
is a
pass from the
cardiac
keeper.
history.
This one required some work by the keeper.
Yeah,
That's
Well, maybe they can do better next time, right?
Let's play switch.
And the keeper's happy to get the ball rolling again.
It's pretty worrying, that, isn't it?
Fingers-
He's
fingers-
actually started pretty well, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
started pretty well. But yeah, that's another thing we've got.
Good job by the ref upstairs, calling it offside.
Which game do you like? Do you play from?
And the free kick taken.
Squad battle or what the hell? EAFC, whatever.
That was definitely not a good effort.
Nice place, I guess.
Rehabilitation.
The ball played to
Está
a defender,
normalillo.
and we're back underway. We're moving the ball well here.
Like
That attack
like,
ended
I feel like
neatly.
everyone is shocked that he's still there. I don't even think like
That's a
people
threatening
are
ball.
staunch
And they
and
score from here now.
thought that he was
There you
like
go.
that. You know, even
I
if they still
cannot
didn't want him to
believe
go,
what
still
I
think
just
they thought
saw.
that
What
would
a
be
stop.
the end of it, like in that meeting. And it's wild, like as Mar said, like they're
And the
discussing
play goes the other
finances
way
and
now.
it's on, the lunch menu this week. It's absolutely crazy. Like, yes, a 7-game
Nice
season. I can
touch to
your
see the
point,
running
maybe
behind.
Go too early, but 7 games in, your season is still salvageable.
And it's 10 games.
Great
comps as
bit
well.
of defensive work.
It's the sample size is big enough, like to see that it's going
Great
nowhere fast.
save by the
And then
goalie.
You can still
More of
make
a
something out of
routine
the
save
season
from the
at this
keeper.
point. But if you wait till the next international break, which is what, just before December, like
Damn.
Ball in a danger spot.
Gone almost at that point. So
Can
at
they
that
do
point,
it?
doing a bit of damage control to
Nice to meet you.
that season's going nowhere.
Appreciate it, fam.
Level now.
I still think
Nothing
at
to
7 games,
separate these two sides.
You're not writing the season
Bro, I
off
turned
at
this
that point.
bullshit
So I
off. I
think
don't know why
the
it's still on.
decision would have been to go now.
There's good
But
precision
like I
there on
have
the right
said,
hallway.
They obviously looked at it in the summer.
Back to the middle.
And they didn't obviously
To pull a kick.
Qué golazo.
Goal!
But at the
That's
same
the go-ahead
nothing
one.
would have changed
Will
from
we
July.
see a
Whatever.
reply
The
from the
manager market
opponents
has
from
moved.
now?
Really,
Have a
the only
chance.
one that's actually moved.
Goal!
So apart from that, everybody's
They
the same. So
found
having a
the
look at it again,
back
it's
of the
why
net.
don't
Just
see anyone
listen
else
to the
that
crowd.
can
They're
do
going
that.
Why
wild.
did they bring in Ruud van Nistelrooy as an assistant if they're not?
They've just won the ball. There was a good challenge.
Will be
Oh, there's a chance of a
I
breakaway.
think that eventually
A bit of
it's
room
going
out
to
wide.
everyone can see this, but they're
And that'll
like-
put an end to
they're
that
like me
attack.
3 months
Really
ago.
good chance here.
Well, I'm just hanging on.
Oh, could
Yeah,
be.
well, I'm just like,
Good goal.
everyone's cussing and saying this guy's done.
Oh, just listen to the crowd.
Come on.
What a
Anything else like
finish.
it, Might just be,
Just an investment.
might just be enjoying watching you go through the pain.
No, I do,
Great.
Jim's.
They're probably
Bit of
watching all the
defensive work.
fan cams and thinking, oh, this is brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Javin Square says, Flex, you got anything to
Ball
say?
in the
to
attacking
Depression's
third.
Losing. He called you the
Depression's
Mancunian
losing.
Mr.
Oh, I like that
Potato
one.
Head.
Depression's losing. I might teeth that one. That's a good one.
In the new best
Ah,
Drake
he will be.
challenge
What the
to
fuck?
Stop the
Kendrick, but he said
danger.
he sees Kendrick versus Drake 2.0.
Yeah,
Let's
listen,
go.
I've
Challenging
seen
to get
the reaction.
possession.
All I did was defend myself with an unprovoked attack.
It wasn't unprovoked though.
Great
No, it
work
was.
from the defender.
No, the
Visit home,
expression's
stand
on-
up and
on
clap.
attack.
And get the
Zabanki.
ball back.
The game, everything. I
And
didn't
there's
say
a chance
nothing
to
about
go on
him,
the
nothing
break.
to him.
Look at that
Didn't
ball
bring
is
his name in.
treacherous.
Right to defend yourself.
And I had every right to a reply.
It's a chance to believe it.
So, and then obviously,
It's a
listen, this is expressions
goal.
I'll be there. You know, them
Level
later.
now.
Sheldon Jackson
Nothing to
says,
separate these two
he says, I
sides.
still can't believe that Robert Saleh, former head coach of the New York
Oh, look
Jets,
at that. We
got
might see
fired
some
before
danger.
Ten Hag. He said, I thought for sure
Oh, could be.
Ten Hag
That's a
would have gone before
straightforward
Saleh.
stop
He
from
goes,
the
"That is
goalkeepers if I've ever
insane."
I
seen
don't
one.
even watch NFL, but that obviously must be really shameless.
You're telling me they have a chance
Jay
here?
says, Don Robbie, will you keep bench sell? Will you do a keep bench sell this season? I would love to know.
This looks nice.
Who Flex
Good
and Adam
cross, played in
can
deep.
sell.
And
Also,
it's done and
the
dusted.
best of
Keeper's
enemies
ball.
was fire, was it?
They're breaking at speed. It's a great read of the play. It has to. Forward, this was off the target. It was a great chance to pull and shoot a lead. So unfortunate.
Offer, what the hell? How are you gonna do the freaking graphic
Yeah,
design
get
book up?
possession in there.
You don't even own him.
Yeah, keep.
Including you.
I said I'm happy for him. I wanted
You
him
were
to improve.
No, but before that.
absolutely, you were saying
They're
you
building the
shot
attack up
I'm happy
nicely.
that
No, you didn't
What
say
an
it's not been
elegant
great. You
way
were
to
absolutely
defend
trying
a
to-
golden
I think he said he
opportunity.
wasn't at the level.
Looks to
rubbish.
be on here. This one
Hello.
has
Good enough
to
for
be.
Spurs. He said,
Good
Go,
goal.
yeah, but so is he good enough for Spurs?
This is beautiful. Look at the stadium. It's just going
Ricky Proctor
crazy. The
says, when
stands
Emery
are
wins a
shaking.
trophy, Ricky Proctor
It's
says,
crossed
when
in,
Emery
there's
wins a
options
trophy
available.
for Villa, they will become
That's a
the
great
sixth
shot.
most successful team
Over
in
the
the
line.
top. Will we have Villa
Goal. It's
instead
been
of a Spurs
really
representative
back
on the
and
show?
Can't get rid of me,
forth
man.
here tonight. It's
Hold it.
all tied up again.
Yeah.
You've been lost without me.
Intercepted by the keeper instead.
No. If they're against
Mate, if Matisse
That's
survived
a great
finishing
read
12
of the
and
play.
was still at this
Of
table,
course.
then you
Hold
That's
on a
a
second,
foul
I've got two
and an
stars
automatic
on my chest.
booking
Right there,
as
you've
well.
actually finished
Yellow
the
card
I mean,
shown.
finished 8th from
Gotta be a bit more careful from now on.
If we were going to rotate
Nah,
this...
wait there. I
Hold
just
on a
remembered
second.
This.
You're
You've had the worst
14th.
run, not us.
You're 14th,
You,
so you
right,
be
but we haven't
careful.
finished 14th.
Mate, you
and
better
we
be
haven't
careful.
finished
You
12
might
yet.
do if that manager
You
don't get
actually,
sacked.
what was it? Was it 12?
You better be
Got
careful.
in
Was it
strong
12?
there.
Listen, I don't
Let's
remember.
not say they were elegant with that kick, but it was
You've actually
effective.
had the worst run.
Selective
They built
amnesia.
something.
You
Selective
finished
12
amnesia.
challenge, but they're
And that was
still
every
playing
week
it.
come to this table.
We
Finding
are
a bit of
still
space there.
the most
Ah.
successful English team
Intercepted
Bro.
by the keeper.
in the
When you're
20th
supposed to
century.
forget.
And we're still the most successful second most successful English team in the 20th century. So I don't really understand what I'd be leaving. I got 2 stars on my chest.
20,
Yeah? Yeah.
This is 21st century.
Sorry, 21st.
Say says,
And that's
by
the
the
book
way,
in the
happy
red card
retirement
and
to
red, a
Ian
yellow card
Stern.
is shown.
Question for the panel.
That was straightforward,
from
no risk
Reggie
taken
CFC.
there.
He says, question for the panel. Are there
That
10
attack
players in the
ended
United squad
neatly.
that you can build for the long term for.
Ball in a dangerous
Short term
spot.
maybe, but I don't
Tends
see
to pull in front.
Difficult.
Oh, look at that. Take out the clock. There's not
saying
much
this
left.
on
They
the
have a
last show
corner
the other day,
kick, and they can win it out of this one.
Messiah went back and forth.
And they play it from the corner.
Fuck, dude. How the fuck I missed that, dude? God damn, bro.
Like, who can cut the mustard?
And the
Keep
keeper's
in
happy to
Deco,
get the ball rolling again.
Who'd you rate?
I should have made that.
And that's a goal kick. Well, we're not seeing the
I
quality.
knew it. I knew it was a
Well,
freaking
Well, actually,
goal cap.
because that's 660
Yeah,
million
there's a
pounds.
lot.
Pushing
so
the
I'd
ball
say,
upfield.
Martinez
Nice
My
ball.
bad.
Get the ball again. Oh, well, the whistle's gone. It's a second yellow. They'll have to head off the pitch as part of their blue card punishment.
Andre Onana
Need some more time.
He's all right.
Playing it well upfield. The keeper enjoyed
There's
hanging
better
on to that
options,
one.
I'd get that.
And look at that. We might be seeing a counter.
Garte.
I haven't seen
It
enough.
could be.
I haven't seen enough. Casemiro, I've seen
Fantastic
enough.
work from the keeper to keep it level. Now can they hit the counter from here?
Garte is your
Great imagination to see that running behind.
Eric,
Nicely polished technique there. I guess
Right,
good job to get it
Nomad
away.
says, Abby,
But
you're
that's a
sitting
corner
there
now.
all smirky and happy, but you're 2 points above Flex. If you're not humble, you will be.
It's a
with
short
the Mud
corner.
siblings.
And somehow this ball goes right over the middle.
Shivan says, great content, Matisse. Even
Almost
the
over,
Proton
10 seconds
sponsor.
left.
Michael says, Robbie.
For the
how
lead.
Sweet is
Oh, the
life
keeper
at
had
the
to
moment.
deal
Big
with
up.
it.
Come at you
Well
first, we
done
know
by
that.
the and
Right,
that's the end
big
of
up to
regulation.
you all.
4 goals
Consistent
apiece.
content
Can
from
they
day one, says
settle
King
this
A.
one in
Thank you very
extra
much.
time?
Joel says, Joel HMMM88 says, big up to you guys on VR Sports. Last Monday's
Then
show
we're
was
back
awesome.
underway here in
When
extra time.
Expressions was cooking. Expressions
Well, they
replied on
certainly
best.
have the personnel
fuck.
to win the ball back.
Please
That's a great
reply
move to find
with the
has to be.
swagger like
And the
last
powers that be
Monday.
had decided that this is offside.
Saya says,
They take the set piece right away.
1,016 games, 106 goals, 161 assists, no red cards, World Cup final winning goal, and so much more. Andres Iniesta, one of the
Well,
best
they're back on the
midfield
pitch
players
now.
I've ever
Teammates
seen
happy to have a full squad again.
career.
Well, they're methodically moving the ball around, but can they find it something special to pull ahead?
Jonathan
And
Norton
that's
says,
a
since,
goal kick. Well,
Gary
we're not seeing the
Driscoll
quality
left
we've come to
Arsenal, joined
expect.
United have been
Mashed us
playing-
out,
that's a
mate.
bad
Yeah,
giveaway by
100%
the
he can
keeper.
get out as well.
Well, there you have it. They have cleanly regained possession.
That's true.
There's
you know.
space on the
He's
wide
a
position.
with injuries, take
Good
it.
cross, played in deep.
Best 11 from Man City.
Out comes the keeper to
Liverpool,
back
and
this
Arsenal
cross.
teams now.
Something might be happening in this one. Look
You know,
out.
we're gonna what I wanted to do.
What the
Great
fuck?
read by the defenders. They did a great job.
One of another section of the season over with.
Well, let's see what they do from here. And that'll just run through to
Asked
the keeper.
everybody at the start of the show to write
Moving the
down
ball well here.
the 3 players that really impressed you this season in the Premier League, but it cannot be a player
Oh shit.
from your own team.
What about it? Easy.
Say-
Didn't have any candidates anyway, mate.
Don't worry about this side of it.
And that's a book in the ref's got it right. A yellow card is
let's
shown.
start off with ladies first.
Oh,
Let's
that was
start
simple.
with
They just passed it to another teammate.
Yeah.
They've just been cut in an offside position.
So you're late with that as well. Everything you're late with, man.
They take the
Are
set
you ever
piece
on
right
time?
away.
No, it's turn it over.
The
Barely.
ball is up.
Let's fucking go.
Goal!
Let's see
They
Abby's
pulled
stuff.
ahead
Writing
here.
this down.
Just what they
Palmer,
needed.
Saka,
They've broken the deadlock.
My top 3.
What's your reasons?
I mean, Cole Palmer has actually been, I think, probably the best in Europe
Let's fucking go.
by quite some margin. So
Ah, shit.
He's a ridiculous player. I will never go
That was
over
so hard.
Manchester City let him go. For me, that's as bad as Chelsea letting Kevin De Bruyne and Salah go. I think that will go down as one of the worst decisions. And a player that I feel like would definitely be starting for him at this point. Either way.
I heard somebody sort of saying that because he's such a and maybe you can jump in on this.
Maverick.
Because he's kind of a maverick type of player,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have suited Pep because Pep's
Nah,
system. Do you think that's true?
Pep's always had time for naturally gifted, special footballers.
But they all play within a system, though.
They do, but
whereas he doesn't really at Chelsea. Gets the freedom, doesn't he?
he's still in a system, but we treat him more like the main character, whereas maybe Man City wouldn't. But I still think if you show Pep, maybe the threshold. I mean, Man City are going for a title, we're not. So the threshold.
Last one.
Pep's main character means you need to be absolutely unbelievable, which I think Palmer could have been, but he's got Foden and he's got De Bruyne, so there's more competition for us.
We didn't have that player, so we needed that player. He became that player. But he's unbelievable. Yeah.
He is. He's a jet, and I think that I kind of agree with what you said. Like maybe in a City setup, he would have been more subdued. Like he wouldn't have the freedom he has at Chelsea. But then when you've got De Bruyne, who's out for such long periods of the season, that's not something new. It happens every single year. He would have been the perfect replacement, in my opinion. And then I put Saka here because, again, as much as I hate Arsenal, I do really like some of your players. And I think Saka, 7 assists in 7 games? Like, even if he's not necessarily scoring, I think it's just 2 goals. But his corners, like, or the set pieces, or like the pinpoint accuracy that he has to like put a ball on Gabriel's head or Havertz, it's just ridiculous. And like, he's also so durable. Like, he never gets injured. He's just so good. Like,
and he's so strong as well. When
so strong. Like, he's just
consistencies with the
yeah. He's just an unbelievable. Yeah, he's just an unbelievable footballer. And again, like, you hate to see it from a Spurs perspective, but like, I massively appreciate him as a footballer. Like, I love watching Saka. And then I went for Gravenberch because I think that's also most improved. Like, we all know that Liverpool needed a 6. They needed an improvement in their midfield, which they didn't necessarily get. You know, Zubimendi gate, but him and McAllister in that little pivot they've got going on, he looks like a different player. Definitely different.
Hi everyone, and welcome on this fine evening to the Nike Air Zoom Arena. Fernando Palomo here with you, and I'll be bringing you all the end-to-end action. Get ready for some rush. 3, 2, 1, and there goes the ball.
I did have Palmer though, so someone sabotaged my thing. I did have Palmer, but Palmer
And that goal was denied.
I agree with it. Gravenberch.
That's a menacing-looking pass. Nice time to have a corner kick while the score is still tied.
I just think he's had
something useful for them.
A rough time
short on the corner. Oh wow! They've decided to show off everyone here.
Scrutiny comes, pressure and expectation. I get that, but I just love the way he's disproved this notion that he's a poor player.
They decided to go short on the corner.
For finding the right place for him and finding the system for him. Trying him out in the left 8. Okay,
hey, the
cool,
counter could be on in this one.
No worries, but I just feel like there's so much scrutiny up.
Oh, will they test the keeper here? That was a decent stop right there. Good job.
He says, Tomiyasu, what's this? What's that? And in the end, he's the one who goes, I told you. But with Havertz,
and they played from the corner. And there it is. Goal! And there you have it. We have our opener. The deadlock's broken. Play has resumed.
Havertz. Like, I see even Matisse.
That's a good-looking ball. That's what they put them in goal to do those kind of plays.
He hasn't won nothing yet. He ain't won no Champions League.
And they played short.
Which is all true.
That was a well-won ball. They read the play while they're breaking at speed.
Yep.
Good goal. Also, whereas like
he's becoming clutch.
You get yourself in a spot, you really have to make that shot.
Sure about where he was going to play for Arsenal, and everyone was laughing at the £65 million.
Yeah. Quick ball out. We're moving it.
And that's a credit to Havertz because putting him as a 9 probably wouldn't have been something that would have been your first choice. I think when he first kind of moved to that position, you probably were like,
and that's it for the attack. The ball's cleared.
It's to be really good, and that's probably why
he couldn't even touch the keeper.
So it's a little.
ATJ
I'm being way
there
too
really
nice.
quickly.
And played it short to resume play.
Someone please remind Flex Havertz versus Mount, who would have the most impact. I never think we did that.
That attack ended neatly.
Fan debate or something like that. Oh dear. And obviously I was there. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get the better value out of Mason
And
Mount.
they could be through here. That's easy for the goalkeeper. There it is in the middle of the park. There's good position there on the right hallway. Oh, could be.
I just think since his injury, the way he's
been
able
to overcome keeper, what a stop, and now we have a corner kick.
World-class levels in that Liverpool defense, which
quick
really
pass to the nearest player.
Very maybe underspoken.
That ball was played in great, but no support available. Right out of the danger zone. And we're going the other way quickly, could be dangerous. They got it back in a decent position. Putting in a fair challenge and winning the ball.
He's just ridiculous, man. If I could pick, like, we've had some great centre-backs, we've had great defences in our time, but if I could pick a centre-back that I would have
It could be! And that's it!
He's the one. He's got everything. Even the opposition striker said he's not.
What a
also,
Finishes the game.
Yeah. On Van Dijk.
And don't sweat.
You know how obviously people are
Kickoff taken, and we're back underway.
And Saliba because that is such a great partnership, but him and Kanate have been ridiculous.
That's a bad place to give up the ball.
They fire it. They've had the best defense.
This is beautiful. Look at the stadium. It's just going crazy. The stands are shaking.
So Cole Palmer, as we know, you guys
put Brennan Johnson on your list.
Right.
Sorry, what?
Semenya.
They're called in an offside position.
I agree, but he's on a wind-up.
Why is he on a wind-up? I'm going to get to
We're going to get things moving again with that short pass.
I think Semenya at Bournemouth.
They've definitely told you to do that.
That guy's really impressed me, man.
He's been good.
Finding a bit of space on the flank.
Top three.
Wicked, yeah, he's good.
He's very good.
Top three?
Listen,
that was straightforward piece of
I was thinking in
goalkeeping.
Buemo, right? The other player, obviously, none of us have put Haaland.
He just decided to use the bodies now.
Haaland has to score 40 goals.
Not good at all. Way off the mark.
I've just sort of tried to go a bit
ball
left
out,
field with this,
we're
and then
moving
I've
it.
gone Brennan Johnson. And the reason I've gone for Brennan Johnson, right, is because he started the season. He's been heavily criticised.
Dangerous spot to give the ball away.
The guy to
Must
delete
be.
social media.
And it's coming.
This is why, like, you know, even though
Incredible effort.
The hell is
No
going on?
surprise they found the back of the net.
even though he plays for Tottenham. But the fact that he was
That's a great
so
tackle winning the ball.
down on everything.
There goes straight on goal. And that's it.
And he's come back after that, literally, was it 6 games
What a
straight, he's
finish. The keeper stood no
impressive.
chance.
That's like...
And now the ball
is
in the corner of the pitch.
It's a
in the
good
Premier
show
League
of
and
mentality.
And they think they could be a
It's
chance.
because, you know, you look
And
at him,
it's in
especially when I looked at him like a young player.
goal. From the corner, can
you
they
could
go
easily
straight
crumble
and
under
bury
it.
it?
Gone to Tottenham now, a much bigger club.
With a 5-1 scoreline, we're going to kick it off again.
But what I'm saying
It's a good-looking tackle.
He could easily...
There's good precision there on the right hallway. And there's a
But he
chance to
could
go on
easily
the
have
break.
crumbled under the pressure. He could easily have crumbled under the pressure.
They've won it, and that's a dangerous
I'm going to give
spot.
him a lot of respect for that because I have a lot of that.
Great chance here against the keeper. Wait up, there's still a chance. Goal! And they found the back of the net. Just listen to the
lots of
crowd.
people
They're
are saying John
going
Durant in the
wild.
comments.
And they could be through here.
Someone put Semenya laugh out loud. Mustafa. I'm sorry, go and watch this guy. He's really
That
been...
was a
I've been
goal
really...
desk bathroom floor. What a finish.
He twists up Calafiori on the weekend. I'll tell you, that's
He's
another
alright.
good player.
He's alright.
I saw some
well,
people
they made it
mention
as easy as
Delap.
1,
A
2,
lot of
3.
people mentioning Delap.
That was well done by the keeper. That was great ball recovery. They're exposed to the back. The counter's on. Moving
John
the ball
Durant's been
well
good,
up
but
on the
he's been
right
mainly
wing.
on the bench.
That's easy
Somebody
for the
said that
goalkeeper.
Urian Timber, who's again, he's started really
Tillemans
well.
has started well.
Dwight McNeil, someone's put a mention there. Gabriel, a lot of people mentioning. Jadon Sancho, Trent Alexander-Arnold's getting a mention. Caicedo.
Actually,
He's been good, hasn't he?
He got it back in a decent position.
He's been very good.
He has.
Good
I mean,
move
listen,
here through the middle.
I wouldn't have him in top 3, but he's...
As an honourable mention.
He's
There's
improved.
through one goal.
DJ
It
Dente.
could be.
Been very good.
Goal! And they
Very
found
good.
the back of the net. Just listen to the crowd. They're going wild. Oh, they have it.
Yes, sir, says...
Fuck.
Diaz.
Why did push A?
Right, he's been absolutely brilliant. That's
It's a short corner.
Yuri Tielemans, as you said. David
Defender has it now.
who's been excellent, says Agam.
Well, there you have it. They have cleanly
So
regained.
this
Can
is
they finish it from
Minter
here?
is getting a
He
mention here
holds
as
us.
well. He's been very
Offside
good.
is the call.
Colwell.
Very good the other day.
Colwell's been brilliant.
We're going to get things
Colwell,
moving again with that
Chelsea.
short pass.
Anthony, says Alan.
This could be a good chance. It's in goal.
Dwight McNeil's getting a few mentions, and he has done well. He's done very, very well. So
Beautiful finish.
as well.
Worth framing it and putting it on the wall. Kickoff taken, and we're back underway.
Maguire.
Been good, says Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans.
Good.
Physical challenge, but it was fair.
Been good. Masraouy's been good.
Zed.
No,
Zed
no,
says-
time.
This one,
Heading
Zed
back
says,
the other way.
Smith Rowe.
That was a great job by the keeper.
Gavardio is getting a mention there. So,
And the play moves forward now.
well done to you
Only
guys.
the
Well done
keeper
to
in
you
the
guys.
way
But, you know,
now.
this-
Hits it,
was coming in.
and it's in goal!
Let's chat
Goal!
Omlin,
What
by
a
the way.
Finish! What a
This
player!
is
What a
great app
match
where
we're
you guys
having!
can debate and chat with your favourite influencers. Host your own
That's a
audio
nice
shows.
looking move.
Listen in and chat to us. Basically, it's like having your own audio podcast.
Fantastic work by the keeper here. Out for the corner kick.
And
the corner's played in.
Well,
there you have it, better safe than sorry, right?
Avatar.
We had a lot.
Now, I've got a few issues with this AI avatar.
Oh, they got the possession back. Player cut
We've all
wrong
done
place,
it. We've all
wrong
uploaded our
time.
pictures.
Brilliant. Simple pass from the free
listen,
kick.
They're hilarious. My one, I still can't get over. Have we got them? Have we got them
He
that we can
just
show?
looked at
They're on the screen now. They're on the screen.
Yeah.
Where did they get them?
Matisse is good.
Why is my hair so
Matisse
spiky?
is good.
I mean, yours actually proper does.
Well, let's not say they were
I can't tell
elegant
you
with
how
that
many
kick,
I went
but it
through
was
because it
effective.
didn't recognise that I had hair, right?
Well,
I don't
my
think
one's
it
got
was-
hair.
Yeah, it didn't like my hair, so a lot of them I look like Phil Neville.
Flex is killing me. Why is my neck so
It could
long?
be.
You're on ostrich neck, man. What happened to me?
Your neck is
long
not
neck
that long.
No, Alex is probably like the most accurate.
Yeah, his
yours
looks really
is
good.
quite
Yeah,
Great
yours
accurate,
is
work
though.
from the defender. Please at home, stand up and clap.
No, yours isn't on here. Can we
Put
put
Robbie's one on, man.
My
Where's
one.
Robbie's one?
Have they got my one? You won't believe my one. I've actually got hair in it.
Well, that save's certainly
Right.
not going to make a highlight reel.
Right, there's a unique scoring system so that you can engage
Right
on the
out
app,
of the danger
the
zone.
higher you climb in the
Oh, there's
ranks.
a
And
chance
guess
of the
what?
breakaway.
We're going to be doing a live
They're
today
called
at
an offside
1:45.
position.
It's Flex,
That's so rude. You lot are
Flex versus Abby.
And the
We're
free
going to be
kick taken.
hosting a debate, and the debate is who is going to finish higher, Spurs or
Takes the
Manchester
shot.
United.
Goal!
Don't give anything away
But
yet.
the storyline is all about the
Just
keeper
search
here.
now
A
and follow
dreadful
on the DR
mistake,
Sports channel.
and
You
they
can
made
join the
him
live
pay.
chat right now and vote that who's
Oh,
going
they
to be
have
the
it.
best in the debate.
Goal!
You can also join in as well and
That
to make
was
it more
as
interesting.
cold
The
as the
loser out
bathroom
of those
floor.
will be doing
What a finish!
Right, so you guys get to
Looks
vote.
to be on
the
here.
loser's going to be doing the forfeit.
Going
So
for the
come
tackle.
and back
Oh,
either
Jason,
Flex or Abby.
Put your head back out the door now.
Jason!
Jason!
Click the link in the description or
Oh,
scan
there's
the
a
QR
chance.
code.
They have
and
an defender
download
in
the
the way.
Omni app, right? So remember, right, you guys get to vote.
And the
you
ball's
guys get
played
to call
short.
Summers.
Oh, can they?
Ah, bro,
Where did
what
you get
the
me
fuck?
on the screen?
Defensive work.
Oh, that's my.
That's a
that's
threatening
my one.
ball.
Look at my one.
And they score from here.
man.
That's it. Goal! Well, maybe all for naught, but
I
who's
wanna see
counting,
Abby's
right?
one. I wanna see
It's
who's
just a
like Cole Palmer.
stats refresher right here. Good one, though.
Nah, I should like. Oh, actually, you do. You do like Cole
There was
Palmer,
one where I looked like Dirk Cow.
And that's the final whistle. Just look at those players. They're exhausted. They gave it all
I
today.
was like, I'm not going to have one at this point. And then I thought, well, at least this has got hair. So.
Why is everybody front facing?
Yeah.
I got
Must be the picture you uploaded. You must be.
Yours looks like a proper like Premier League shot.
He does. He looks like a footballer.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Eddie Jr. says, has any Premier League player been better than Rafinha and YM19?
Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Actually, let me. Rafinha has been mad.
Yeah.
He has been mad. Captain as well. It's weird, isn't it?
You'd never think that.
Because when he was
the
leaving from
Rafinha.
Leeds, everybody was like, not too sure about him. He works
Actually,
hard, but it's a
Saka's
bit
stats, I
one-dimensional.
think, this season have been better than Rafinha's.
Yeah.
Just saying. Nasser says, Abby, can't believe. Oh, lost my screen. You see, it just went there.
Yeah.
Let me see
What
if I can
shame.
reload it back. Let's go.
That's all right.
What a shame.
Get them.
I don't think you've got access, funnily enough.
That's a
Let's see
super.
if I get back. Abby, can't believe Robbie isn't taking the.
Oh, they're taking the piss when you
I'm
pick
not
Johnson.
taking a piss
No,
about
I
Brennan
respect
Johnson.
it. I respect
I'm
it.
not.
I like it.
I'm not taking it because I honestly, even though he's a Tottenham player, I do like to see that. I like to see when a player, it's like what you're saying there with Havertz. It's nearly a year ago to the date, right, when I remember Martin Odegaard gave him the penalty to take at Bournemouth. And there was some fan.
You had to give him a penalty.
Yeah, and that was a great bit of captaincy because it got him off the mark. Fans started singing his name in that song, and then he ain't looked back.
Now he's like the first
13
name on
goals.
Team G.
Who did I have that bet with about him getting 20 goals? Can't remember.
What, for this season?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He got 13 goals last year, and he played the most of that season from midfield. I think he can get it.
What's he got now? 7?
In the league.
In the league, he's got.
He's got 7 in the league.
5, I think.
5, I think it is, but he's started
20
well.
goals, yeah.
And Ben Sam says, Matisse, who do you think will start at the left versus Liverpool? Chile, Vega. News about Qatar Airways as front shirt sponsor as well. Robbie, always a good podcast.
Well, we've been trying to get a sponsor, whether it be Qatar Airways or it be Paramount, and the Premier League have just been blocking everything. So apparently now, open sesame. But left back, What do you mean
Is
random?
it Paramount Plus? Is it
Yeah.
Oh,
T-
right.
T-
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
What do you mean? You thought I said paracetamol?
No.
Left back it'll be Renato Vega, and then left wing I still think it probably will be Sancho, but Mudryk was good last game and pacing behind.
Why is it not definitely Sancho? Why is it not like
Because
so good he
Mudryk,
has to
because
start?
against Liverpool's high line, Mudryk's pace could actually be quite
Sancho
useful.
keep the ball technical.
Yeah, but different times for different games. You know what I mean? Different moments.
Anyway,
Big
guys,
games away from home, that's why you
international.
get him, innit?
Do you need him? Do you miss him? You sure?
He's still our player, so.
It's okay.
Is he though?
Come back in the summer.
Sancho!
What's he? I'm back. Matisse talking about the England game on tonight. England versus Greece. Italy taking on Belgium as well today. But I wanted to get your opinions on this. The Cole Palmer voted England's Player of the Year. Did he deserve that?
He's English.
I hate you.
He's English, isn't he?
Hold on.
Why are you like? Do you want him to go play for Jamaica?
Cole Palmer.
Good. What's that, kids?
By the way, see Vibes Cartel done a new tune. He mentioned Cole Palmer in it.
Because his name is that though. People don't realise that Vibes Cartel's name is DJ Palmer. So that's why he's done that. It's not like Chelsea fans were like, he's so big, even Vibe. No, his name is DJ Palmer, so it just works.
Cole Palmer did the thing in Clark.
Because that's my go. Vibe Cartel, my go. So if you come to know about him, I'll tell you. It's not because of Cole Palmer, yeah? Vibes Cartel was a Palmer before Cole, yeah? Remember that.
He's older than people say he would be.
Yeah,
Anyway, Cole Palmer.
And he's the GOAT. World boss.
Cole Palmer got voted #1. Bellingham #2. Saka 3.
Saka should have won it again.
Foden didn't come in the top 3.
Is England Player of the Year about who was the best English player over the year, or is it about who was the best player for England?
Best player for England over the year.
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
it's up for interpretation. At the end of the day, I'm always going to back my boy, because when he did come on for England, he played well. He assisted Ollie Watkins for the semi-final winner, which everybody was very happy about, right? Wasn't you? And then he scored in the final. So at the end of the day, everybody's looking upon it and thinking to themselves, he produced those massive moments in the bigger games, not the group stages, little goals here and when it mattered, like big games, crunch last
nearly
minute
out,
moments.
mate. Jude, bicycle kick.
And 100%, but those moments were massive, and it just maybe
He didn't even play in the
maybe
qualifiers,
shows that
did
he
he?
should have started more games. But at the end of the day, he for me was the best English player last year. So that's how I see it.
For
I
England.
think
Nah, he wasn't.
the best English
He
player.
wasn't.
No,
He
but
only
in
came
the
into the
world.
team. He
In the
only came
world.
he only came into the team. Listen, I don't really like when it gets like this, because it's like we don't really want a reason to start taking things away from Cole Palmer, because he's deserved a lot of accolades. So it's like he's been so good. It is kind of like
If you're talking about the best player for England, it should be Saka, not Bellingham.
Like, but Saka's
Bellingham
won it.
wasn't.
Ain't Saka won it twice?
He's won it twice.
So he should have just really had a hat trick, but they probably just thought, you know what?
If you're talking about the best
because it's
player,
Saka.
Yeah,
He's England's most consistent player.
Yes. If you're talking about the best player for England, then I'm not going to lie, Saka.
Well, that's
not
what it was.
Bellingham.
That's what it was for. It was for
And maybe
England.
Jude could have got it as well.
No,
It was
I don't
for
think he
England.
played that well.
Not just in
all
the
the
Euros
games.
though, but in qualifying and in the whole
Qualifying,
year.
got away up the whole
Jude's
thing.
been unbelievable.
Yeah, I think
for
Jude
England.
should have got.
That's why going into the tournament with what he
Allow
was
it,
doing,
fam,
you see,
allow
like,
it.
He's the guy. Now don't get me wrong, he fell short during the Euros.
As did everyone.
As did everyone.
I think Bellingham should have got it.
Really?
Allow it,
Saka,
big
I
man.
do. Yeah, probably just because he was so influential.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that vote has sort of been a
Recency
backlash.
bias.
A backlash. I don't even know. I think it's more a backlash against all the England players. Yeah, it's almost like they look. You know, fans look and say only Palmer turned up properly in the finals. You know, and nobody else did. Right, so I'm just going to vote for him. That's
Why don't you just give it to Ivan Toney then? He scored his penalty and got an assist, or Ollie Watkins scored. Like, let's
don't cry, right? Don't cry, guys.
Don't cry.
Don't cry. Cole Palmer will be here to collect many more individual
I
awards
don't really
on
have
your
it. I
players'
don't
head
really
tops
do you?
for the
and hopefully no team awards.
future,
Just
for the
individual,
decade.
please.
Yeah?
Only golden boots, but no team.
Get used to
accolades.
it.
That's all we
Where was Kobe Mino
You know
in this
what I mean?
conversation?
Well, he's been there. He was amazing for England. He sorted out all our midfield problems. Thank you.
Listen,
It wasn't until he came.
we will shame him.
After Idiot Gallagher and Idiot Trent in there, you know what I mean? It wasn't
Idiot.
until Kobe Mainoo got in there, we started doing all right. So you could
I'll
have
be
put
honest,
Is Cole
I actually
Palmer
don't
the
really care
best?
who won this.
Is Cole Palmer the best English player right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you
I think when you
reply?
look at England in terms of creativity,
Eat in live chat. No, I can't
open
reply.
play, he can definitely provide. Obviously, penalties we know he can.
It doesn't allow me.
score.
I don't know. The
Goal
streaming
scoring, he's
software
provided
don't
that
allow me.
Tempo setting, dropping into
My
the
bad,
field,
fam.
dictating, he can do that. He's He's got individual skill to get past a player, to flick it around the corner.
It's okay, don't worry, Amelia.
He can cross. He
You're
can,
good.
like, there's nothing really he can't do.
Go
I'm not
somebody
seeing
else's stream and ask
so
him.
For me, right now, yes, he's the best player. He should be playing in the 10. But I don't mind if he doesn't. I always say Chelsea fans, if he doesn't play, don't worry. He'll be match fit, fully fit for our games. We don't need
How
him
many
to
graphic
get run down
designers
in
are
these
there?
international
Good.
matches anyway. So if he
They
plays,
are everywhere,
he should
bro.
play. But if he doesn't, I won't mind. I'm not going to get at the manager.
That's
Play whoever you want.
I'm done.
He's going to be the